The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Monday, August 22nd, 2022, and this sports show shall begin right now.
Here we go, Atta-baby.
Here we go, Atta-baby, into one more preseason game for 30 of the 32 teams until the regular season kicks off in just
17 days.
At Boston Connor has the countdown on his Twitter, at Boston Connor, no O. Drop the fourth O.
There you go.
Drop the fourth O in at Boston Connor, and that you'll find on Twitter a countdown since what day did you start?
I believe we started the Monday after the Super Bowl, so like 219 days around there.
And we got to 200. We were like, okay, long way. 150, long way. 100. You put out a music video about how many hours until football starts, and now we are just 17 days away from the regular season kicking off in beautiful fashion in SoFi Stadium, Southern California, Los Angeles, a beautiful place where there will be a banner debuted. There'll be rings talked about. There'll be a celebration not only of what happened last year, but of this season kicking off, and we can't wait for it. There's a lot of preseason football to chit-chat about, including all signs of good vibes in Green Bay with the Packers. At Ty Schmidt, you look awesome today.
Hey, thank you very much. You know, it's hard not to be feeling good. Bach is probably back. I mean, they still don't know. Maybe not week one. They're not putting a timetable on it. But he's back at practice. Christian Watson's doing team drills. So, you know, maybe panicking a couple weeks ago, feeling very good 17 days ahead of the season.
The Pop had a wide litter. In Green Bay. A lot of guys started falling off that PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, and starting to get back into action. The biggest and most notable just happened yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago, and that's David Bakhtiari. Bach being back is what Ty was referring to in that all-black John Deere cap.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, you look like you're ready to go to CMA Fest.
Hell yeah.
You look like you're about to perform. You don't look like you're in the stands, pal. You look like you're on the fucking stage.
I wish.
You look unbelievable.
Thank you.
Looks like he's going downrange.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Locked in.
Well, Jack Carr will join us tomorrow, the main road
hell yeah.
where we all learned the term downrange. But nonetheless, Bakhtiari, one of the best left tackles in all of football, missed all of last season except for the Lions game in Week 17, where he played 4 or 5 drives, I think.
Yep.
They marched right down the field when he was in and scored. Then we never saw him again in playoffs or anything. We had heard of another surgery or 2 maybe on his knee. Big question mark. A lot of worries out of Green Bay Packers Nation's faithful because a lot of money. He's great. He hasn't played. Will this guy ever play? Saw him chugging beers again this offseason.
Right.
Saw him go and hang out with Aaron Rodgers. Seems like he was in, good spirits. What was going to happen this season? He's back. Looks good, too. Hey, those knees were moving. I mean, look at drive, follow through with those knees popping there. There was another play where he was playing quarterback. He also did one where he's taking on an inside guy with a chip leading up to a linebacker, driving his knees up. I mean, Bach looks all the way back. We tweeted about his return. The draft was back, and he actually put a GIF in at the exact moment that jizzed in my pants is said in a music video. So I believe Bakhtiari also climaxing over the fact that he's back in pads, back on the practice field, and he's back with the pack. And although they're saying they're going to take this day by day, with how the vibes are, who says he isn't back week 1? Why not? I guess maybe medical reports. We'll talk to him hopefully at some point this week. We have put in a request to talk to the big draft, but that's a massive name moving back into action.
Yeah, him being back just in general is it kind of, you can breathe a little bit, and it's a little bit of a sense of relief because, you know, it was like last year, same deal. We heard he was coming back, and then he wasn't back, and I was just, Packers fans were hoping we wouldn't get the same deal this year where it's like, oh, he's going to be okay, and then all of a sudden, boom, he misses 12 games or whatever. He's back. Elton Jenkins might be back. So their line is kind of slowly starting to come into fruition, which is nice.
And there was obviously a lot of climaxes and happy moments in that particular rollout. One definitely had to be from Aaron Rodgers, the back-to-back MVP, didn't have his best left tackle last year. And that's only good news, for the guy who has a brand new set of weapons. They need to figure it out.
That's right.
You watched the game. I didn't get to see it because
Yeah.
Friday Night SmackDown was on. Wanted to watch it back. Wasn't on. No highlights were on SportsCenter late night either from any of these preseason games. A lot of baseball, chitter chatter. Obviously, that's very important right now. Mets are continuing to do what the Mets do. Edwin Diaz, give the guy a fucking Cy Young. But I couldn't see any of it really. I saw the clips that were made on the internet. Etling was moving, I guess.
yeah.
And that's former Patriot stud you chatted about.
Yep.
Aaron called it. How do wide receivers do? Are we more proud of the wide receivers or do they look like shit and ass still?
I think they definitely played better, but I know there was also a tweet going around that like Jordan Love has had 9 drop passes, I think, in his action in the
Can't have
preseason.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And the next
Can't have
closest
it.
quarterback is 5. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be kind of some growing pains early on, but the big part too is that I think Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are one of the best backfield tandems, and those guys haven't really played. So we'll see. I think early it's going to be a lot of them, and then hopefully the receivers come along.
We shall see. At Tone Diggs, Pittsburgh Steelers have a guy, huh? Kenny
They do.
Pickett's a guy.
They do. There was some throws that he made on Saturday. I was like, oh, he's a professional NFL quarterback who knows exactly where the ball needs to go, when it needs to go, who it needs to go to. He's things are starting to move pretty slow, it feels like, for Kenny.
Okay, Tone. Great transition. Great lead. Great breakdown. Because not only were you watching that and saying the same thing, the world was. Every Yinzer in Pittsburgh and across the globe watched this one play from Kenny Pickett in which he stared down a defender. He threw a ball before Freiermuth had even looked. That's good anticipation.
Yeah.
That's good grit. That's good toughness. Stand in the pocket with a little bit of moxie. And guess what? We have rights, so let's go ahead and check it out. It was 2nd and 10 in the second quarter, 40 seconds left. The Steelers have one timeout, in field goal range possibly. Can't be out of control with the ball or out of hand. Boom! On the money to Freiermuth while taking a shot right in the suck hole. These are the types of things that although you don't know who's playing with the ones, who's the varsity team, who's the JV team, it's moments like these where a ball is delivered on a dime while a shot is being delivered to the face of the quarterback in anticipation, throwing early, ball's out as Freiermuth's turning his head. That's good synergy and chemistry with one of the best offensive weapons on the squad. Kenny Pickett's a guy, huh, Diggs?
I saw it, and that got me super excited because earlier in the offensive line played like absolute dog shit. So there's, on one hand, I'm worried, but then I was, because
yeah, but that Jacksonville D-line.
That's right, Josh Allen.
Mitch was playing more like look at the D-line and then run around a bunch and then try to figure something out. And Kenny came in and was just like, knew exactly where to go with the ball. And I feel like with this O-line, like, is it better for Kenny to go in there and play on time, know where the ball's going to go, and maybe, get beat up a little bit here and there, which is going to be tough. But
just like Joe Burrow, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's now time to put Kenny Pickett in there and nobody can block, but he knows how to throw on time. Well, it doesn't matter if something's on time if the defense is much sooner than the fucking expected arrival.
plus, Kenny only got 6. He was 6 of 7, I believe. He didn't get much time. I feel like the coaching staff was like, he's our guy. Like, we don't need to see any more of him.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens in Pittsburgh because Mike Tomlin has to make a decision that everybody's going to watch and, chat about for the rest of the season. Will the offense be good enough to keep up with the defensive standards in Pittsburgh? We shall see. Kenny Pickett has some promise. He's got great hair. Seems to have good moxie. He's very confident, knows the city of Pittsburgh already. Got a pass from the city of Pittsburgh because he went to the University of Pittsburgh. Not that he's from there, by the way. Some people were saying, this dude's Pittsburgh through and through, and I think a lot of Yinzers see him as the case. He's from New Jersey, so similar grade, I think. I'm a big fan of Kenny Pickett.
Me too.
I am a big fan of his. The gloves was obviously a big talking point going into the year and going into his NFL career. But, Kurt Warner, he fucking do anything?
Yeah, I think so.
He's a Hall of Fame.
Won MVP.
Peyton Manning fucking do anything?
Hey, he's a pretty good quarterback.
Ben Roethlisberger do anything?
Pretty good.
Teddy Two Gloves?
He's a stud.
Almost won MVP.
At one point?
Yeah.
This is not like unprecedented, and people have had a lot of success. But will it come back to bite him in the ass? When that pocket is collapsing because the offensive line stinks, he gets a batch. Oh, there's a little bit of droplet of water on that glove. And that glove now all of a sudden slick instead of stick, and then it's a problem in there. Is that going to come back and bite him in the ass whenever it matters? Who knows?
We'll see.
Could that happen to anybody? Yes.
Probably.
All right, let's talk about the massive news of today. And we can't thank you all enough for watching and listening wherever the hell you may be. It is Monday, August 22nd, and it is being reported out of Tampa Bay, Florida. Tom Brady's back.
Wow.
Hey.
Welcome back, Tom.
Hey, miss you, Tom.
Early reports were that he would be back by the 20th. The 20th was their game, so I'm not sure if they were expecting him just to be back on the sidelines or in the stadium for the game, but he has returned to the building. All reports are saying he's back. There was conflicting reports on the internet from internet sleuths that have thought they maybe had found Tom Brady. We'll be talking to Ian Rappaport in about 8 minutes. We will certainly ask him if he's found out anything. It has been kept under wraps pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Now, aside from a couple tweets here and there alluding to maybe a family vacation in the Bahamas, or maybe the Masked Singer people were piecing together, which if it was the Masked Singer and Fox said, hey, you want us to pay you $375 million, you fucking need to quit training camp and fulfill your obligations with Masked Singer. Put that fucking goat head on. Just like Gronk was the white tiger, put that fucking goat head on, and we need you to go sing. And everybody's going to guess. And then they're going to say, take off the mask. Take off the mask. I don't know if that's a chant or not. I haven't seen it in years.
Oh, it's been a chant.
I think it's take it off. I think they actually do a take it off chant. Okay. I don't think it's take off the mask.
Well, they have been chanting that too, though.
Well, all right. By the way, Fauci's retired.
Good luck. Good luck, Fauci.
Oh, man. Yeah, of course, by the way, this show. But anyways, if Fox would have done that, that would have been hysterical, mostly because Fox has survived because of the NFL rights for so long, and they want him to be an ambassador to the NFL and a commentator for the NFL. But before he does that, leave NFL training camp and fucking sing. Please, sing a little song for us.
Certainly possible.
Do what you got to do. That's maybe possible. We'll hear what Rappaport thinks, but we do know he is all the way back. Will this be a story at all if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go out and play well week 1, week 2? Absolutely not. If they struggle early, though, this will be talked about, like it has been talked about already by some people. Certainly odd that the greatest player of all time in the middle of training camp, starting quarterback for one of the 32 teams in the biggest league on earth, just bounces out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And no insider, not a lot of people around the building, aside from the coach and the player and the GM, we'd assume, know why. But it's Tom Brady. Be who you can afford to be. If he promised his wife something whenever he was retired at this particular time of year, and then when he comes back out of retirement in training camps here, and said event, whatever it is, whatever it was, is still there, and Gisele's sitting there like, for 20 fucking years, we have literally done nothing because it's Jack's birthday today, his oldest son. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I believe, after talking to Rappaport immediately upon this happening, this was a promise he made to his family whenever he was retired, and coming back to the Bucs. Hey, I can't wait to come back. I'll help you guys sign everybody back to the team. Jensen comes back, even though he ends up getting injured, and other Evans, and everybody kind of starts coming back because Tom Brady's here. But middle of training camp, I got to do his thing.
Fair enough.
Hey, Coach, listen, Todd, you know the deal. I mean, Giselle is pissed. Yeah. You know, she's telling me that we haven't been able to do this trip that her and her family have done for literally 15, 16 years. It's supposed to be the greatest trip of all time.
Yeah.
I actually am kind of bummed out. And whenever I was retired, we said we'd go. They had to get us a whole new island. We had to get our own island to get us our own boat because of who we are. So they don't want to do all that, so I have to go. Is that all right? Sure. How many people are we telling? Nobody. We're just going to drop to some people out of nowhere?
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, perfect. Now he's back. Tom Brady's all the way back. Another Tom Brady all the way back moment. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski were almost Las Vegas Raiders, allegedly.
Whoa. Yeah.
UFC 278 this past weekend in Utah. Those fans were loud, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Utes over there, just going bananas over mixed martial arts and Ultimate Fighting Championship over there. And Dana complimented them and put them over how good of a fan base they are on the first ever episode of the Gronks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which was all the Gronks.
That's right. All of them.
They were 7 wide at one point.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of the Gronks, and a man named Kevin who hosted it, who his UFC knowledge was amazing.
Yeah.
He did one of the greatest jobs of hosting I've ever seen. But they were watching UFC 278 as a watch-along alongside, I believe, Omaha Productions and ESPN. Pretty cool setup. They had the Gronk to go on. Of
course.
They had a big Jumbotron they were watching on there. It was fascinating. I enjoyed it. The Gronks are always a family that people are going to love. ESPN knows that. And the biggest moment came from Dana White coming on there. First 10 minutes of the conversation, a little bit had to get the timing, the rhythm out there. But they really caught a flow whenever Dana said, I can't believe I'm telling the story right now.
Yeah.
I never planned on telling the story, but I'm going to tell the story. And obviously the Gronks, tell the story. And they all know the story, right?
Yes, they do.
So they were all very excited, I think, for Dana to say, am I actually saying this or whatever? So he dives in. And this is what Dana White told the Gronks on Saturday night during their Gronks watch along for UFC 278 on ESPN+.
It's still there. You would have
You
signed
would have
again.
been. You would have been. So
I would have been.
I'm the one. I worked to put that deal together for Brady and Gronk to come to the Raiders. And it was almost a done deal. And at the last minute, Gruden blew the deal up and said that he didn't want him. And all hell broke loose, man. It was crazy.
I'm happy somebody said, whoa.
And Brady was already looking at houses, and it wasn't being said yet that Gronk was coming. So Las Vegas would have had Brady and Gronk the year that the Bucs won the Super Bowl, except Gruden blew the deal up. And there's so much story that goes along with this behind the scenes.
Tell us more, Dan. It's the Gronks.
I was never going to tell that story till Gronk just said it, but yeah.
And Dana,
let me tell you what, Brady was
what
not
happened,
happy.
and you just told the story. That is exactly what happened. Wow.
Breaking news. UFC 278 with the Gronk. John Gruden screwed up. County going to the Raiders.
That worked out for the best, and I'm glad it did not.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm intrigued by it all.
Yeah.
Because Dana tells the story. Gronk says that's exactly what happened, and you just broke the story. Gronk is part of it, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Lombardi, obviously, we know his ties to literally everything in the NFL, especially the Patriots, and also Mr. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. He comes out and says, Dana doesn't need me to legitimize this story, but yeah, everything he said is 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
So John Gruden in 2020 went on to say this publicly. He has a quote that says something like, we got a great quarterback. I want head coach John Gruden in 2020, and this is via @MySportsUpdate, asked about the team's interest in Tom Brady. We love our quarterback. Our quarterback is a really good player, Derek Carr. I want to reiterate that to everybody in Vegas. We've got a good young quarterback in the film, the statistics, and analytics prove it. Is that him talking to Mayock, who would have been in the conversations, I guess, at this time? Mark Davis would have been in conversations at the time for this, right? Mark Davis come out and said, I don't know, guys.
I watched a basketball game.
He basically said, guys,
I don't know. I gotta go to dinner.
Raiders, got to watch the Raiders playing. We won. Las Vegas Aces, WNBA.
Yep, they won.
You guys listen to whatever Dana's saying. It's literally what Mark Davis kind of said whenever he was asked about this by the Las Vegas Review-Journal or something like that, which I'd assume is a local newspaper that has pretty good ties. He goes, I don't know, guys. I don't know. You let Dana tell his stories. Come on. He's a great promoter. He's a great guy. That's basically what Mark Davis said. Didn't deny anything. So Dana White dropping that story on UFC 278 with the Gronks while Gronk's sitting there. Obviously, we could think there was a little bit of a work, but I'm happy we found out about this because now it's alleged the Saints with Sean Payton were allegedly in on Tom Brady. The Raiders, I guess, we're about to fucking sign Tom Brady. Yeah. Tom Brady was looking at houses, he'd go on to say. Gronk, it sounds like, was also looking at houses for that move to potentially take place. Obviously, Tampa ended up with him. I think the Chargers, right? When the Niners were in the conversation. So now we're starting to get a glimpse of what the free agency was like for Tom Brady. A lot of insiders, including the one that's about to join us, said there was really nobody in the Tom Brady market, which was befuddling to me because you would think that you would want the greatest of all time in your building, I guess, unless you're John Gruden. And John Gruden, I guess, says, I ain't fucking dealing with this old-ass guy.
Interesting.
Give me Derek Carr, because the conversation with Derek Carr and Gruden hated each other.
Bingo.
Yes.
None of this makes sense, but I guess this is all very real. Joining us now is a man that I assume was learning this alongside us as we were watching UFC 278 with the Gronks, senior NFL insider for the network and the league itself, host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends, us being friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rap. Rap.
What's up?
Hey, I just want to let you know, I thought that's what your job was, to tell us that stuff.
I mean, we've known that the
Come
I mention it all the
Come
time.
on.
No. Look, we all knew that there was some interest in the Raiders. We knew that Brady was interested in the Raiders, and there were some reports at the time, I think around the Super Bowl, that, you know, Brady could be with the Raiders, and there was some interest. So, like, all of this has been out there. Now, was it like done deal as, you know, was said on the Gronkcast or whatever? I don't think so, because to me, if Brady's interested, and he was, like, why wouldn't he be? That was a good team. If Gronk is interested, which we knew he was because he was always going to go with Brady, but the head coach is not interested at all, not even enough to make an offer, then how interested were they? That would be my question to you.
Okay, so you're saying that Gruden was never involved, never liked it, not that he had a change of heart at the very end.
To my understanding, once it became clear that he was going to have to like actually give real money to Brady, and it's not a lot, but it's a lot for a quarterback. That it seems crazy because now like he's so good and he's still so good, and he'll probably be good till he's 60.
Yeah.
But back then, like we didn't know that he would still be good. So there were some teams, the 49ers and the Raiders, that kind of were like, yeah, well, we don't know what he is, so we're just going to stick with what we have, and like the results have been the results.
Okay, so the reason why I'm wondering if Gruden was in and then he was out is because the immediate reaction of the internet after UFC 278 with the Gronks, Dana White breaks the news. White's got to be telling us.
It's kind of a re-break.
No,
No.
That deal being
re-break.
done and then Gruden blowing it up and us learning that. I mean, that is just...
Because we've always been wondering who that motherfucker was.
Bingo! Yeah. That's the immediate reaction is who you're going to stick with, that motherfucker? And the immediate reaction, it's Derek Carr. Yeah. That's obviously who it has to be. No offense to Derek Carr. I don't think that meant personal. I think that was just strictly football-wise. And shout out to Derek Carr having to be in the middle of drama all the time.
Yeah, every year.
Are we sure it was Derek Carr, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. So, like you saying that Gruden said, no, I'm out... from the beginning, maybe? Because if he was in, then out, then it would be...
They did investigate. They did look into it. I know that. Once it came down to talking money, they were out, and I know they never made an offer. They danced around it, but never actually made an offer.
So could be. You're sticking with that motherfucker. Could be.
Mm-hmm. It could be him. Also could have been the Titans. I've never known for sure, but the Titans also... Because remember... So the Titans, they had Ryan Tannehill. They investigated it. They kind of looked into it. So I'm not sure which.
I'm just talking about how many motherfucking teams.
Yeah.
While everybody was telling us that free agency market not that good for Tom Brady. Well, it sounds like everybody.
Half the league.
It sounds like everybody was in there. Why was it all kept so quiet? You think?
I don't think it was that quiet.
Right.
I mean,
I wish I could go back in time listening to all you suits talk about it. Tom Brady thinks a lot more teams are going to be interested than... Yeah, but you took it off for this, and I appreciate that, okay, for the situation. But it feels like we learn a lot forward time about looking back time, about a lot of things that were being said that were just like legitimized as matter of fact. A lot of people were saying he was going to Tampa. It's the only team that wanted him. Like that was shit that was being said at the time. Ian.
I think so. Let me go back in my brain and try to remember this. So I believe that the Chargers were the only other team to make an actual offer. If I remember correctly, and I'm not sure I do, that they were the only team to actually make an offer. The other teams that were kind of interested, who didn't make an official offer, the Raiders, the Niners, I think the Bears, if I remember.
And now the Titans.
And the Titans, who I also don't think made an offer because they chose Tannehill. But like, if you're the Titans and you have a Ryan Tannehill in his prime, you have Tom Brady, who it's anytime you're signing or doing anything with a 40-year-old quarterback, it is a gamble. Sounds ridiculous because Tom Brady is the greatest ever, but they did not want to make that gamble, nor did the Raiders, and obviously signing Brady would have been helpful to a team, I would say.
Well, yeah, for me, I just think whenever we were talking about it, getting him in the building makes everybody better. Not just the team. It makes the expectations of every single room, equipment room, training room. I mean,
times a million.
Yeah, just like down in Tampa, they sold out immediately. I mean, everything just boom, boom. Everything gets better. The cranes come flying in. They're building up. And I just think it's better for your team to have a Tom Brady than not on your team. That's why I was so flabbergasted about the amount of people that were saying nobody's interested in having Tom Brady. I was just confused on how the NFL's run. You all know better than us. Now, let's keep it. Legitimately though, you do actually. I'm coming from a blind player's perspective.
Well, no, hold on a sec. But I want to talk about one other thing. It is in free agency, right? For anyone to get actually to free agency, we're always talking about how many teams are interested. As you know, most times when there's a free agent, there's really only like 2 actual offers. If you are a hot free agent, maybe there's 3 offers. So Brady having 2 offers is not crazy. We just didn't know that he would keep being amazing. And I don't even, I follow this pretty closely. I even underestimated the effect he would have on every other player the building, the stadium, the team. Like, I didn't even understand it until we got to Tampa and we saw it, like, explode.
Yeah, and that's very understandable because you've never really been in a building. You know what I mean? Like, that's not.
I'm in a building right now.
Yeah, but you're not. Like, I guess you're in. Okay, you're in. We're both in the same building, but we got different views. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're in the building, but a vastly different view than guys that have been, I think, in a locker room. Not that there's anything that you have better connections in different parts of it. We just come from a player's perspective. Like, I'm sure you tweeted out that was the most despicable block of all time on Thibodeau. Is that what, that seemed to be a thing that never, the people that didn't play the sport, that are in the thing, really jumped on and went crazy.
That's a legal block, by the way.
Oh, see? Look at you, Rap.
Wow. That's weird.
Left field.
The guy that invented football tweeted out that it was.
All right. Tone's got an issue with some, analytics and statistical people. Because Tone, is a football meathead, and that's all he really thinks about. There are some people that think they created the game and act like they created the game, and I appreciate the fact that they did create the game because they make our jobs better and easier.
Of course.
But I'll tell you what, the whole get this guy out of the fucking tour, Doug. You know what I mean? That was being said about that. I didn't know. It looked nasty. It looked dirty. I'm not going to talk about it. It did look bad. But the people were getting very passionate about it. Then every ex-player came out and was like, oh, is that right? This happens literally 1,000 times a weekend. Yeah. How about the guy puts his hands out and maybe fucking sheds a block? That's what all it was almost like a grandstand time for ex-players to like kind of dunk on the media folks. Don't you think, Ian? Did you watch that?
I watched it and I saw it all transpire and whatever. And it was all kind of interesting because this always happens when I don't want to say this because there's no nice way of saying this, but like when people don't understand the rules.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, like, this literally is legal. But here's the other thing. Cut blocks exist for a reason. I know everyone hates them when they look bad, but cut blocks exist for a reason. Like, let's say you have a running back. If you did not allow running backs to cut block pass rushers, quarterbacks would get killed. It helps protect the quarterback. So, like, not all cut blocks are the same, but there is a reason that cut blocks exist, and mostly it's to protect the most important guys on the field, which I am okay with.
Yeah, and to be clear, DBs used to do this to offensive linemen that were running out, but I don't think they're allowed to do it anymore. I mean, going low has been something that has happened in football for undersized people taking on bigger people for a long time. There's a lot of rules now for when it's available, when it's allowed to do, when it's not allowed to do, what angle and all that. But that one definitely caused problems. All right, let's move on. Lamar Jackson situation. Jay Glazer gave an update on the Fox kickoff show right next to Sean Payton, who looks super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Payton looked super duper cool.
Was he wearing Jays?
I think so. Probably had great shoes on. Looked comfortable. Anyways, here's from Fox. Not Big Noon Kick. Urban Meyer's back.
Yes, he is.
Not Big Noon. Urban Meyer's officially back. He's going on the road. He's going to be out in front of college students.
Good luck.
Hey. No, he's going to be behind college students.
No, whoa.
Hey. That was last year.
Sorry. This is not from that show, and this is definitely going to get us a strike now because of everything that had just taken. Anyways, here's Jay Glazer talking about the situation before the 8 p.m. Fox primetime preseason game before the Baltimore Ravens and Arizona Cardinals, wearing the black helmets and the black jerseys, looking super clean.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what Jay Glazer had to say about the Lamar Jackson situation.
The question is now, will Lamar Jackson get his deal done, Jay?
I think it's a really big uphill battle here, and the reason why is because Lamar Jackson, he's representing himself. That is so hard when you have to go up there and try and negotiate. And for them to tell you why you're not worth a certain type of contract, look, they've already offered him more than Kyler Murray got, but the Deshaun Watson deal kind of throws things, out of whack there, because I'm sure he wants a fully guaranteed contract. I don't see them wanting to do that.
Okay, Rappaport, is that what everybody's hearing? Is that Lamar looks so cool, by the way?
I mean, I can't look at that without being like, Lamar is just the coolest guy on earth right now. It's hard to watch. I know Jay was talking, but watching that, I'm like, God, they should just give Lamar all the money.
Yes, me too, by the way. And also in the preseason, you should always bet Ravens money line.
Always.
Because they are stacked at that quarterback position, and their style of play makes it so that not everybody has to be like a moving chess piece. They are beating everybody's ass. 22 straight preseason games, I do believe. Yeah. And they'll keep that going. Lamar Jackson, though, it's not close. It's an uphill battle. He wants fully guaranteed. They don't want to give it. What are you hearing after what we just heard from the wonderful Jay Glazer?
First of all, I don't know for sure that he wants a fully guaranteed deal and would only take a fully guaranteed deal. I think every quarterback from now till eternity will be asking for it. But the question is really, when it comes time for last and final, does Lamar say, I am not signing unless it's fully guaranteed? I don't know the answer to that. So until I do, I will say this is still open. I'd be surprised if the Ravens gave him a fully guaranteed deal. I believe that is correct what he said, which is that they've offered him Kyler Murray, but I believe they offered it to him a while ago. Like, I think that the floor has been, like, he has known he's getting more than the 46 a year. The Ravens have known that, so the floor was set. It's really just a matter of how much fully guaranteed do they give him, and when it comes time to say, yes, I'm taking this deal, or no, I'm not taking this deal, does Lamar say, well, it has to be all fully guaranteed? He's going to try, but I don't know where he's going to land.
So what you're saying is whenever they put a thing in front of them that says 170 million guaranteed dollars are coming to you over the next 4 years or whatever, 5 years, whatever the number is, instead of the 200 and whatever Deshaun Watson got, do you think Lamar will be able to turn it down? Is that the question you're asking right now?
Right, because that's really the only thing that matters. It's, when he's about to go play, when he's going to put his body at risk for 17 games and probably more.
And sell out tickets and change the brand and bring kids to the training camp and make your team relevant. Yes.
I mean, yeah. Because, the way it's going, he's going to be as big or bigger than maybe everyone but, 2 or 3 quarterbacks, right? He's very, very good and really transcends, it seems. So the question is really how much fully guaranteed money and how much overall money is he willing to turn down right before he steps on the field? Because what he might say is, I want it all guaranteed. I want everything. Okay, at the end of this, I'm just going to take the most money I got because I'm going to protect myself and my family. Or he could say, I'm going to play it out, in which case we'll see him next offseason.
What's he have? He has $111 million guaranteed over the next 3 years anyways, or $110 million over the next 3 years.
Yeah, because a 5th-year option and then 2 franchise tags.
Yeah, and the second franchise tag goes up 25% or something like that. I forget what it is. So
it goes up 10%, yeah.
Yeah, 10%. Or there's some other salary thing. There's some other salary thing in there as well. Escalator. Yeah, I think there's some other. Yeah, something comes up there.
Yes, depending on. I'll have to look it up, because I'm not smart enough, but it could be depending on Pro Bowl, something like that.
Yeah, so it's like 110 million or 105 million guaranteed over the next 3 years if he stays healthy and plays. Now, he's only betting on himself for those next 3 years. If that's the case, got to remain healthy. Then he hits free agency, and by then, who knows what it'll be, right? So he is sitting in a position where he knows that if he can maintain for 3 years, he's going to get over 100-some million guaranteed. So that offer from the Ravens would then have to be much bigger. Are you getting a text right now from the Ravens?
I'm not the Ravens, but on the Giants.
What's going on?
Thibodeau?
Yeah, it's Thibodeau. Hold on 1 second.
Put your tweet out.
Okay. Do you want to watch me put my tweet out?
Well, we understand you got to break it on your Twitter, and then all eyes on.
Oh no, I'll just tell you now. I was told MCL for Thibodeau.
Man,
which is not great, but not terrible. Could have been a lot worse.
3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So start a regular season, we'll see. Anyway, we can keep talking as I start tweeting, so I got to make sure I don't spell this wrong.
No, you got to do what you got to do. And by the way, the fact that you're tweeting this is very fascinating. Just assumed you had somebody that did that, because we'll see tweets at 4 a.m. from you that there's no way that you do that. But if you do, you're a robot. You're awesome. And he's competing. His wife said.
That's right.
True.
Competing against a guy over there from ESPN. Did they offer him a deal that was backloaded with guarantees? Was it a bad structural deal too, like Roquan Smith got because he's representing himself?
I don't believe so, but hold on. Let me not mess this up.
All right, let's
get
him.
Hold on 1 second.
Get him off screen, yeah.
Motivational
You guys
music.
mute him. Let us know when you're back, Ian. He's putting a tweet out right now. It's going to rattle the whole fucking sports world.
Yeah, of course.
Odds are about to shake right now.
All his tweets.
Games are about to change.
That's right.
There you go.
The Giants have also reported that he will be back for the regular season opener.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we were told. Ian Rapport is back.
All right, sorry about that.
No worries. We actually got some information for you. Giants have also come out and said he should be back for the regular season opener.
That would be great. It's 3-week injury, so I would say if he's 100% healthy, that would be tremendous. But I'm not good at math, so I don't know when 3 weeks is.
Oh, conflicting reports.
Here we go.
Oh, we got a little scoop on there.
We'll see.
The Giants.
Hopeful. That'd be great.
Ian Rappaport.
Okay.
All right, we're hopeful too. Hey, we're hopeful too. With the Lamar Jackson contract, let's go ahead and put a bow on that conversation. Boys have a couple questions. We can't thank you enough for joining us. You're the man. Did they set that? Did they structure that offer to him? Do you know? Does anybody know? Did they structure the contract to him as a bad one, just like they did with Roquan Smith, because he's representing himself?
No, I don't believe so. I think the Ravens, like, you can argue about how much a guy's worth. You can argue about the market, because that's what this is, right? It's about what is the actual market, how much is he worth. But I believe the Ravens' offers have been fair and kind of like upfront and just what they should be, because the relationship is really good. And, it's basically Lamar Jackson and Eric DeCosta. And the last thing that the GM wants is for the quarterback to be like, wow, this guy doesn't like me, doesn't believe in me, whatever. Okay. So I believe that it was like pretty, like, the relationship is good. And I believe it was like sort of they came correct. It's just a matter of they have not arrived at the number yet.
Okay, well, good luck to both the Ravens and Lamar.
Hold on, and one more thing. When you have an agent negotiate, it's hard to not have an agent. It's not perfect. Everyone, I think, should have an agent. If you don't, the team, everyone should have someone at least representing their interest.
So then I can get information from all of them.
If you have an agent, the organization could say stuff to the agent, and the agent filters it to the player.
Yes.
If it's just the GM and the player, you got to be nice.
Yeah.
You just have to be nice.
Hey, you got to be, none of the old fuckery now, none of the old, it'll sit on the shelf for, and there's other guys at this, and then the agent has to figure out how to soften that, deliver that information. I understand completely. I've seen it happen. I've seen it not happen. I've got in the middle of doing my own negotiations now. It's much different. I know, unless all the previous agents were just making shit up that people were saying, because now you can't use the same old tactics in negotiations when you're dealing directly with the person. And if Lamar Jackson is able to get this deal done, I would like it to be on the record that he has negotiated hundreds of millions of dollars of contracts. And there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that ain't ever done that in the business world. And we should remember that forever. I hope they get a deal done for the good of Lamar, but also for the good of Baltimore, man. It feels like when you turn on a Baltimore game, I'm watching the Lamar Jackson show. And I think like everybody knows that at this point. And credit to Baltimore for going all in around them too. Changing their offense, getting rid of people.
All in.
Yeah. So just make the money right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go on a run.
Pretty simple.
Let's go. Ty, your question for Ian.
Rap sheet, although Bakhtiari's back at practice, Matt LaFleur said that they're going to basically take it day at a time, week at a time. Do you get the idea that both he and Elton Jenkins are going to be ready to go by week one? And I know Christian Watson came back. Same deal with him, or is it really going to be kind of week one? We're still going to wait and see if these guys are healthy enough to go.
I think Elton Jenkins being back a week ago, I think it was a week ago. It seems like forever. That was a good sign. Got 3 weeks or so to be ready for the regular season. He's doing really well. I would not say definitely, but I think it's looking good for him. Bakhtiari, I will be honest, guys, I don't know. And I've done this before for him. It's really difficult. It's hard to feel comfortable with everything. Multiple surgeries. He is an incredible, elite athlete. And if it doesn't feel 100% right, then I don't think we'll be out there. So I hope he's out there because he's an awesome football player and he has enough time to be out there, I think. But 2.5 weeks until the regular season is cutting it close. So I will say I'll say TBD on that. But even if it's not week 1 or week 2, him being out there with no setbacks, feeling good like he does this morning, this is a good sign.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
What?
Hell yeah, the Bach is back. And I know he's excited about it. Speaking of back, Tom Brady's back. Did we get to the bottom of that? Does anybody know other than Todd Bowles, the GM, and Tom? And will anybody know at any point about what just happened with the 9-day, I guess now what, 12-day, 11-day absence in the middle of training camp?
Hiatus, I would say. A brief hiatus.
Brief.
Respect.
Just brief, just 2 weeks, brief, just took some time off. I would say for me, until I know for 1,000% sure what it is, I'll just kind of stick to what I was told, which is that it was related to family. Everything is good. He is healthy. No one's sick. Just trying for that work-life balance. And we all try for that as well. Sometimes when your family would like you to do something, even if it involves a hiatus from training camp, you say, you know what? There is a higher power then Todd Bowles, and that is family. I think it's good that he's back. I don't think there was any doubt that he would be back. Like, it wasn't like, oh, is he going to retire? But the fact that he's back on the field and practicing today, I think is a nice thing for the Bucs.
Okay, so you came on the day this was announced, and it we led to our conclusion. You didn't tell us this. Once again, we have to keep Ian safe from our stoogery.
Sure.
But my immediate reaction was, when he retired, he told Giselle and the family he would go do something. Then he came back. It just so happened to be that something was right in the middle of training camp. And when he came back, he said, hey, I got to do this because you get it. Now, is that how you feel? Is that kind of how we're all feeling about it?
I mean, if you have good sources, and sometimes you do, I would say I would not dispute any of your sources. I have not personally confirmed that. But if you were to ask me, does that make sense? I would say if that were my family,
yes,
that would make some sense. Because if Leah tells me to go away, I'm saying, okay, cool. Let me know when the flight is, and I'll schedule it. Or actually, you schedule it, and I'll just show up.
Well,
I don't know that that's right, but that's sounds like something.
What if Leah was pitching something for like the last 20 years while you were playing in the NFL, and then all of a sudden you retire out of nowhere, and then Leah's like, hey, great, we can go do this now. And then 40 days later, well, actually, I'm getting right back in the game. And then, Leah's like, whoa, remember, And then Jude gets involved.
Of course. Right, at that point, what I would say is, okay, cool, I'll see you on the flight. Let's make sure we get some like peanuts and maybe a drink.
And I think anybody that's married probably would do the exact same. So it makes a lot of sense after you start thinking of it.
I don't know, but what you're saying does make some sense.
Yeah, and I'm happy it's nothing bad because we're like, there was the immediate thought, oh no, there's something going on with his family. They has to go away because they were kind of being, what's that called? Like when you're just kind of
coy,
nonchalant, coy, nonchalant. You're kind of being coy about when he was coming back.
Yeah.
So we thought, like, what has a start date but not an end date? And immediately, it's mostly bad stuff. So I'm happy to hear that it wasn't that, and he is back. That's great news. Last question for you, Ian. You're the man. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rapshi, good to know you don't help at home or on vacation, but for
setting up
vacation. Yeah, all three of them, the trifecta. Look at you. Kareem Hunt, is he getting traded anytime before week 1? There's a photo of him talking to Sirianni at their joint practice. Is that possible? Are the Eagles in the market for another dog?
I mean, I would say when it comes to the Eagles, you could literally say to me, any player, like would Howie Roseman be interested in discussing that trade? And I would say, he might dabble. And that's one thing that Eagles fans know is like every single trade, there's going to be a rumor that the Eagles are involved. So would that make some sense? Yeah. I would imagine he'd want a new contract if there was any deal, which might complicate things because not everybody loves to give running backs really big contracts. We'll see if he ends up going anywhere. I think it'd be a hard deal to do, but not impossible. And the fact that he was very friendly with the head coach of the other team, I thought that was a very nice thing. So, we'll keep our eye on that one.
Oh, keep your eye on where the dogs are potentially expanding into. That team looks good.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Hey, Eagles, look, a preseason. What has this preseason been for you, Rap? Love it? Hate it? What do you think?
Not a lot of people are playing, which is good because I don't...
Anywhere.
Yeah. Nobody's playing.
There's not a, we went to the Colts game, and they showed me.
I saw you eating some wings.
That was one wing that time. It was breaded wings. That was in a thing though, so they were a little moist breaded wings.
Very good.
So they were stuck. Like when I went in for that thing to eat, and I am a good wing devourer. I mean, I always have been. Sue me. But the breading was stuck all the way up to like my knuckles almost. Had to get it back. That was the thing that was a little uncomfortable to have on TV. Me doing that.
Were you annoyed that they caught you?
I don't know. I didn't know until like 45 minutes to an hour later. I was just trying to enjoy my life, have a good time. Paid a lot of money for those seats for the entire season. But it was a blast. I'm happy they showcased me, the wife, the boys, their family. I mean, it was a great Saturday out there. But while we were there, I didn't know until literally before the game started. A couple guys were coming up to me, equipment room, athletic training room, things like that. I'm like, how we looking today, And they're like, nobody's playing, but should be fun. I'm like, God damn, nobody's playing. And then as they run out of the tunnel right next to us, they all just no shoulder pads on. Every human that you knew was on the team had no shoulder pads on. I was like, golly, I wish I would have known that, but I'm happy that's happening. I, as a former player, am happy that's happening, but it is certainly, I think the games are a little less appetizing for a lot of people.
It's because of joint practices.
I mean,
yes, exactly.
I honestly do think most of this is about joint practices because they are better. Coaches can control. You can have really good work without taking to the ground. You can sort of tailor drills to stuff you want to see. And if you have a good relationship with the other coach, then you know the players are going to be safe. Not always. We've seen a couple fights. But I do think the sort of explosion of joint practice has led to far fewer players playing in the preseason. Also fewer injuries. So, like, I'm kind of like you. Like, it makes viewing the preseason games not as great, although everyone should watch all of them, especially when they're on NFL Network.
Which they all are, by the way.
But then the joint practices have been awesome, too, and less injuries.
Oh, yeah. NFL Network, you guys had Cooper Rush versus Josh Johnson.
That's right.
Over Kenny Pickett battling against Drew Lock, who's back. Drew Lock's back. He beat COVID?
It seems like he's on the way to beating COVID.
Hell yeah.
Great job, Drew Lock. Well, he was really sick 2 days ago, but he's back in practice. That's good, so let's go, Drew Lock.
Okay, so he got the OG 1-9er, you think? COVID?
He got the one that makes him feel terrible. Yes.
1-9er.
Okay,
yeah.
OG.
Hey, listen, when Niner comes through, I mean,
careful.
Yeah.
Elbow, the whole thing.
Still got it.
I got 1-9er. I was at 104.5.
Yeah.
Should have went to the fucking hospital. I mean, 1-9er took me out, but I thought 1-9er was gone. Turns out, I guess there's a couple left still hanging around. Tony, you got a quick question?
Yeah, Rap, how come Darnold didn't play at all this weekend when they already knew that Baker was basically going to be the starter? Nothing changed.
I think because they know Darnold is the backup. And it was basically like, which of the number 3 quarterbacks are going to make it? Are we going to keep 3? Obviously, unfortunately, Matt Corral got a very serious injury, so that sucks in itself. But a backup quarterback is a premium position. So if you're not willing to risk Baker, then you're not willing to risk Darnold either. And I think both got a lot of really good reps in the joint practice as well. So I think that, you want to keep him out of harm's way as much as possible.
All right. Well, we appreciate you so much. Kenny Pickett starting in Pittsburgh?
Hell yeah.
The plan was always Trubisky, but God, Pickett has looked great. So I will be keeping an eye on, I think, Trubisky, but I am not going to say 100% sure because every time Kenny Pickett gets on the field, he does something really good. And that is noteworthy.
Are you going to be on Hard Knocks this week? Go show your face a little bit.
I haven't seen any cameras. I'm looking for them, believe me.
Yeah, of course you are.
I'll let you know.
All right, go find him. You deserve to be on there. We can't wait to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, the man. We thank you for your time, Ian Rappaport. All right, let's go. Let's go to some phone calls here for the last 3 minutes before we have a hard out on series.
Hell yeah.
Smart.
Pickett really, like in Mitch, it's the same as Mac Jones and Cam Newton.
I was going to say,
you should just,
it's the same thing.
Although you want Mitch to be there and be the vet, if Kenny's playing well and doesn't need as much, like you got to just throw him in the fire, right?
So Matt Ryan talked about that a little bit, and then other people have talked about getting thrown into the fire and then getting a chance to watch a little bit. Like, I'm a firm believer in let the boy watch. Let Kenny Pickett watch Mitchell Trubisky for the first few weeks.
Yeah.
Like, let him watch how he runs a team meeting because now he's been around Josh Allen. He's been a starter in Chicago. He knows how Buffalo runs their shit, how Chicago runs their shit, how Pittsburgh now runs their shit. What's a starter allowed to say? What's a starter not allowed to say? Because it's a vastly different program than whenever you're in college and the coach is the smartest motherfucker. Whenever you get in the NFL, not that the coach isn't the smartest motherfucker, but it's a lot more of a group think as opposed to, hey, I'm going to tell you what to do. So if Matt Canada and Mitchell Trubisky's relationship is a good one, and Mitch goes, well, I don't like this on third down at all. All right, well, let's get rid of it. Let's do this. As opposed to in college, hey, we're running this because this is the right play.
Yeah.
So I think like watching somebody who's a vet. Now, is Mitchell Trubisky the right vet to be watching? That's a conversation for other motherfuckers to have, not us. I just think there is quite a benefit to getting to watch somebody operate and then get handed over the keys. Now, if that's not 8 weeks or 9 weeks and it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks, like I understand that as well, depending upon the situation, how bad Mitch does or how good Mitch does. But I'm a firm believer in let the ball watch.
Yeah.
Like that's off the field shit more so. And even on the field, him breaking down film, getting a chance to watch what Mitchell's doing and the decisions he's making in film and like them trying to slow the game down a little bit. Now, Kenny's biggest growth is going to come from on-field play. I get that. But I think there's a lot to be gained from off the field watching somebody else do the gig.
And I will say, like you asked, is Mitch the right person to be behind it? If he would have came straight from Chicago to the Steelers, I would have said absolutely not because the relationship between him and Nagy apparently was not great. But he got to see Josh Allen's relationship with the Bills organization last year and how that worked. So I assume
Daboll said that he loves Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has input, so I would assume Josh Allen had a lot of input with Daboll. So getting a chance to kind of watch that, how to be a pro, basically, like watching somebody on how to be a pro, I think is vital. And it might not show off in the first, few weeks. Like Mitchell Trubisky might play bad, and when Kenny comes in, Kenny just kills it and lights it up, and everybody goes, why wasn't this guy starting from the beginning? Whereas a lot more to it than just fucking showing up on a Sunday and doing well. Even though it seems like Kenny shows up when the lights come on.
Sure.
Right?
Very
Because like in
much so.
practice bad, game good. It's like, that motherfucker's a motherfucker. We're back for hour 2 in 10 minutes. Yeah, it didn't go the other way. Like when games started happening, it didn't get bad.
No.
He showed up in the games, I think. Like that is, for me, that's one of the most exciting things about Kenny Pickett.
His worst week was, obviously he was a rookie, but week 1, practice when they had no pads on. The pads went on, and he slowly got better and better, and he's been great ever since.
Well, he probably didn't have a clue what the fuck he was doing.
Correct.
Yeah, and like maybe their O-line is weak, but like they have studs everywhere on offense, maybe aside from O-line. Like Muth is a dog, and Deontay Johnson just
Chase
got paid.
Claypool,
Pickens. Naj is huge now.
Offensive line kind of stinks, I guess, huh? That's what everybody's saying?
Yeah.
Is that the scheme or is it the people?
Well, it's basically the same guys as last year. They added 2 new starters, but who knows if they're going to pan out or not. It's just they haven't drafted an O-lineman in the first round. I think it's 2012, I believe. So
all right, nice. So
for a while they were set. I mean,
so maybe you let Mitch just go out. Hey, let me show you how to be a pro, and I'll go take all the bullets from our fucking offensive line. Having no idea what to do for the first 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm. It's a huge difference from when like it was Pouncey to Castro and all the boys and fucking.
Well,
Andre or Alejandro.
Villanueva.
There it is.
Andre.
I knew it was an A. I just forgot which one.
What's your problem?
Have some
What do you
respect.
mean?
He served your country.
Yeah, he was downrange.
He was downrange.
He was downrange.
Yeah, he was. And when you remember when he was on the field doing the national anthem, only Big Ben came out with him. Very nice.
Well, that became a whole thing.
That
became a whole thing.
Yeah, it did.
I think that was actually the end of Alejandro with the Pittsburgh
Man,
Steelers.
those were the good old days.
He
Huh?
went to the Ravens.
What's that?
Those were the good old days.
Well, when nobody knew what was going to happen for the national anthem. Dude, that was a whole... Every game was a reality show in of itself.
Yeah.
What's the reaction going to be? Who's going to respond? Who's doing it? Who's not doing it? And then... Get those sons of bitches off. And then that became a whole thing.
Huge.
I was at the Colts game when this was taking place, and there were some knees taken. It was towards the tail end of it, and I was hitting the anvil. Oh, no. The people that were around me in that anvil section were not too thrilled about what was going on with the national
They
anthem.
left, didn't they?
Yeah, there was a couple people that walked out. Yeah, I believe Pence got up and left.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He gave
That's right.
Yeah, Pence was there. I was there.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was hitting the anvil for that, and I forgot about the whole. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like you see it on TV, but I hadn't experienced it live.
Yeah.
And I'm holding the anvil up in like the 300 section, basically up there, and I'm watching it all go down. I got earpieces in so they can tell me how much time I have, even though I'm going to blow through it anyways. And I could hear through that thing. Boo! I'm like, God damn, they're booing the national anthem, and then it was like. Oh, no, they're not booing. No, they are not booing the national anthem.
Good Lord.
I don't think people that were in the big cities
Yeah.
took seriously enough how much, like, any team that has a fan base that had a shit ton of military members probably in it, so you can just probably start picking the teams right now in your head.
Bible Belt.
The way that whole thing was, like, that is, whoo.
Yeah.
That was a whole thing. Phew. Alejandro was right in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah.
Served his country, too. Mm-hmm. This guy's an American fucking hero. Who's out there? One guy?
Yeah.
He was like, well, actually, I just didn't get to get back to the... I don't want to cause even more of a
big thing out of it.
It was a whole thing.
Week 1 this year, though, it's on September 11th. Wait for those flybys.
Yeah.
Flyovers.
September 11th. Yeah, we're going to have an actual UFO. I'm sorry, UAP flyover, I bet. They'll debut some new fucking fighter jet that we have.
I hope so.
And it'll be a UFO flying over.
wait.
And everybody be like, that thing's making no noise. What is that? It's flyover. What? Yeah, but whose plane is that? Well, it's ours. Okay.
Bought it from aliens.
Where did we create that fucking thing? Did you see what Maverick was flying in 1990? The F-14 or whatever the fuck he was flying? That thing could barely get in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got these things that are just quiet.
Stealth, can't hear him.
Full building is flying over top of a stadium. Can't even hear it. It's like, well, who created? We have humans that are creating this stuff. We need to put them in charge of more stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's a collaborative effort. Okay. All right. Who created that? I need to talk to that person. We're all talking about Elon Musk. I want to know who created the fucking UFO that just flew over top with 45 missiles on it. That seems like something we should chat about.
That guy's bound and gagged in Roswell, New Mexico, underneath Area 51.
Mm-hmm. What's your deal?
I'm
So sexist of you, that guy. Wow.
That guy thing.
Wow.
You know,
Whoa.
alien.
Wow.
Alien.
It is wild. I'm excited for those flyovers.
We're
learn,
so close.
We learn a lot about our defense. You know, not a lot of people look at it that way, but I've been a part of a lot of stadiums of flyovers. There was, I forget what team, I forget where we were. They flew these 3 planes over top of us, though, that were just fucking loud and large and very fat asses on them. I mean, as they were flying out, it was like, pff. I'm like, see, we need some of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I feel pretty safe with those things,
Yeah.
And then you'll get one team will just have like a big fat bomber fly over top. It's like, all right, so we're fucking dead if anybody comes and attacks this part of town. That plane sucks there. And then some big UFO ship flies over top of something, and everybody, what is that? We need one of those this weekend, hopefully, especially in this wartime we're in right now.
I know. It wouldn't be a terrible time for it.
Troy Aikman hates them.
Yeah, do not do them on Monday night. Do not do a flyover on Monday Night Football.
Luckily, that's the 12th, so maybe they'll.
Dude,
Thank
gas
God.
prices right now, Troy's going to be so mad.
Oh, my God.
Troy is going to be so pissed.
Stay away.
I respect the military. Okay, please. I'm just talking about how we're blowing
The average taxpayer.
$600,000. He got in some shit for that.
Oh, yeah, both of them.
There was there was a time where everything that was happening around NFL was. Are we still in it? No, I don't think
No.
so. We're on the other side of it.
Yeah, we are.
The game's thriving.
We're all happy for it.
Unity, unifying. The game is now unifying people.
That's right.
Speaking of unifying, punters and kickers are bombing balls.
Hell yeah.
Slaughtering.
Everybody's talking about these games not being that interesting. You know, it feels like we're watching the USFL, XFL. You are. Okay, those are a lot of the people that are playing in the games because they're not getting as much reps into joint practices. Joint practices, a lot of 1s-on-1s, 2s-on-2s. So the games are becoming showcase 3-4s. Who can make the roster? Who's going to make the team? Other teams also can watch this film and see who they want to pick. There's another cut coming tomorrow, 4 p.m. Another 5 guys get cut from every roster. What would that mean for some of these OGs that are maybe going to be, contract cap casualties? Are they going to release them now so they can find another home maybe? Who knows? We'll keep an eye on that. But it is, a great preseason for kickers and punters.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of makes and bombs as opposed to shanks and donks. You know what I mean? I mean, there has been a lot of that. Blake Gillikin out of Penn State, punter for the New Orleans Saints, taking on the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. Ball's on the 19. You're trying to get this thing to the other 30, hopefully. That's all you're trying to do. Fair catch. Blake Gillikin out of Penn State says, no, thank you. I'm putting it through the fucking end zone.
Huge.
That's a monster ball. Now, the commentators are wind-aided, obviously trying to bury everything he was doing. But this and the Ariza punt going 82 yards, and then Money McPherson's hitting from like 58, 50, 56, 54. The rookie Cade York from Cleveland hit from 50, missed from 54, hit the upright. But guys are bombing balls right now. I got a chance to watch. Here's Will Lutz is back. And Blake Gillikin quote tweeted this video and said, for those that forgot, because Will missed all last year, Will Lutz got 1 L in his will. And he's got a lot of fucking dong in his leg. He murders balls. He never misses. Good for him. Good for kickers as a whole during preseason. 59, 81. I mean, that's a good day to have a good day right there.
Yeah, something we talked about at the Colts game on Saturday. Like, some of these teams have weapons. Like, Jack Fox for the Lions was crushing footballs.
I was watching warm-ups, and now that I have tickets that are very expensive, and I'm happy everybody's just,
Yeah, and there's apples that were eaten 15 years ago left in them. But I digress.
Connor sat on an apple that was chewed through.
Yeah, Jim Irsay's great-grandfather left it there. Like, are you shitting me?
It was hilarious. Anyways, it was a great time. Great suite, great time. But I got there early to watch the pre-warm-ups. And that's when kickers and punters get to kick, and you can really tell, like, who's a guy, who's not a guy. Jack Fox hit some of the biggest balls I've ever seen in my life. He's just this big fuck from St. Louis who murders footballs. Fox, you guys have been talking about how great he is for last year or whatever.
Oh, yeah. His rookie season, he was a Pro Bowler. I think he was our only Pro Bowler. I've been saying on record, he's our best player.
He's a guy.
He's our best player for sure.
Rigoberto Sanchez is as well for the Colts, but Jack hits a ball that's higher and longer than a lot of people, and it was fun to watch almost. It was fun. I was talking to him I was trying to add another kick into his thing or whatever, and he basically told me, like, yeah, but that's not, like, a lot of fun to do that. I'm like, oh, I like where you're at.
Yeah, respect.
I like that you're still at the point of your life where you're like, I'm murdering every fucking ball.
And I've watched you watch people in warm-ups, more so college people, and immediately you see one kick, you hear the thud, and you go, he doesn't have it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you saying that about Jack, I was like,
it's
all
a
right,
lot of
let's
fun.
go.
It's a lot of fun. I can normally, if I have eyes or ears on a guy, I can normally tell, like, pretty quickly if he's going to make it or not. And I think I'm not the only one with that talent. Basically, anybody that's ever made it in kick and punting can tell. But some of these commentators got no fucking idea what they're talking about. Jack Fox is a guy, though, as is Rigoberto Sanchez. The kicker for the Colts, Verity, I think his name is, he's in a real competition, I think, with Hot Rod. And everybody's just assuming old Wheelie's Hot Rod's getting that job. I think there's actual kicking competition happening in Indianapolis. Got to watch that. And also old Cuzzy for Detroit. He had a great day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun to be out there back on the field. Hour 2 starts right now.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 2 on this Monday, August 22nd, 2022. Shall commence immediately following this beat drop from Twine.
Here we go, Adam, baby.
That was the Talks Table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor alongside one half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys Tone Diggs. Joining us now live from an attic in Ohio is a former college football national champion, a former Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, and a COVID survivor, including one Niner, I believe he defeated. Ladies and gentlemen, the face of Ohio, Aaron James Hall. AJ, how you doing, pal?
Good. Are you guys juiced that Kenny Pickett's going to be the opening day starter for the Steelers?
So that was a full conversation, obviously, in the first hour. I'm sure you heard it.
How can he not be?
Well, put this play up, Foxy, please. You saw this play. In Tone Diggs,
dude gets rid of the ball so quick. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm overreacting, but hey, he sure is fun to watch.
not just so quick. Fryermuth doesn't even have his head around, and there's a guy in his face. Boom. Right on target. And that's a play that will go against any off or any defense, not just a preseason defense, right, AJ Hawk?
Oh, yeah. That's a play that whoever's in there, like they still had pressure on him. He still had to anticipate, throw the ball early. It doesn't matter who's in there. The defense played well.
I mean, here you can see the guy right down his suck hole. Yeah. Now, we got
He's
to
reading the linebacker, like 54. If he reads his shoulders, he can see, like, okay, this dude, Fryermuth's going to bend it right behind him. He's already going the other direction. He can't pivot and get back into the throwing lane.
Kenny, athletic. Remember, he changed the fake slide rule in college because of what he was able to accomplish. So instead of skirting out of the pocket, right, which a lot of young guys potentially do with somebody in his face, he sat in there, made the read, made the throw. With 40 seconds left, that's 2-minute drill, too. They only have one timeout left, 40 seconds left in the second quarter. They have to move. They're in outside field goal range, but definitely getting in there. Run down. I assume they clock this, get off a couple more plays, and score some points. Yeah. Score a touchdown. Yeah, it's smart football. Carson Wentz had a situation this past weekend for the Commanders. They're down on 35, takes a 6-yard snap. They got a punt. Instead of a field goal.
Karlaftis is making a play, though.
I agree. What's his name?
George Karlaftis, right, from Purdue.
Congrats on his first sack in the NFL. I think
second preseason sack for him. Great effort play. Yeah, he was double teamed. Good play.
Anyways, Carson Wentz, he'll get better at that. He just didn't know the offense as well as he has in the past, I'm sure. Got a lot of tweets from people saying, oh, is this what Pat McAfee was talking about? No, I like Carson Wentz. I'm tired of being labeled a Carson Wentz hater.
Do you really? Oh, really? You're a Carson Wentz supporter?
He was in this seat right here. Well, it wasn't that seat. It was a different seat. But he was right here. He was awesome to us. He was very nice to us.
Yeah.
He was a Bobcat user, which made us think about some things, because if it runs like a deer, then her eyes light up. So that obviously made us worried. He's a big son of a bitch. But watching him play for an entire year, I just couldn't take the literally. That's what Commanders fans are in for. And I don't know if they know that. Every other play is going to be and then something good will happen. It's like, hey, baby, Carson. No other quarterback could have done that because no other quarterback would have been alive still in this play. They would have thrown it away or done something else. Carson's still alive, makes a play. And then, like every fourth series or so, fifth series maybe, something happens where you're like, Okay, God, this guy thinks he's playing junior varsity high school football. This is the NFL. You can't do that. So I like Carson. There's just those moments where it's like understanding the moment, which follows us back to Kenny Pickett. Feels like he understands the moment, including in the first game, throw the ball out on time, had enough time to get a timeout if they need it, or score a touchdown. In this 2-minute situation, able to get the ball out, probably get down, spike it, score a touchdown. I mean, it's like, it feels like his football IQ is also there. AJ, I want him to watch Trubisky for a few weeks be a starter, though, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't hurt, no question. And I think I heard you earlier. I clicked in here and you said, hey, let Trubisky, let the O-line kind of solidify themselves and get some of the mistakes out of the way, right?
Yeah, no offense to Trubisky. You're a vet. He's getting $5.25 million this year, I believe. Mitchell Trubisky is getting from the Pittsburgh Steelers. If we read Spotrac properly, go ahead and let him, hey, take the $5.25 million. Get an opportunity to do your thing. Show Kenny Pickett how to operate off the field as a pro. Show him how to be a pro. And also maybe let the offensive line, kind of. Now that stinks for Mitch, but also.
But Mitch is it's also an opportunity for Mitch where he could say, hey, they could easily plug Kenny in right now, game 1 of the season, but at least I get an opportunity to come out here and I'm going to play so good that they can't take me out. Like, that's the only chance he has.
And we have not had this situation happen with Mike Tomlin. So all eyes are on Mike Tomlin, who's regarded by every football person as a great coach. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch. What were you about to say, Connor?
Well, I mean, to your point right there, like when Boswell would miss too, he is like on the record of talking shit to him. So it will be interesting if Mitch does, kind of screw up, seeing him on the sideline, maybe hearing Tomlin in his ear like, hey, look, we got a first-round pick right behind you. We do have to put this guy in eventually. You throw another pick, take another bad sack, you're done, son.
Yeah, I don't know if Tomlin will do that to a quarterback.
Not going to breed a bunch of confidence in your QB.
The kicker stuff is kind of similar.
Yeah, but I think he got a read for Boz.
Yeah.
That's how Boz responds, right? I think Tomlin is very much how does each player respond. He was probably, for a good time, being Boswell like, oh, you're going to be good, Boz. Boz didn't respond. Then being like, Boswell, what the fuck? Boswell responds. It's like situations are situational in coaching, I think, AJ. Some people that I've been around did not respond well to people telling them, like, hey, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. They responded completely bad. Then there's some guys that if you have to talk shit to them and make them feel as if, they still got to prove themselves every day, and that keeps them going. That's good coaching almost, AJ.
That's what coaching is. You got to figure out, hey, what motivates each individual player. And I think that's part of the thing that happens too, like over the course of a season. If you have a new coach, no matter what your roster is, there's new guys. Like the coach has to figure out, hey, how exactly, not only do I use these guys, how do they respond to adversity in a game? How do I coach them in the game to get them in the best position, the best mindset? It's a tough deal to handle, especially with an NFL football coach with 53 active guys, 60 some guys in the roster. Like you gotta know how everybody responds and how they react.
It's a tough thing to do. I mean, there's some guys that just coach the same way to everybody. And I don't think they're getting the most out of everybody. But, I mean, whatever happens. But there's some guys that you put the laser pointer on them in film in front of the rest of the team, like, they might check out forever. Like, hey,
They'll pout. They could pout, yeah.
Yeah, they might, and they don't like the coach anymore. They don't like the team anymore. And you basically just lost a guy who could have been a guy if you go, hey, instead of doing this, let's do this. Or there's some guys that need, like, hey, this guy is fucking up for all of us. Like, that some people need that. It's an interesting balance. That's why the psychology thing that, Coach JB talks about. I ain't a coach, I'm a fuck psychologist. Dude.
That's right.
A stone cold hustler, too. That's real. I think trying to reach people, that's the most modern coaching tip I think that everybody's saying right now.
Well, do you think they can figure that out now, though? Like, do you think that Mitch has to actually do this shit in the regular season to see how he responds? Or do you think
no idea.
Now is like a time? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. When bullets start flying, too, everybody changes. Coaches change.
Yeah.
Players change. AJ, we've seen some coaches change, huh? As soon as that ball's kicked off. Whoa.
Yeah. You think a guy's super cool and he's got everything together, and then the first game hits, and this dude is a freak out artist for the next 17 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, yo, relax, dude. Don't tell me to relax, fucker. All right, man. We were just talking like literally a day ago. You were like one of the coolest guys of all time. Now the game's happening, and it feels as if I might be wrong here. You tell me. Your asshole tighter than any human in the history of anything. No, I'm just attention to detail. All right, okay. I just want to let everybody hate you today. Everybody loved you yesterday. All right, see you. Have a good one. There's some of those people out there that are refs too. We saw Booger on the call.
Yeah.
Jerome Booger was on the call. That guy's still a ref.
Still doing it.
In the Super Bowl a couple years ago, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Still crushing.
Hey, this year, preseason, haven't had a lot of bitching about the refs.
No,
right? No.
Has there been?
No, week 1 though.
Yeah,
I mean, no one cares right now, but week 1, you
think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember last year. Were we bitching about anything last year in preseason? It was taunting, right? So there was a couple that happened in preseason that we got pissed off about.
But then the first game, remember there was a taunting, but they offset it with Jensen and the D lineman from the Cowboys. So we were like, oh, this won't really be a problem.
And then it became a problem.
Yes.
And Crenti was
that
sticking his
happened.
pooper out.
back that ass up.
It'll be interesting.
Is he still out there, or did he retire?
He retired. He's in charge now.
That's right.
Remember, all these people that are terrible on the field, they get promoted to a position of being in charge of everybody. It's awesome. You know why? Because there isn't enough fucking refs. Nobody wants to be a ref, and it's our fault. It's our fault.
Why?
I'm going to say art because you're on the screen when I'm doing it. Because I get pretty animated about bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get pretty animated about it. But it's not their fault. The NFL made a lot of rules impossible to call. They made a lot of things impossible to dissect. Should have used more technology, got rid of technology because the people that were running technology were inept about it. So now we have to sit through a cycle of people forgetting that it wasn't, the technology's fault. It was the fucking people that were doing its fault. So we just have to wait for all pass interferences to be fucked. We have to wait for the point of clarification being illegal contact. I mean, it's just.
Have we seen any of that? Didn't they say they're not going to call it as much, the illegal contact?
They called in the Patriots Giants game the first time and Patriots Panthers, where it could have probably been like a pass interference, but they call illegal contact instead.
All right. Hey, good job, refs.
Here we go.
Good job, ref.
You go, ref.
Hey,
fun.
I want to get you your opinion on this because I was very fortunate to work out with the linebackers for the first few years of my NFL career. It was when I got to play quarterback with the scout team against our defense, and I used to go through drills with the linebackers as well. Not only would I be the running back on the card and telling them which way to shed and what holes to fill and gaps to fill, I was also a part of the, ball getting tossed at legs drill and keep sliding down, which I believe has been in football since forever.
Since it started.
Since football started, this is a rule that has been in place because chop blocks back in the day, much more prevalent than they are now because they have been limited a bit, right?
Yeah, you could high-low people back in the day. You could be engaged up high and someone can come by and cut your legs out.
Yeah, so it used to be something that was wide open and you had to prepare for it with different drills. So whenever Thibodeau got cut blocked this weekend, and we are learning now it was an MCL, he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks. The Giants are reporting he'll be back for week 1. Ian Rappaport's saying, I'm doing some math. I don't know if that's the case. We will see who's right. But as soon as this play happened, the reaction from the media was maybe my favorite thing. Warren Sharp posted. Warren Sharp posted.
I wanted to arrest this guy.
This is dirty as fuck, says Warren Sharp. He was the first one to put it onto the internet, and everybody was reacting to the Warren Sharp tweet. There was Emmanuel Acho who was obviously tweeting, this is ridiculous, dangerous, and cowardly. Straight cowardly. Prayers up for Kayvon Thibodeau, says Emmanuel Acho, obviously one of the faces of Fox Sports 1, former NFL player who I have more tackles than. We have to remember that. He's obviously an incredibly talented brain, and he has played in the NFL, and he has been a great college football player, but he jumped on the bandwagon of this being cowardly and dangerous. It didn't stop there. It continued. Rich Eisen, who we have a lot of respect for, said penalty, hefty fine, suspension, nothing less is acceptable. This man was the first hire by the NFL Network, been around the game a long, long time. And obviously, a lot of people aren't happy about one of the biggest stars of this year's draft, a man who is on the rise, getting injured in a preseason game in the fashion that he got injured in. But for every response, there seemed to be former players that were also coming out and saying, excuse me, definitely not dirty. It's an unfortunate part of the game, and I hope Kayvon bounces back ASAP, says Darius Butler, who will talk in the next hour. He was not the only one. Others jumped in. Will Blackman, it's not dirty. You got to use your hands and get your feet out of the way. Praying he isn't seriously injured and bounce back. Everybody says kind of like, hey, this is just part of the game. We hope this doesn't happen and somebody gets injured. We hope he gets healthy. Mark Schlereth said, excuse me, Acho. This is a block that is executed hundreds of times every weekend. Cowardly? Come on. I would argue it's horrible defense. So, AJ, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, a man who has been a linebacking legend forever and has had to do drills. When I run this play, which we're about to do, can I get your thoughts live on if it's dirty, if it's not dirty, and how this probably should have went, AJ Hawk?
Well, what Thibodeau, he has to have an idea that tight end's coming back across the ball to get him. Like, that's definitely an option. He knows this little split zone look could be coming. So I don't think he's taken by surprise.
Okay, play it.
You see, yeah, it's hard because they got that ghost motion behind him, so he thought for a second he had to check that motion that they faked to. You see it?
The end
around. I think
around.
that's what caused him right here. He kind of stopped. If he would have kept going, he'd be fine. I think that's why 81 as well kind of was like in between hitting him in like as he's going down. Thibodeau's just got to keep going, but I think that ghost motion took his attention for a split second.
So split second, he looks at the end around, which is supposed to do, just window.
Right foot in the ground too. That's what caused it, I think. And someone else has a responsibility to take that ghost motion, but you can definitely kind of flash for you.
By the way, that's a window dressing that everybody's just trying to get everybody just for a half a second to bite so that something can open up on the other side. No edge, no chance. Thibodeau probably thinking of that as the end around's coming, so he looks. It does appear as if he gets his eyes on Cuzzy that cuts him, though, late because he tries to drop down. What's the move here, AJ? Is it both hands to the shoulder?
I mean, you got to get your legs out of it. You can't put that right foot in the ground right there so close to it. You got to kind of get your feet out. And whether he just got to go to him and hit him high before the guy even gets low. But if he is low, yeah, you got to get your hands down and play off that cut almost.
It's a terrible.
But also, don't take yourself out of the play though. You need to make sure that ball cuts back, so you can't like jump away from it. You have to push it down and keep your feet out.
So what do you think he was? Do you think he was thinking about just putting an inside arm on it and kind of?
Which that works. A lot of times you can see this play a million times and how guys play it. Yeah, a lot of times like inside right forearm, but you also kind of got to keep your right foot off the ground too. So you got to use it's a tough. His foot was in the ground. He took that split second. I feel like with the ghost motion, that's what kind of caused it.
Yeah. So not dirty though. You don't think?
No. Come on now. It's not dirty.
Okay.
Good to know.
All right. So there's a lot of people that are driving conversation.
What do we have other plays? You have rights now. There's a million split zone, whatever it is. Look it up. You'll see how other guys play it.
Why don't you send us a couple of those plays for us to maybe have?
Yeah, okay. With you in them.
You knew we were going to talk about this, pal.
Where do I get them now? There's NFL Live or Plus.
Internet.
You just text it to us. You just text it to us.
Oh, okay.
Well, didn't that happen last year? But it was Logan Thomas who blew his knee out when he was pulling because the DN went low while he was doing that type of block.
He can't take anybody low.
Yeah, now defense can't go low on anybody on offense.
Okay.
Now, might have been.
I might be remembering it incorrectly, but I remember that it was a similar type of play where
maybe that caused
football
the rule
team.
change.
Logan Thomas back today, by the way.
Yes,
for the Commanders coming out in there. Now, Thibodeau did not do the same as Logan Thomas. Congrats on recovery and rehab, by the way. And that's no fun at all. Thibodeau with an MCL out 3 to 4 weeks. What I was going to get to there was if you see the way Warren Sharp, Acho, and Rich Eisen paint that thing, and you don't have everybody else coming back and saying, like, excuse me, like, this is something that happens.
If it was from behind, if Thibodeau's out there and someone comes from behind and he doesn't see him and you dive directly at his legs, that is very, very dirty and should never happen. But that's not the case here.
Okay. So
he saw him coming. They made eye contact. Like, it's not. You can't really call that a dirty thing.
Okay, so we don't want anybody to get hurt, including Thibodeau, because we are big fans. We've heard he's a weirdo because he talks about
likes NFTs
and stuff. That supposedly is why he dropped in the draft, which is absurd. So we hope he's healthy, just like everybody else. But you could see how a narrative could be built there. You know.
Oh yeah.
By a lot of people that watch a lot of these shows and follow along and get their insight and information from these people who have warranted, have had success, been around a long time, have sacrificed a lot of time with their families for the game, and we appreciate that. But I'm very thankful that we live in an age where, because I didn't know, it looked nasty, but I've never played.
How about this morning?
So I just kept my mouth
Did the
shut.
show still talk about it this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are they still on board with it being dirty?
Swagoo was echoing the very dirty sentiments. Just because he said just because it's a legal block doesn't mean it's not dirty.
Which is true, by the way. There are some of those things that can be described, I think, like some plays. Not that particular play.
I think it's hard when they legit saw each other. They knew, they recognized the play. Thibodeau does, and so does the tight end coming back across the ball. I have a hard time thinking that's dirty.
Run it again, because Thibodeau goes down and sees it.
Yeah.
So, like, he sees it. Even if he pauses it.
But he took that little hop step before that. If he'd have kept going towards him, I don't think we would have had an issue.
But I think, like, the thing here is
Look, he glanced at that ghost motion. His head quick, like quarter-inch turn.
So he might have saw Cuzzy come in, squares up for him, and then he sees that guy, and then he's back at this guy, right? That's what
he was in a weird spot. Yeah, he would have just kept – if he would have just – he read it right, and then all of a sudden, if he'd have just kept going instead of stopping and trying to plant his leg.
You got 48 scraping. I assume he thinks he's going to the outside if the window dressing guy gets this ball in the end around?
Yeah, that's his responsibility most likely. It wouldn't be the corners here.
Okay, so
48's got to get over the top, and which he does.
So Thibodeau is just spilling this in, is what he thinks?
Or boxing it back, knocking it back. Don't let it get outside of you, obviously, which they don't want to run outside of him, really.
Yeah, well, Thibodeau, though, I'm just wondering if he's scared to death that that's his fucking job, that guy that's going around. But you're saying...
I bet for a second he did. Yeah, for sure, there's a lot coming at you.
Do you think that it was his job or not?
No, I don't. Definitely not his job. You wouldn't put that on DN.
You're saying 48's job right there.
Yeah, and they're executing it. They're doing well. It's just his foot got stuck in the ground, and he just got to keep going, I guess.
And is this, this is a rookie playing, is this a good, kind of... Everything happens so quickly. That's why what we see on Sundays when things are going well or not happening, we should be incredibly impressed by. Because this is what, an eighth of a second, he has a second thought, and fucking boom, MCL torn.
Yeah, and he comes off the line. He's like, okay, I'm unblocked. So it's very rare where you come off unblocked. Okay, who's coming to kill me? Like, that's your first thought when you're unblocked.
I hope he's okay. 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, to your point about the narratives too, if you didn't play high level football or whatever, you're looking at it and they're stigmatizing and assassinating 81's character when he's just doing what he's coached to do. It's like this guy's out here, trying to make the team, and it plays like this, and now he wakes up the next day and everyone's saying, "Look at this dirty son of a bitch!" Like this guy, shouldn't be on a football field. Like that's not okay either.
Yeah, well,
he was probably getting threats last night from Giants fans. To be honest, probably on social media.
Yeah, because Thibodeau is supposed to be a guy for Giants fans. And this asshole, I seen it. It's dirty. I seen it. That's what somebody's saying.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, let's get this guy out of here. Let's kick him out of the league. It's a wild time. It's a wild time. And I think, what we say matters. No, not us. But other people that are in positions of importance. What they say matters because you're painting a narrative there. And I think it did look bad, though. So a lot of people probably just on their emotional reaction, probably. That's all, AJ.
Yeah.
It's probably just a little emotional reaction.
Sure. It's a great time.
Suspend him, fine him, get him out of the fucking game. Kill this guy. Suspend him from the XFL, too, this fucking dirtbag. That's kind of what it was like.
Yeah.
Dirty as fuck.
They're going to fire the whole coaching staff, too, saying, these guys are all dirty. What are we doing?
This is kind of like last year, I guess, whenever Micah Parsons, who would go on to become the Defensive Rookie of the Year, obviously, in his first game, was playing a position he never played before, and he had his check, and then he got by a good play call over his head, and he was getting murdered by similar people on the internet, and had to go out and say, I understand stats-wise say this, but in real football, that is just not the case at all.
Bengals tight, that was number 81?
Yeah.
He comes from a great lineage. I don't think he's a dirty player.
He does. No, he's serious.
It's Randy's kid.
Yeah, it's Thad Moss.
Oh, there you go.
Suspend them. These motherfuckers don't even know they're talking about fucking Randy Moss's kid, I bet. I bet they have no idea.
Probably not.
And then Dayball comes out this morning and talks about it, right? That was this morning where he was like, hey, those are the rules.
Yeah, the statement from the Giants, Brian Dayball, is, that's the rules. We do it as well, by the way. With tight ends and fullbacks going back to the line of scrimmage. So got to do a good job of playing it. It's a tough block, but whatever the rules are, those are rules. Brian Daboll's like, let's not get too crazy, Giants fans, because we got about
we do the same
7 to 8 of these plays in the old playbook. I'm happy we got to the bottom of that. And big shout out to everybody that was reacting, because obviously everybody's emotionally invested in the NFL and into football. It makes the NFL the place that it is. The draft is back, AJ. Bakhtiari back on the field. There's video of him moving bodies and high stepping. You should see him. He does his normal block, and then he finishes with fucking some high steps, looking nimble, looking quick, looking athletic. The Bach is back. The draft, look at that. Look at the pop. Look at the spring.
That's right.
This guy's all the way back, AJ. What are you hearing out of Green Bay?
Look at that hard right inside arm. I love it. Watch it extend it. I need to teach that. Try to teach that to my 3rd and 4th graders here. Man.
Well, the problem is what you're teaching is you take that Rydell, you put it right on the jaw. Don't worry about your hands. That's you're teaching dolphin football. Just fucking no hands, all head there. Maybe you do need to get Bach out of practice. With that being said, he's back, AJ. Looks good.
He is, but where's the Guardian caps? What are we doing here? Are they done now?
AJ. I thought of that.
So his knee's healthy, but what about his brain?
Sure.
Is this the week where they're stopping?
Great call.
Yeah, I think so. I think 3rd week, right? This is the 3rd week. I don't know.
I thought it was through the 3rd week.
Well, Bakhtiari might be breaking the rules because they definitely went helmet to helmet there.
Oh, they did.
I mean, does Bakhtiari not care? We could have saved 10% of that collision right there.
Yeah, but if you haven't played for a while, don't you probably I got to rattle my brain a little bit to kind of get back in it?
Sure.
I don't know, AJ. You know the Bach better than we do.
I don't think he wants to rattle his brain a few times.
That was your move.
Yeah, that's you.
No, I do think your body gets conditioned to it. Like you need to get back in the feel of what that's like.
Yeah, it's official. They are no longer mandatory.
There we go.
Congrats, boys.
Good run.
Some people are going to wear them though, right? Won't a lot of teams just keep them on anyway?
Absolutely, for the good of the players, for safety, for the future.
They'll make the team.
I hope the Packers get it back, and we need the quarterbacks to be wearing them over there too. Don't we need it, AJ?
How are we supposed to protect these guys? We say we protect them. We give them $50 million a year, and yet we're not letting them wear guardian caps. We're not making them. It should be a mandate all season.
I
maybe in the
concur.
game for quarterbacks. If we really want to protect quarterbacks, make them wear it in the game.
Especially like back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah.
Put a fucking bucket on their brain.
Absolutely. I mean, Danny Etling had that 50-yard touchdown run, and I was just thinking, like, oh, shit, he doesn't have a guardian cap on. What if he gets blasted, not looking?
Well, see, Aaron was doing that interview on the side while he did that, and I was going, what if a ball comes in and hits him in the head?
Should have had one out over his hat. Right?
Yes, he should have a guardian. Aaron should have a guardian on at all times. Not just him, though. The other top 15 quarterbacks should have him on at all times. Yeah. I think. For the rest of the season, at least, even into the offseason,
I would imagine Russ wears one.
Well, if they go do ayahuasca together, like fucking get an ayahuasca guardian.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
Exactly.
Russ is, I was going to say he has the concussion water, so he doesn't need to wear the guardian.
You were both going to say that.
Immediately, actually. Is that still out there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Still being sold?
Yeah.
Yes. Still being bought, too.
He
By
actually
me.
pours it on his helmet before the game. Actually works like that, too.
So I walked, my wife and I went to the game, with a lot of the people from the office here. I had my good man brand on.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I drove my Rolls Royce down.
Hell yeah.
I was drinking that concussion water.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, wife, let's ride, dude.
That's right.
I was Russell Wilson on Saturday. We lost. We ended up losing the Detroit Lions, so I never did that again. But it was a hell of an experience.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they didn't play Ellinger for 4 quarters and they fucked around with Foles and Cohn.
Hey, Jay, have you learned anything from these preseason games? I haven't learned anything. I see somebody do something well, and I'm like, is that against Connor or is that against an NFL player? And I don't know in any of the quarters. I used to know, like, first quarter, even if you see one group of starters on one side, that could be the threes on the other side. No, it used to be, I think, a little bit more, and it's all because of the joint practices. I can't help myself, but every single play that happens going, who's that against? I think is that the actual players or is that XFL, USFL? And I think that's just how it is now with preseason, AJ.
Yeah, we don't really know anything, I think, until the regular season starts. But, I mean, at least quarterbacks. Jordan Love looks pretty good. He's definitely improving. Kenny Pickett looks good. The returner for the Cowboys, that dude is lightning fast, and all he does is score touchdowns, it seems like.
He's out of TCU. I believe he went to TCU. I'm not sure he finished at TCU.
I think he did.
He went to TCU. Then he was in the USFL, an absolute stallion. And now he's made his mark on the NFL. Not only just taking a kickoff back to the house, which he caught, 2 yards out, 98 yards. Could have caught that coming forward, maybe a little bit more speed. 1 cut, 2 cut, 3 cut, gone.
Nice block by 84.
See you later. 84 tracking him down the field, by the way, trying to make the team, as is 40 and 50. Those guys probably not guaranteed to be in there. First quarter, 6:05 left. So that's probably going against maybe some guys that you're going to use in your special teams. So I think we can say, all right, maybe they got a guy. Cowboys also might have some of their guys that are going to be on their actual roster, blocking for them, setting some things up. Congrats to the Cowboys. Yeah. I believe that's Bones down there running that kickoff return. And then another punt return. J.K. Scott hits him a ball right in the middle of the field. And
that guy loves giving up punt returns.
Dude, listen.
With all due respect, he stinks.
Well, he got on his horse here, though.
I'll say it so you don't have to.
He got on his horse. Could have dove maybe right there, got him down. Could have left his feet. But Turpin obviously has a how you doing, keep it moving day. You make the first man miss, normally going to be pretty good. Normally that gunner is trying to force the returner to one direction, which is where the rest of the coverage is going. He side hopped him, had another time, went back the other way. Beautiful setup. Yeah, boom. Normally that gunner is shooting at the shoulder away from where all the other coverage is. So you see him shoot at Turpin's left shoulder, boom. So normally you would think the coverage was coming up in over top here. I think he saw the same thing. You can keep playing. They cuts it. He goes over that way, and then bang, I'm coming all the way back. He set him up like 3 different times. That was an incredible return, and I'm happy for this guy. There's people calling him the next Hey, this guy's next. Devin Hester. This guy's next. I mean, it's preseason, so let's fucking relax. But he is showcasing some things that I think will carry into the regular season, including a toughness. He caught that ball with a guy in his face. His head was up. That could have been a fair catch very easily. He showed great awareness with a sidestep, got free, was able to cut a couple different times, and they were holding on blocks. It was a great return. Great how you doing. Keep moving. Not great for the kickers, obviously.
Yeah, preseason, that's the only thing you can really learn is like the punters, the kickers, and the kick returners. And I feel like this weekend and last weekend from Ariza and then obviously Gillikin and now this kid from the preseason.
I think the coverage is probably going to have a lot to figure out. I mean, you can't give up 2 kick returns in one game. No.
Same half.
Also, J.K. Scott, what year is this for him?
5 maybe?
4.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to get something else in.
Is he their starting punter?
I don't know. Ty Long, I think, was over there. He was a captain last year, wore the number 1. I don't know. I haven't seen him this camp. I don't know where he's at, what he's doing. But J.K. seems to hit the same ball.
I was going to say, he's doing the same stuff that he's been doing that hasn't really been successful.
He's the only punter on the depth chart.
Okay, so it's his job.
He start punting out of bounds.
Well, just somewhere near there, you know?
He looks flexible, though.
Well, he is.
He's very flexible.
He's incredibly flexible. He had a gazelle-like run there.
Yeah.
Could have left his feet. I think he could have left his feet, got a trip up at least at the 2 or the 1. But at that point, fucking give him a touchdown. I wouldn't have even been chasing him at that point due to a story that I told on the internet of John Tierlink telling me nobody gives a fuck if they return a touchdown, Pat. Just punt the ball, kick the ball, get the fuck off the field. Yep. Graham Gano's in concussion protocol. J.K. Scott, Joe could have blown a hammy out there for no reason. Not that he would. He does Pilates and stuff. But he hits the same ball. And that ball, end of the year, isn't the same ball because his leg's a little slower. This is just like when we talk about teams and how they might have success early, might win some games. But when it matters, like when it really matters, you know, what is going to happen, it's almost like we can see people's futures. Like you're going to run into a team that can boom, and this team's going to be dead. It's almost, you know, it's an interesting way to view things. It's almost a negative way to view teams. But for me with JK, it's like that ball he hits, and maybe they're telling him that so he can get some coverage reps and like see how it is. He hits the same fucking ball all the time. Yeah. It's like, you got to at least work a little bit on trying to get that fucker to the sideline, you know, like in a little bit more consistent, I think, personally.
Do you think there's a chance it might be more conducive to playing in the division he's in now and he might have a little bit more success because he's playing indoors as opposed to like he was doing that shit in Lambeau and it was a nightmare. Yeah, exactly. But like, you know, you got Vegas and Denver, you know, you've always talked about how the ball flies differently there, and that, like he's not going to really have the inclement weather conditions like he did when he was in Green Bay.
So in my head, he should be able to
aim that
just
thing,
nuke it directionally.
But if they're trying, go ahead, AJ.
To be an NFL punter, right? That's part of it. You got to be able to directionally punt.
Yeah, I think like when I first got in the NFL, I didn't know how to punt, so I was just kicking that fucking thing somewhere. You know, like I'm going to hit this thing, and there's some guys that do that. Andy Lee still just bombs balls. Like there's a lot of guys that have had great careers just by hitting the ball as far as they possibly can. But like I don't know, like in the off season, I think it's natural to be like, oh, I'm going to try to get, you know, better at this.
Like basketball players that get a new shot. Yes. You know, all of a sudden this dude can shoot threes now.
Yeah. So like the fact that JK seems to only hit the same ball every single time, even if there's massive wind, it's like that. I question that. I'm like, what?
Is it possible they wanted him to punt it there to try to figure out their cover lanes and everything?
Maybe, but also if I'm the Chargers, I'd like to see this fucking guy put a ball on the sideline. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to see that. That's why watching Jack and Rigoberto hitting warm-ups, like these guys are landing the ball like 5 yards from the sideline. It's like, oh, what a weapon that is. Like that is.
Five more and put it right out of bounds.
That's what they're trying. They're trying. But getting it in that area is like, I don't know. That's when I saw that kickoff return, I was like, well, obviously a bunch of lanes opened up, so you probably just got a couple guys that looked whoop instead of whoop, and then every kickoff can go. It's preseason. Okay, impressive, but for that punt coverage, it was like, all right, the ball, why is the ball landing where it's
Same old JK.
That's the same ball. And then also, somebody's got to make a fucking tackle, too. Like, that's a good wake-up call, hopefully. Let's talk about Lamar Jackson's deal, AJ Hawk. We talked to Ian Rappaport about it a little bit. Jay Glazer broke on the Fox NFL Sunday show.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Not to be confused with Big Noon Kickoff. Saw Brady do some acting with Urban. Right next to each
commercial,
other.
Right? Yeah, they did a commercial.
Pretty good.
That was good. A very relatable commercial.
Yeah.
The
What do you mean?
Whoa.
What?
Why wasn't it relatable?
I thought it was a good concept.
It was great.
I saw it had
Just said it
80,000
was.
views or whatever. I think that was good whenever.
Hey, they sent the jet.
I concur. Listen, this thing's awesome. I enjoyed the
I
concept.
wonder if that's his real bag.
It is.
Who? Brady's?
Brady, that would be like a little suitcase he carries.
That would be? What's that mean? Go on.
It's like a leather, like old rustic type thing, like old man slash like hippie.
bespoke
Yeah,
post.
there you go.
He is the bespoke post model.
Drinking handcrafted cocktails.
Just the coolest guy of all time. Reggie's back, obviously, there. Urban Meyer doing the rounds.
Hell yeah.
Look at him smiling. He's so happy to be
the
back.
commercial when Florida sent the strippers to Urban's office so that he would talk about Florida more on the broadcast.
That was on a cutting room floor. That one didn't make the public.
Oh, yeah, that's on Pornhub, Tony.
That's where I saw it. I knew I saw it somewhere.
They're taking him on the road, AJ.
Oh yeah, big noon kickoff, man.
Number one, number one window in college football.
Yeah, that's right.
Number one window.
The good thing though is like he seems like the guy who can take a joke and stuff like that too, and like won't get butthurt about that kind of stuff. Won't just like grab his heart and fall over on set when someone's doing this behind him for 2.5 hours.
I didn't see a single finger gun. I did work it into Friday Night SmackDown, talking about the electrifying preseason game that is the Baltimore Ravens and Arizona Cardinals tomorrow night on Fox at 8 p.m. Also, Urban Meyer and the boys are back.
Hell yeah.
And then they kind of cut me off because I was going to go, finger guns coming to a town near you.
How would Michael Cole have handled it?
Michael Cole knows. He knows. Michael Cole knows. He knows.
He would have added to it. It would have been nice.
How was Montreal?
Montreal? It wasn't bad. I didn't see much of it. Just kind of in and out. I talked to a few of the locals. I
do customs?
Yeah, did customs pretty quick. Didn't take any. I only had a backpack with a denim jacket in it.
Of course.
So it's pretty easy, quick in and out there. Travel was much shorter than I thought it was going to be. Montreal was interesting, though.
Nice weather out there.
Yeah, it was nice.
It looked nice.
This time of year is beautiful.
It was beautiful. I guess they're doing a bunch of construction, though, downtown.
Who
I guess,
isn't?
Exactly. Like all these cities doing full reconstruction, basically, after 2 years of shutting down completely.
Smart.
Thanks, Hogset.
Thanks a lot, Hogset.
He's not the mayor of Montreal.
It could be. You don't know.
Mr. Ford.
Well, I think he's gone. He was
Yeah,
with Toronto.
may he rest in
too.
peace.
His younger brother, maybe?
Rob Ford is
He had a bee recently.
very dead. Well, he didn't die, though.
No.
Which is good. But Rob Ford did
Ford,
take over the world and die within like a 3-week period.
That guy was awesome.
Yep.
He
He's
was.
good at football.
Thank you,
Rob Ford kind of had my life with Rob Ford is kind of the same that I had with Alex Jones.
I was just gonna, yeah.
I got introduced to Alex Jones for the first time in my entire life, and then 2 weeks later he was banned from everywhere.
Deplatformed.
He died basically. Never see him again. And then now obviously he's back,
Right.
But it's not on his accord.
No.
This is a much different.
You're lying.
Rob Ford, same thing. He came into everybody's life, and we're like, oh my god, this guy, actual mayor,
Came in hot.
real hot,
Yeah.
meth hot,
Yes.
crack pipe hot,
Yes.
prostitute hot,
Yes.
fighting in their chambers,
Right.
hot.
Also falling asleep in the chambers.
Quarterbacking, falling over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good at football.
What was that, like a 3-week period? And then
Yeah.
he died.
Yeah.
And they were
And
like,
then
he died.
He burned
How'd he
bright
die?
quick.
Heart attack, I believe.
He lived. He lived the hardest mayoral life of all time.
Fortunately, it's
the
heart
Canada
disease
Prime
number one
Minister.
killer in America.
And
And
that was
Canada.
in Canada, yeah. That was Canada. But
They
we
took
assume
him out.
same rules. Who did?
They.
Trudeau.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You can't say that type of stuff.
That doesn't
They
happen
did.
out there.
Once again, the opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect that of the people who are saying it's peers or employer.
Yeah, what'd they say? He got run over by a moose?
All right.
Everyone in
I
Canada
don't
just
think
said,
he got
"Oh,
run
yeah,
over by a
you
moose.
do."
We said he got run over by a moose. That wasn't what they actually said. And we apologize, Canada. Montreal never had a Ford in office. With that being said, I guess they used to be like 77 to 80% bilingual up there. Now it's only down to like 60%. These youngs don't give a fuck about the French language, I guess. That's what I was
Really?
told.
They're only learning English?
Yeah, so the whole country, or the whole province, I guess, maybe city. I'll just say city. The whole city was bilingual. There is numerous billboards that are only in French. Okay?
Wow.
Felt like I was back in high school. So I was talking to my driver, great guy. This dude was awesome, by the way. And he said the percentages have gone down with how many people are actually full-blown bilingual because the youngs don't care enough about the French language.
What the hell?
Google Translate.
So I told him I'm cutting a promo tonight in French. I gave it a run through with him. He gave me a couple corrections
Nice.
that I don't know if I hit. And I said, you're telling me everybody will know that? He goes, no, not everybody will know that. But this will be great for us that want our city to remain a bilingual thing or whatever. I was like,
Man
all
of
right.
people.
And he said, whenever you say "ce soir, c'est ma première fois au Quebec," like give a little, because you're saying like it's your first time in Quebec, like go crazy with it. I was like, okay. And he was right. As soon as I said that, they did go bananas. But I saw some youngs.
No idea.
What's he saying, Dad?
What, they don't speak French on TikTok?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal
No, they
is.
don't. They have that translator lady that reads the text.
And
she's a problem.
I planned on speaking more French. Forgot it. And then I asked them to sing Happy Birthday to Michael Cole in French. I forgot what that
was
song
sweet.
was. So I let them sing it. Couldn't understand a word they were saying. I couldn't even remember it to catch on. And I said, oh, wah.
Yeah.
I got
Merci.
it was cool to be up there, though. Different world.
Uh-huh.
So close.
Yeah.
Vastly different world.
Did you have any poutine?
Didn't get any fries with gravy on it.
Damn.
The only thing I got that was local was the dope.
Nice.
And I only got to smoke one of them. And I tried to eat as many as the edibles.
They didn't have Molson Triple X in the vending machines?
No, I didn't see
What?
any of those.
What's that donut shop everyone goes
Tim
to?
Hortons.
Yeah, you go to Tim Hortons?
King Tim?
Yeah.
Didn't see any Tim Hortons.
You guys have Tim Hortons there, right?
Where?
Indiana?
No.
Do you?
No?
It's only in Canada.
Oh, yeah, they're in Ohio.
All over in
What?
Michigan.
What?
All over.
Well, Michigan's
Michigan's
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, that
Yes.
makes sense, I guess.
How quickly we just said it.
Well, Kid Rock loves it. He got it. He
All
brought
right,
it there.
let's get to a break.
Damn right he did.
Not to Ohio, but to
Have you
Michigan.
ever been to Montreal?
I do not believe so.
It was nice. Nice. Under construction, a lot of construction, but it was nice.
Up and coming, it sounds like.
Their fans were bonkers. Very loud.
Crazy, obviously, hockey fans up there.
Yeah, I said, Ale Hobbs, Ale, at one point.
The Habitants?
They go nuts.
Les Habitants. I dropped that in there with Sami Zayn one time.
Good cheap ball.
Yeah, Kevin Owens actually. Sorry, Kevin Steen. Kevin Owens.
You mean Kevin Mark?
Whoa, Tony,
whoa.
Tony, he can hear you.
I
right
can't
here.
wait till he beats your ass.
Right here.
Yeah, he won't.
He will. He told
What's your
me.
problem with him, Tone?
I
Well,
said, go ahead.
he put the family that I grew up going over to their house a bunch of times and throughout the summers and stuff like that. Their son's in the hospital and they're all in the hospital with him. And it's just bullshit.
Do feel for Elrod.
He got
That's
EJ.
Ezekiel.
Yeah, Ezekiel's in the
Elrod.
hospital. Yeah, EJ got involved. That's the old man. When
EJ.
EJ gets involved,
Wow.
What is so funny?
I saw that. I saw when Pat said something about when EJ gets involved. I didn't even watch the clip. I just saw your tweet.
Serious business, man.
Where'd they go? I feel like that whole family, I haven't seen them much.
They're in the hospital.
fucking trying to take care of Ezekiel,
Yeah,
dude.
Jesus.
Because of what this asshole KO did. You're right.
Thank you.
But I did forget about that for a moment on Friday.
We grew up there.
And I said, KO, listen.
Oh, no. Look at this.
Yeah, the man on the far right obviously isn't a part of the photo. That's
He's in the bed.
He's the one
But
that's
the
in
rest of
bed.
the photo is real.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's covering up his younger brother.
Yeah, Elrod's getting covered up, Don.
Shout out to him still wearing the knee pads and boots in the hospital. I respect that.
Well, he got taken straight there.
Yeah.
Couldn't
So-
take him off.
Yeah. Normally they hope we're okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thanks for everything.
What was their mom's name again?
Well, soon, Zeke.
Eleanor.
Eleanor.
Where'd that picture come from?
What are you talking about?
The hospital.
Was that
Yeah,
run
what
on
do you mean?
SmackDown?
Yes. Raw. Yeah.
That picture was.
From the hospital.
Raw.
I gotta
With,
start watching.
yes, with EJ. By the way, the dad, Ernie Jr. up there, because Ernie Sr. is the great-grandpa.
Right.
Obviously. Very well.
Yeah.
It's nice of Elias to bring the guitar to play a melody.
Yeah, he was trying to lighten the mood. That's what we always did back in the day,
Yeah.
you know? Elias would get out the guitar. Ernie Jr., he starts singing.
That's right.
But whenever he's not singing, he's pissed. He's a fucking
He get
problem.
one too many IC lights in him, he'll fucking put on a full concert.
That's right. We hope Ezekiel's okay. And it was great to see the whole family. Obviously, you don't like it like that, AJ.
I mean, we don't. It's the first time seeing that picture. I feel terrible for him. To borrow that neck brace. They're going to cut his boots off, like when they cut them in Jersey.
Well, I better not.
Not EJ.
No.
Spent top dollar for those boots.
Yeah.
When he was breaking in through the Indies, EJ. All right.
You can tell they're related. They all have a very similar look.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're family.
I forgot about it. Anyways, I asked Kevin Owens did that to that family, and I forgot about that for a moment. I don't know how I did. Kevin Owens so goddamn charming, I guess.
Wait, who's the little guy on the right?
That's the youngest. That's the
Yeah,
youngest.
That's Elrod.
It's Elrod, yeah.
Well, let's get out of here. before we,
Elron?
Elrod.
You don't get it.
Disrespectful prick.
They're already in the hospital. I hope you're happy. EJ's got his own health concerns, too. Too many icy lights.
What?
We're back in 4 minutes, some phone calls to wrap up this hour and talk about all the other stuff going on around the NFL. Like Kyler Murray being a better play caller than Cliff Kingsbury.
Whoa, look
Who
out.
needs to watch film in the desert? You tell me. Lamar Jackson's zeal. Adam Thielen talking to fellow Minnesotan Trey Lance.
Ooh.
and more. We're back in 4. This is the Pat McAfee Show. It's a terrible show, but we'll do more of it soon. You like Trey Lance, huh? You love the way he plays, you love the way he operates. How about how he handled the whole situation last year? I mean, this is isn't it kind of awkward situation going on over there, or not at all?
I mean, some would say it's definitely awkward. I mean, you trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback. Like, there's writing on the wall. Like, it is what it is. It's the NFL. It's a profession. Everyone's trying to bring in younger, better, cheaper players. And then that's just the way the league is. And so there's an awkwardness to it, I guess. But at the end of the day, we're all here on the same team, and we're trying to win Super Bowl. So it's the lucky thing that we have here at the Niners is I feel like we have a fantastic culture of guys that just want to get better every day, and we love everybody in our locker room. So, Jimmy G could have been a dick and said, it's not my job, not my responsibility to take care of this guy and put him under my wing. But instead what he did is he was professional every single day. He didn't complain one time. He showed up, he worked, he started, he got us to an NFC Championship game and helped Trey along the way. And so I thought Trey took a bunch of steps forward. And for Trey to become a really good quarterback in the NFL, he needs reps. And so once this kid gets a lot of reps, just watch out, because some of the things I've seen him do in practice kind of mind-boggling me, so I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, he's considered great athlete, right? Because obviously Aaron waited behind Brett Favre for 3 years, right? And I wish, and I've said this publicly a lot, and I'm sure the Luck family doesn't like this, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year. Like, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year to see how he operates in the building, how you operate with equipment managers, training, like everything like that. Trey getting an opportunity to watch Jimmy G do this. He's from the Tom Brady mentor camp or whatever. Did he make leaps? Like, did you see leaps and bounds as him as a player, as a football, as an NFL guy? Or is it just like a consistent growth with him and he's kind of just chill?
Both. I think it's consistently gotten better, but you could see, Jimmy G is a professional through and through. Jimmy G takes notes every single meeting. He asks questions every meeting. He's in his books. And I think once Trey saw that, he was like, oh, I need to do all that and more. And it's also, too, we have a great quarterback room. We got Nate Sudfeld in there, who's also he's got a nice little silly release. I like him a lot, too. He's great for Trey, too, because he's a people person. He helps Trey with the offense, and he did a great job helping him all year, too. So Trey has taken, in my opinion, big steps forward. If you compare him to last year's OTAs, I think he's 2 different players. And that's just exciting to see. Now, if Trey Lance was the starting quarterback, and if I say if, because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, not your decision. Not your decision.
Yeah, thank God it's not my decision. It's all you, Kyle. You got this. I believe in you. But all reps. And, if there's growing pains, there's growing pains. I think we have a good enough team around him, from Trent Williams and Nick Bosa to Fred Warner to George Ayuk to Brent to Debo Samuel. We have enough guys around him to help him out through those growing pains. And so if it happens, it is what it is. And hey, you know what? If at the end of the day we have to run the ball 35 times, count me in, baby.
Yeah, you love that, huh? Just fucking mauling people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was that last season where you threw a guy and then continued to run, or was that 2 seasons ago? I don't remember. It's kind of all getting tracked. You're an absolute savage, though. Huh?
It happens every season.
Hey, look it! From Wee-Man! He learned something from Brock. And Wee-Man back in the ring. He's stalking Sammy. Listen to this place. Oh, to the kneecap. Wee-Man so active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Wee-Man body slamming Sami Zayn. Wee-Man used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
Today's show is sponsored by Cash App.
Hell yeah.
Only having 17 days left until NFL football is all the way back. That's money.
Oh.
Sam Ellinger in the preseason.
That's money.
When personal finance connects you to both your funds and the stuff that matters, that's money. And that's Cash App.
Hell yeah.
Know what else is money?
What's that?
What?
Choosing your own cash tag. That's money. Buying Bitcoin or stocks with as little as $1. That's money. Being able to handle our giveaways quickly. Yeah, that's money. Sending, spending, saving, investing, splitting, tipping, donating. That's money. And that's Cash App. Download Cash App and use code McAfee for $15. That's money. Terms apply.
Hell yeah.
That's money, dude.
That's money.
That's money, AJ. You heard that?
Is that part of the read?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's That's Money campaign, pal.
Does it say chant in unison?
No, we kind of ad-libbed that. No big deal. Remix. That's money. Hey, you know what else was money? You breaking down that Thibodeau hit earlier. That was awesome.
I mean, it's an interesting play. It really is. When you first see the still shot, you're like, ooh, that does look nasty when his foot's in the ground.
I'm going to send this clip that Chuck Pagano sent to me. Literally to the group to run right now. It have no sound on it. It's Chuck basically watching the show. And he was a part of the competition committee there for a bit the year he was, I don't know if he's part of the competition committee or the officials committee. I forget. He did something the year he was out of the game. After he left the Colts, before he signed with the Bears, he worked at the NFL offices for a season in the officiating department. His quote, and I'm sure he knows that I was going to read this publicly, that block gets discussed every year by the competition committee. The main reason they have not eliminated the block yet is that they feel like the defender has time to recognize and defend himself in that particular situation. It's not healthy for either player. Offensive guys are risking head and neck injury while they're doing such a thing, and we'll see if it gets chatted about again next year with Thibodeau being a high-profile player getting knocked out early, or if we forget about this in 3 weeks whenever he comes back. But this was the play that Chuck sent over to me that he recorded from his phone while watching the All-22. He said, cut block played a little bit better here. Keep your feet alive and skate. This is Joe Tryon Shoyinka from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go full screen on that because it's going to be hard to see. He's the guy out here on the outside, number 8, I believe. Go ahead and press.
Bottom of the screen.
Bottom of the play, yeah, he's cutting in. Cut comes across, boom. Still gets blocked, taken out of the play, but keeps his feet and skates, as Chuck Pagano described it, which I believe is the proper terminology whenever you're coaching that. So that's vastly different than the Thibodeau hit, which obviously he got taken out at the knees and had his foot planted at the same time, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, it's why when you're doing that, you were talking about earlier how you used to help out the linebackers, and there's a huge, heavy ball that they roll at guys. So you learn how to protect yourself from the cut block, and you're exactly right there. Hips back, like legs, feet, get your feet out of it so you can't get your legs cut up, because if they get even one of your legs, you're done. So just keep your legs out of it and use your hands.
Chuck said skate is what you'd be saying to these guys. Keep your feet moving. If they get planted, you're donezo. Learning lesson for Thibodeau, and obviously happy he's all right and going to be back for the season.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to see like TJ Watt and Myles Garrett, like somebody who's like a vet versus
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. This is his second game. Like he's still learning.
Yes, agreed completely. I think the only reason why we're covering it is because everybody wanted Randy Moss's son, Thad Moss, kicked out of the league for this block. But you were saying, and I think this is probably how you'll coach it for Axel or any of your kids that you're coaching right now. You were saying, hey, you got to go blow that guy up, basically. Like, hey, you got to go hit that guy before he even gets a chance to hit you. Him even second guessing is probably his problem there, right?
Yeah, but like I said, that ghost motion. I mean, it's his second preseason game in the NFL. There's a lot coming at you. And if you see the play that Chuck sent, now that was play action pass off of the exact same action. So there's a lot that goes into it. They can hand that ball off, but the play that Chuck sent into, he recognized it was pass too, so he'd get a little bit higher as well.
You said, hey, I'm hitting that guy before he even gets a chance to hit me, even if there is the window dressing coming across?
I mean, possibly, but that one like timed out weird too. I feel like the tight end was almost a little bit late. Like it took place. It could have taken place like if Thibodeau wanted to, he could have hit that guy over the guard on the other side of the play. Basically, like it was kind of like right there, a little moment of. All right, I might take myself past the ball carrier if I go attack this guy.
What an interesting play, man. And once again, people say this happens, hundreds of times.
And you're coming off like another thing, though, like he's on the line of scrimmage right there. You come off the ball, and he's like, oh, my gosh, there's nobody around me. Like when that happens, somebody's coming to blindside you or chop you or something happens, like a trap block, whatever it is. And so you got a lot to process within a real short amount of time.
Hey, I saw a lot of wide open sacks, though, too, in preseason. Just straight scheme. Guys coming wide open, and there wasn't even a thought of, oh, I'm not supposed to be wide open right now. There's guys just beelining to the quarterback like third, fourth quarter of games. And just like you just said right there, my first thought is somebody fucked up there. And if you get wide open, there's a reason. They want you to be wide open. And if you can steal a sack real quick, good on you. But I think it's going to end up a little different next time for some guys.
AJ, isn't it for Thibodeau too on the run, like he has to go to him and squeeze down the run, or there'll be a huge running lane there. Versus the tape that Chuck sent in, where it's a pass play and you can go around.
Yeah, you can't go around in a run. That's for sure. You'll create too big of a gap.
He's
but
not
yeah,
making
that's
that play,
another
though.
thing you have to read though on the run and your stance. Like eyes up. Okay, here we go. Boom. Oh, yeah. Like it takes reps. I think.
Thibodeau's not expected to make that play though, right?
Nah, but he's expected to not like compress the running lane for sure.
What a scene. Fucking kick him out of the league.
Yeah, seriously.
Get him off.
By the way, Thad, you feel good. You got a good block.
Yeah.
That's an impossible block. Every tight end and fullback that has to make it, I guarantee you do not want to do that.
Oh, so I got to run my head into their knee. Okay, sweet.
And they're always giants.
Hour 3 on the other side. Yeah, got it. All right, good. Yeah, always big guys. You know what happens in special teams? They got rid of it. You weren't allowed. You used to be able to cut people. Now you can't really in many.
5-man wedge. You could do everything back in the day.
Yeah, those guys used to fly. Wedge busters used to just come flying in, sometimes at people's legs. I mean, it was just like you get a 60-yard run up to go as somebody's sprinting at you, big guys, and you're just torpedoing into thighs and stuff. It's like,
It was like you got to at least take 2. Like you have to at least don't go 1 for 1 ever.
Cross body on this thing. I'm happy they changed those rules.
Well, you can't do it on like an interception either. You can't cut guys that are on offense if you get a interception. That's a penalty back. And Chuck saying that the NFL talks about it every year. Like obviously they know that it's a thing, but they have broken it down, to second frame by frame. Like, hey, both these guys have a chance to get hurt and react to it.
Which is exactly what we've seen. It's always going to be a physical game. There's always going to be moments that we're going to try to make better, hopefully for the future of the game and for the future of health of a lot of players. But the narrative of that guy being a dirtbag was awesome to watch. And then the players all coming back. Well, am I missing something?
Yeah, what?
You see, that's what you see, all the players looking at their phones, listening to people call them disgusting, just being like.
There's egregious dirty plays out there. This isn't even close to one of them. Where they made eye contact, man. There's no dirty plays when you both look each other in the eye before you hit each other.
I assume emotional reactions are a real thing. Let's talk about
emotional game.
It is an emotional game, especially with a rising talent like Thibodeau on a team that has been terrible. They should not be bad. Fucking Dayball and Wink, offense, defense.
Great coordinators.
Yes. New whole, I feel like the Giants should be good, right? This feels like
Daniel Jones has looked all right. He's looked pretty good.
A couple checkdowns I saw him yesterday hit. I saw him make a couple reads, kind of went through
Tua
there.
too. I think Tua's looked impressive as well.
Are you talking that because of Orlovsky's video on Twitter?
I did see him break it down, but I saw more of the game too. Like Tua was going through his reads. He looked comfortable. Like he looked like he's in charge.
So for me, confidence is the biggest way to read how a guy's doing because we don't know the plays. We're pro football focused. We have no idea what is supposed to happen on everyone. But like Mac Jones on the sideline, very confident, very comfortable. Like that tells me a lot. If he was just kind of like docile, it's like there's probably a lot of questions going on. Tua, psh, 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 psh. Like, okay, very confident in what he's doing. He knows now what's good and what isn't good football. I'm going to trust that this isn't a unfounded confidence from Tua, right? Like, and that's probably the wrong way to look at things, AJ?
What do you mean?
Like, I just read players and how confident and comfortable they seem to be with how far they are in training camp. Like,
that's absolutely the right thing to do. And I think Tua, like, he never has looked like a guy whose confidence has ever wavered. But I feel like right now he absolutely seems like this is my team. They brought in a coach who understands, wants to score a ton of points. Let's go do this thing. I think he's feeling good.
Did McDaniel tell Lebitard show alongside Stugotz and Michael Ryan Ruiz in the Miami Dolphins training camp? He said, well, he's right-handed. I think it was the first thing he said about Tua. Well, he's right-handed, okay? So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying to you right now. And he just puts the ball on the money. Like, McDaniel, I think, is more impressed with Tua now than he was going in, and he was putting over Tua going in.
Yeah.
And you start thinking to yourself, Waddle and fucking Tyreek Hill. It's hard not to get excited about what that offense can be. And I can hear Gumpy's boner all the way up from Canada right now as we're having this Dolphins conversation. But when Orlovsky puts that video out there for the Dolphin, for the Fins Up community, and he starts talking about him reading and going to his thing, like, you can't help but get excited about where he's at. And you see how comfortable it seems he is. And they're like, it's hard not to get pumped up about the Dolphins.
Yeah, they added Chase Edmonds, too, the running back from Arizona. They have Gesicki as their tight end. They added Armstead on the offensive line. And their defense has been good for the past few years. So, really, it is like, okay, if Tua goes out and has a great year, then they're a legit team.
Hey, Ty. Dolphins win the Super Bowl, dude?
Not a chance.
Whoa! You're going to end up on that mountain?
Well,
Why not?
You're going to end up on that mountain?
What do you mean, why not? What do you mean, why not?
Tell us why.
Well, because that's a tough division, first and foremost.
Bills still there.
Yeah. Super Bowl favorites and MVP favorite.
Bill Belichick still there.
Yes.
Hard not to take them serious. Jets,
Zach Wilson's plugging moms.
not playing though.
Yeah, true.
So,
Wow.
Footsteps.
yeah. Maybe Mike White too. Remember, Mike White was great in the NFL until he just Phantom couldn't feel his arms.
Folsky might fuck around and.
Do you remember that, AJ? That was against the Colts.
Oh yeah, he had a run there for a game or two, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a drive against the Colts. First drive, this motherfucker. We saw it up close.
He beat the Bengals.
Slinging it. And then his injury was what? It was a forearm injury, and he couldn't feel his
Couldn't
hand.
grip the ball, yeah.
Until after the game. After 20 minutes after the game ended, or 30 minutes after the game, he could grip the ball again. They're like, yeah, it was just a fluke injury.
What is that?
I don't know. Maybe a nerve or something?
We get the pleasure of seeing a lot of Mike White tonight because the Jets are not playing starters, so I assume Flacco's not going to play. So we got Mike White and Strafolsky for the Jets going.
There's a game tonight?
Oh, yeah. Monday Night Football, baby.
Of course there is. We care.
Is it Troy and Joe?
Should be.
Yeah.
It won't.
Their first one, right?
I think it is, yeah.
Let's go. We got a show.
Here we go.
Don't be doing no flyovers.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I'm excited to watch Joe and Troy on ESPN. They did a test last Thursday, so this
Unless
would
it's Dono again.
No, he would have told us, right?
I thought I heard Orlovsky was doing it.
Here we
so
go.
He did say
in the
that.
commercial today.
It's Dono again.
All right.
All right, Dano.
I think
Where is
Falcons
it?
are playing Mariota and Ritter. Well, she get some run too.
All right, hour 3 is on the other side. Darius Butler will join us, and your phone calls on the 500 phone line. See you in 30.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, hour 3 on this glorious Monday, August 22nd, 2022. Shall commence immediately following this beat drop from Twine. Bang!
Here we go. Atta baby.
The lack of confidence that is being displayed by the man to my left, your right.
Did they even say it? I said I couldn't hear them.
Okay.
All right.
All right, pal.
Well, that's not how everybody else is hearing it. You sounded great. You didn't really say it with confidence. If I was reading your body language and your communicative skills through training camp and you were a player in the NFL, I'd say, still got some things to figure out.
Yeah.
Still trying to...
Well, yeah, I'm not sold on it. I'm trying to think we might need to come up with another tagline.
All right, me too, by the way. I am 100% okay with something new. Zito said we have it in the chamber to run it back. I don't think we have to do that today, okay? I don't think we have to do that today. But going forward, whenever we develop what the new one will be, we will probably run it back a time or two so we can get some good timing live on air as opposed to off air.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've kind of got the timing now. Now it's kind of just AJ who's bungling it and fucking it up every week. So maybe AJ just sits it out.
Yeah. That man who looks like a country
Okay,
musician.
deal.
No!
That doesn't seem
I
nice.
sit out and you guys get pissed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's all it took was for me to say that. And then, fine, I won't do it
Yeah,
anymore.
you wanted to quit it before anything. That's what
I'm
I've been
trying
saying.
to quit it better. I'm trying to come up with a new thing. Maybe it may. If this is what we're going with, then
All
I'm
right.
going to be all in.
No, let's try the new thing. Go ahead. Let's run it. AJ,
Well, there is no new thing.
No, let's see it. Why not? Just give us something.
I don't
give us
say
something.
anything. Yeah.
No,
Give us
no,
something.
give us something. Give us something.
Make
Give us
something
Let's
up.
go ahead.
I'm not. You
2,
know I'm not.
Give us something.
1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour
I
3
didn't have any solutions.
You're screwing it up
on
already.
this
I know.
glory. Monday, August 22nd, 2002 begins right now.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do that.
shouldn't do that.
That's a pretty negative
Come on,
way.
Ty. It's not a good way to come back.
Well, why don't you do something then? Be a part of the team.
Because I
Yeah.
never said I had a solution.
Well, don't be a part of the problem then.
Yeah,
How about that?
bingo.
I'm not a part of the problem.
You are part of the
making it.
problem. You are bumbling, fumbling all over the place. That's AJ Hawk, the man who hates this show, obviously. Sorry about it, AJ. We get excited every time there's a new hour.
Yeah.
Because we know, the Talks the Table included, at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, that there's another opportunity for the greatest hour in the history of sports conversation.
That's exactly
You
right.
should say AJ sucks from now
Whoa.
on.
All right, run it back from the top. Let's see how that plays. Hey, that'd be a little negative, too.
I don't wanna do
That'd be
that.
a little negative, too.
Okay. Maybe just football.
Yeah.
All right, go to the top. Atone Diggs, one half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, I think you would enjoy that. Let's go ahead and dive in. So we have the greatest 56 minutes, 55 minutes of our sports talk of all time.
3,
What's
2,
Caboli think?
1.
Welcome back to the show. This hour will not see Mark Caboli. This hour will not see many others that we love. This hour will be the finest hour we've ever had, and we start now.
Football!
Yeah. That sounds right. That feels
Felt pretty good.
That felt right.
That's good energy. Well, you were a part of it, obviously.
Nope. Yeah, I was.
No,
you
I
weren't.
didn't hear it.
Man, we did
Oh,
it.
did you mute me?
No, you
Nick
said,
might have
okay,
muted you.
what's Mark Caboli think? That's all you said.
All right, this is the new standard. Let's run it one more time, and let's fucking hit this home run so we can have a good 54 minutes.
I'm going early.
You have to.
Don't.
I have to.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this glorious Monday, August 22nd. Starts now.
Football. Wow. I knew there was something up. I saw you flicker. I saw you flail into the back room. I knew something was up.
We just wanted to hear how much you committed to football.
It wasn't very confident.
It wasn't. It was bullshit.
It was actually very confident. I just said it quietly because I knew you guys wouldn't be joining in.
No, you're like Thibodeau, second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Looking this way, got your foot planted in there. Expose yourself.
Okay, where were you guys?
Football!
We yelled at you. You got muted.
All right.
Finger slip, sorry.
It's good work back here.
Oh, baby.
Say it like
You don't want to do it again? Couple more?
No, I'm done with it. We're moving on. Tom Brady's back, AJ. Hope you're happy. Football. Hope you're happy.
Tommy Bahama.
Hey, Tom, well, we don't know if that's true yet. That story has not been 100% confirmed by our insiders or any of the NFL insiders. It appears as if nobody really knows what is going on with Tom Brady or has been going on with Tom Brady, aside from Tom Brady. We assume his family, Todd Bowles, and the GM of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He ends up missing 11 days of training camp right in the middle of it after coming back from retirement for this season, which is number
23
for him. So obviously the run he has been on in the NFL will never be beat again, never be seen again. But Tom Brady is back on the field. Clyde Christensen looks good coaching him up, and Tom looks like he's ready to be back in football.
Hell yeah.
Just like he retired for 40 days, couldn't take it anymore. We assume wherever he was for the last 11 days got owed to him as well. AJ, your thoughts on him coming back, and could any other player in the history of the league pull this off? Probably not.
Yeah, being gone that long. You say 11 total days? Is that what it was?
I think so, because it would have been 9 days if it was to the 20th, 11th to the 20th.
Yes.
So I just added 2 more days and made it 11. Could have been 10, though. Could have been 10.
I wonder, will we see anybody in the future do this? I mean, guys like, it can only be done by quarterbacks, I would imagine, right? Where you can take an extended period like this.
Could be TJ Watt. Like, I think it would have to be,
Yeah. But it's a pretty rare situation, though. Like, I think with whatever we said early on, like, maybe he agreed to something with the family back in the day when he retired, finally doing it. Okay, here we go. When I come back, this is part of it. This is like a stipulation for me rejoining the team. But I can't see it. I don't know. I don't know if this ever happens with anyone else.
I don't know either. And it's Tom Brady, so Tom Brady can
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. But
I don't know. They got a lot of offensive linemen down.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, a lot of offensive linemen down.
I don't know if Tom being there for the last 11 days would have made that any better.
I don't think so either. I don't think it changes anything. But I'm just talking about team as a whole. I watched them in their preseason game for a little bit.
Yeah.
It did not look.
If not.
I mean, it does not look. Once again, preseason. Let's not overreact.
Right.
Tom Brady was not there for 11 days, so let's assume that he, brings not just upside on the field, also off the field meetings, all of training camp. Let's assume he could help out there. But I think they got some shit to figure out. They got injuries, unfortunate injuries at some key spots. It does not look great. Tom hasn't been there. They'll figure it out because they're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but there's a lot of people down on the Bucs right now. I'm scared to do it publicly because Tom Brady is the quarterback, and I know a lot of people down there, and I have a lot of respect for a lot of people, but it's a lot of alarming shit to me as well, and it's hard to win in the NFL to begin with.
Well, and obviously a lot of those guys, they're in the NFL, so it's not like they're just scrubs, but when you start getting that far down on the depth chart of the offensive line, like how much can Brady actually mask that?
I don't know, AJ. What do you think on that whole thing? Because obviously there's been a lot of undrafted offensive linemen who have had success in the past. It's all about the group that you end up getting together. How well can they work together? How much they like each other? You never know who's going to be that crew. Wirf's still playing.
Yep.
From all reports, Hainsey's doing good at the center position. I think there's a couple other guys down there.
Shaq Mason they got from New England. He's a guard.
And they might make a move, too. They might make a move. We don't know. But the offensive line, I think, is a little bit alarming. And it seems like they weren't trying. But third and fourth stringers playing when I was watching, Tom not being at practice, it's tough to judge anything at this point.
Yeah, and like if he knows that he's got to get the ball out fast, like that's what he's going to do. Like if it's Julio Jones, Godwin, Brate, and Mike Evans, like he knows someone's going to be open out there, and if they're playing a really good D-line and he knows the disadvantage is their O-line, then he's going to use that to, help him his own offense out, really.
How about Tom having offers allegedly now? Well, not offers, not good enough offers, I guess. Raiders. That Dana White news break on the Gronks that I know you and I were both watching at the same time, that was huge news because didn't we hear that nobody was really interested in Tom Brady?
That's what it seemed like at the moment.
Yeah, Ian Rappaport was like, no, we were reporting this is all. I'm like, no, at the time.
Yeah, did Ian try to claim this is a thing? This was known?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there any, can you go back and find any reports where people talked about this?
I don't know, because I try to think back to when it was all happening, how befuddled I was. When I was getting on the microphone every day and saying, everybody's going to want Tom Brady. What, there's 5 teams that don't want Tom Brady is what I was saying? If every other team is wondering if they can make Tom Brady work and they're building financially and everything-wise, can we move our quarterback because he's fucking Tom Brady, I kept saying. And then I was getting dunked on. I was getting dunked on by people. I think that's why I remember it, because everybody's like, nobody's interested. The only team that was interested was Tampa Bay, and that's why he fell to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or whatever. Chargers, we knew the Chargers were interested. I think we talked to Tom Telesco, and Tom Telesco said, if Tom Brady's available, you at least gotta look into it. That was before they got Justin Herbert. They were kind of in a situation, so they looked into the Tom Brady stuff. But it sounds like the Raiders were definitely in conversation. Titans, allegedly definitely in conversation. Saints, we're definitely in conversation. 49ers, definitely in conversation. Tampa Bay, definitely in convo.
Dolphins.
It's like, Dolphins were trying to give him fucking ownership for 2 years before he even got there. Feels like there was a lot of teams interested that we just didn't know about at the time. And Dana White's like, Boyd, I got some fucking news for you. Me and Mark Davis sat down with our backpacks and went to work on this whole thing, and Gruden threw it out the fucking door.
No, it's because the Colts were in that same thing, and you were like, this makes no sense. Why, if the Colts aren't interested in Tom Brady, when we were hearing rumors that he maybe wanted to come, have a conversation with the Colts about going there, and it was like, well, why the hell is it, like, everyone's going to be interested in this guy? Why are the Colts the only ones who are saying no? But then it came out that, like, when he ended up going to Tampa Bay, it was almost like he kind of just fell into their laps.
Yes. AJ, what is the deal? How come Gruden didn't want Tom Brady? I thought Gruden hated Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I thought he hated him.
What did Mike Mayock think of the deal? Was he on board? Did he want it?
So that quote that Ari Mirov at My Sports Update, I don't know if he tweeted this now or back in 2020, but he said that John Gruden said when he was asked about the team's interest in Tom Brady, we love our quarterback. Our quarterback is a really good player, Derek Carr. I want to reiterate that to everybody in Vegas. We've got a good young QB in the film, the statistics, and analytics prove it. We probably heard that at the time and said, okay, so John Gruden doesn't hate Derek Carr. What we didn't know is this is probably a message to Mike Mayock, Mark Davis, and everybody, Dana White, everybody else around Vegas. We don't want Tom Brady. We want Derek Carr. And that's just interesting because I thought Gruden hated Carr. That was kind of the rumor on the street. And now it's the complete opposite. He fucking told Tom Brady to go fuck himself for Derek Carr. That's a vastly different story than we had heard.
For everything that we've heard about that organization, though, is John Gruden made every single decision.
Yeah.
Mayock made no decisions. And we also know that Gruden is a football dictator. He did not want Tom pushing back on his ideas or plans or anything like that. He knew he could boss around Derek Carr.
So now everybody's saying that Mark Davis was the one that leaked the emails because he wanted Gruden to fuck out of there because he said no to Tom Brady. Tom Brady wanted to win a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Bucks and didn't win one. The Raiders obviously did not. I mean, it's just there's layers to it. And Dana White's just chilling on a chair at UFC 278 talking to the Gronks. Like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but yeah, I had the whole thing. I was even telling him neighborhoods to go buy houses in. Him and Gronk both. And then Gronk goes, 100% true.
Yeah.
And you just told the story. Michael Lombardi comes out and says, Dana White doesn't need me to legitimize the story. 100% true. Now it's like, God damn, we didn't hear any of this at the time.
That certainly would make sense, though, right? I mean, Mayock maybe, but that almost seems like a shot across the bow at Mark Davis, who would have been like, hey, let's, new city, like, let's do whatever we can. Let's go get Tom Brady. And Gruden essentially saying just like, fuck you. We're not getting Brady. This is my team. We're sticking with Derek Carr.
And Mark Davis like, well, you better have some clean emails, bub. back on. Oh, God. No, allegedly Mark Davis was upset that Gruden got the emails leaked, right?
Yeah.
But people are tying everything together with Gruden now because of that decision, and that's why it got blown up and everything. It's like, damn, the ripple effect of this one little news break on UFC 278 with the Gronks on ESPN Plus. $74.99 for that pay-per-view, by the way.
I know. I bought it.
Me too.
Hell yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That Luke Rockhold fight was very unique and entertaining at the same time.
Dude, I thought it was a gimmick. Like, Nate Diaz, when he fights, Diaz is like fucking with people, basically, I hadn't seen Rockhold fight, I don't think. Maybe in the past I've seen him and I don't remember. I should pay attention more because I watch every single time there's an event. But I just, fucking beat the shit out of him. Like, I don't know enough about the stories. It's something to do. I haven't seen him enough. That's not gimmick, like just fucking like turning your back on a guy and like just walking away. That was awesome.
I mean, it seemed like he was completely exhausted one round in, but do you think it was the altitude? What was it?
Yeah, everybody's talking about the altitude. Also, he's kind of old, right? I mean, that's what he said at the end. He said, I'm fucking old.
Well, like it looked like he was baiting him because he looked completely exhausted, dead, everything hurts, but then he could explode like a madman.
Then that left he hit straight was like very
How about
powerful.
some of those spinning kicks he threw when he looked like he was dead tired?
Not even a spinning kick. He was just kicking regular kicks that were just like smack. And then he went back to just being completely dead. I thought he was selling. Like, honestly, I had no idea what it was. And then the whole fight went that way. I'm like, he wasn't like, this wasn't a rope-a-dope. Like, he wasn't trying to wear this guy out. He was actually exhausted in there. And when he flipped over in the last, 10 seconds of that fight or whatever, or 11 seconds, he started rubbing his fucking blood all over that guy's face.
Yeah.
I mean, what a madman. I wish I would have seen more of his fights. I enjoyed the card. $74.99 is a lot of fucking money to put up there, though.
Yeah, and what you said too, you were up till 2 a.m.?
Yeah, I fell asleep after the fourth round. God damn it. I woke up. I was fighting going into that fifth round. I mean, eyes really, you know what I mean? Like, full on. I'm trying my best here. I like Usman. He's our guy. Seems like he's got this
dominating
pretty much under control. And then I wake up the next morning and it's happy Leon Edwards everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? 58 seconds left. Hail Mary kick. Bang. How you doing? Keep it moving. Pound for pound champ goes down. Joe Rogan's reaction. Oh! Yeah. Everybody, I think it's got 10 million views on one of the accounts. What a night. I guess the $74.99 is worth it for a last minute 5-round championship main event fight ending with one swing of a left leg out of nowhere. But that was a lot of, they got to just be.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely worth it. But also, it's just like you kind of mentally are just like, okay, I'm just going to have to eat ramen for the next week. Like, that's okay. I'm going to enjoy the fights tonight, and I'm just going to have ramen the next week.
Well, you got the Gronks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to watch along with the Gronks in that $74.99.
Sure.
I had it on the Spanish version for a little bit. That was exciting.
Nice.
That was electrifying. I think
there's a lot of them.
Yeah, you got like 4 or 5 different accounts if you pay $74.99.
No, how many Gronks are there?
Oh, 6. I think there are 6 wide. I think.
Okay.
And then Kevin Holland was there as well.
Mm-hmm. Mojo there?
I did not see Mojo.
Damn.
Is he still wrestling?
I think so. I don't know. Not with
Dean
WWE.
Mutati?
I don't think he's with the WWE anymore, but honestly, I don't know who's with WWE and who isn't. What's gimmick and what isn't.
Sure.
I have no idea. It's a wild time in wrestling right now.
Seems like it.
Wild time in wrestling right now. Cardiff, Wales, 2 weeks away. I assume there's going to be some.
Yeah.
I assume there's going to be some stuff that's going to pop up at that one out of nowhere. Yeah. Not that I know anything. This is me just kind of just sitting down every single Friday going, what the fuck's going to happen today? There's a rap contest, or a rap concert.
Saw it.
Hit Row put on a full concert, full song, smoke, no background track. First time hearing the song.
Wow.
Full concert on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing? Keep it moving. I don't know if that would ever happen before. I'll tell you, I don't think that would ever happen before. ever. It's a wild time. Let's talk about some more stuff around the NFL. Adam Thielen told Trey Lance, hit me up in the offseason. And the internet went bananas. Is Thielen trying to become a Niner?
Whoa.
Does he want out of Minnesota?
I saw that.
No.
Or he just wants to another guy in Minnesota to throw him the ball, maybe? Could that be it?
Trey Lance is from 30 minutes away from where the Minnesota Vikings have their training camp. I believe the Vikings actually bust in a bunch of kids from his town to watch him perform in the joint practice between the Niners and the Vikings. Adam Thielen saying, hit me up this offseason, though, with the eyeballs on the 49ers on NBC Sports, at NBC Sports 49ers. I mean, all eyes are on Adam Thielen. Is he a free agent next year? Is this the last year of his contract?
I don't know what it is, but I assume
is this tampering?
Well, I'm guessing that Thielen knows Justin Jefferson's going to get $40 million a year going forward, and that they might not have enough money to kind of spread it around the room.
No, I'm assuming that Thielen was talking about just hanging out in the offseason on a lake, maybe.
Let's go fish.
No, Kittle.
Let's play golf.
Lake.
Going to his workout facility.
He's
at a facility, too.
He's under contract 2022, 23, 24.
So he's around.
Wow. So he's in Minnesota. He said, hey, Trey, you come back home during the offseason, we can play a little catch.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted.
Maybe he's telling Trey to come to Minnesota.
Whoa, get rid of Kirk Cousins. Is Adam Thielen not like Captain Kirk?
Whoa.
Got to keep our eyes on that, AJ.
Yeah. Can't wait. Yeah, you think it'll happen?
What?
Maybe.
I'm just going back to that picture of Elias and his whole family. I can't. I'm sorry. You mentioned wrestling again in Wild Time. I'm going back to that picture.
This guy.
I can't believe the whole family came to see him.
Can you one time be a professional?
Yeah, you're derailing the show.
Joining us now is a man who
Don't show me those pictures, though. They'll stick in my head.
Joining us now is a man who will make this show much better, thank God. He's the host of the Man to Man podcast. He's a 9-year NFL secondary member, played corner, nickel, and safety. One of the smartest humans to ever grace a football field. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
Yo, what's up, fellas?
D-Butt, what's going on? I see you battling on the internet about what's a dirty play and what's not a dirty play. We appreciate you making time for us.
Yes, I mean, you know how it is these days. Far from a dirty play, but no battling, just making my statements, making it plain.
Yeah, definitely not dirty. Unfortunate part of the game. I hope Kayvon bounces back. And you also fired back at Emmanuel Acho, I believe, where you told him, basically said the layered explanation's much better than a headline, but that not really your life. After Dayball explained how they have plays similar to that, and that's the rules is the rules. It's interesting because not just this play, but it did feel as if this was a time where ex-players could almost tell media members, like, hey, chill out. Like, this was an exact situation where a lot of guys who've watched games and who have seen how sports media have chit-chatted about the sport and the league that they've played in know about. This seemed to be one of those situations because they were trying to run Thad Moss out of the fucking league there. Suspend this guy, get rid of this guy. And players came out in abundance. You were obviously one of them, Darius.
But a lot of people, I mean, these people cover the game, though. So they watch the game. So you see these plays literally every week. So that was kind of surprising to see that reaction. I know the ending of the play was ugly. His leg did get caught up under him. I think that was, more his fault than Thad. And Moss is trying, a lot of people are saying, oh, this is preseason. Like, Moss is trying to make the team. Like, he's trying to do his job. He's coached to do that job. I think Thibodeau, it was like a reverse that kind of maybe caught his eye. He hesitated. But, I mean, it's a clean block. It's a legal block by the rule book. It obviously looked dirty because it was nasty, but it is football. At the end of the day, it's still it's still a dangerous game. And I know a lot of people, I guess, don't realize that anymore, but it still is.
Well, I think the reason why we're all chatting about it so much is because the narrative was being painted, boom, bang, bang, by prominent people in the sports media landscape who have a lot of people that follow them and entrust their opinions with them. Like, hey, I'm coming to you to give me my opinion on what it should be for this. So I think that is why so many ex-players got in front of it and were like, let's relax here for a moment. Speaking of relax, the Eagles got a guy, D-Bud. And I know you requested to see this film, and I'm excited for you to break it down here because we do have the play. Obviously, the guy who was completely fucked in the hurdle race because he was too fast off the get-off in the Olympic trials or whatever. He is now showcasing that he's still got it on the field. And in the third quarter of a game in which the Eagles are taking on the Browns, he has a post, and if he's even, he's leaving. Beautiful ball. This fucking guy has jets. D-Butt, what did you want to break down on this? Because I think we do have another angle where it showcases him being even and then pulling away from number 35, who didn't even have a photo on the team's website at this point.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, we gotta get him out of that 39. Number one, like, I mean, it's a fast guy. He's a blazer. Got to get out of that jersey number ASAP. He makes the team. I'm sure he will. But this is something you see almost on a weekly basis, this route concept. You know, it's an over post. And that safety, you can see he vacated the middle of the field. So he took that over. That's something you talk about pre-snap. Like, hey, you take that over. And as that corner, the backside corner, not 35, he's actually kind of supposed to overlap once that free safety takes the over route and be on top of the post route. But with a guy that fast, you got to know coming into the game, like, you can't run that. You can't do that. It's called a zombie or a radar. You can't do that with a guy that fast on the backside running the post. But once again, this is a concept you see almost every week. Every team runs this play. And there also should be some alert. If you can go to the beginning, to the formation, to like the entire formation.
So go to the side shot.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So right now, first of all, they're in the middle of the field, right? This is called the alumni section. I'm sure AJ has heard this.
They're all inside the numbers too.
All right, 30 to 30, 30 to 30, middle of the field. And they're on the left hash, but 30 to 30 where they're.
So we'll say 40 to 40. So that's the first thing, and then it's the first down, so early down, and then the condensed formation. All right, as a DB, can this formation become a max protection set, right? Some formations before the snap, this can't be max pro. This can be max pro. You got 2 tight ends in there, 1 running back, both receivers tight. So before the snap, we should all be alerting each other. Alert shot. All of these things, when you check all those boxes, you got to be alert for that. Be back. This guy's a 4.3, low 4.3, world-class sprinter. You got to be on top of this. But once again, this is something that happens every week in the NFL, this route concept. So you got to have a plan for it.
So the backside corner is supposed to cover for the safety who's crashing down, but he needs to bail as soon as that ball is snapped, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. And once again, this is knowing, this is what being a pro is, knowing the different players, the personnel that's on the field. If that's a slower receiver, you may not have to worry about it as much. But even being that backside corner, seeing this formation, okay, if I get this over route, I got to haul ass and help my other corner on the post because he's outside leverage. So that post is going to run away. He's going to run, even if he didn't run a 4.2 or whatever, he's probably going to run away from 35 without a post safety in the middle of the field. My suggestion would keep the post safety back there. Like, you keep him back there to avoid this. Now, if you're cutting Devin Allen, that's something different. If you're cutting 39 because he is the fastest guy on the field and the other guy, he gets back and overlaps the post, that can make it work. But this guy's way too fast to run this, and you can't hesitate. Like, you literally have to, as soon as he shows inside, it's an over route, you got to haul ass at that backside corner. He hesitated right here, and it wasn't
so
close.
35 here doesn't deserve all the heat, you're saying?
I mean, he has to know his personnel too, who this guy is in front of him. So that's part of it. But that type of ball, like the speed is one thing, but for the quarterback, I think that's 60 plus in the air, like in stride. Like, that's a hell of a ball too. So what's up?
So pre-snap, is it possible for those corners they should absolutely be signaling each other like, hey man, look out, here we go, condensed formation. Like,
what's all that shit you guys say to each other?
Alertness, right?
Yeah, what's all that shit that you guys are saying to each other, right? Because there's a bunch of codes for all that.
Yeah, so going into like a real game plan, we'll obviously talk about it more. So preseason, they probably haven't gone over this at all. They obviously gone over it to the point where, hey, if we get an over route, free safety, you're going to jump that because the free safety, they're not just going to do that without pre-snap calling that. So as the corners, they're not talking to each other. They're talking to that safety. So let's say I'm the left corner and this safety knows, okay, zombie, like you're doing it to one side. Like, I'm either cutting this X or I'm cutting the Z. So if I'm on the Z and I know the X is getting cut, I know, okay, if I get this post, I got to haul ass be outside shoulder. I feel like 35 tried to do a good job of that. But Devin Allen, not only with the speed before the cut, if you play it, he bent outside first to widen him even more and then just haul ass
looked outside too. So from the other angle, you can see, but he sold it when he's looking to the sideline.
He did one of these bad boys right there.
Yeah, so that's tough sledding. Perfect execution.
Right here, look at that. He looked to the sideline for a second.
Yep, once he put that stick, it was over. Like he said, he's leaving a guy that can run like that. But you need a guy that can throw that ball too.
Yeah, and also
that quarterback can't make that throw.
Hey, and that quarterback's got to see that safety coming down and know that that's wide open too, right? That's big time play.
Yeah, soon as he sees that safety vacate the middle of the field, he knows I got Devin. And it's the reason Devin Allen is running the post and not the over. So let's say this was the Rams. Like, that would be Cooper Kupp running the over route. And last year, that would be Odell Beckham most likely running the post. So once again, coming into the game plan, okay, this guy runs this guy runs that. And if Cooper Kupp runs the big post, we're not as stressed out as if it was Odell.
Hey, D, but when this guy when should he start bailing? When he gets near the hash?
Oh, I'm open. I'm staying on top.
Now.
As a deep third corner, you take away the 7, 8, 9, and I can live with a 7 with a corner route because we can line up and play again. We got the sideline out there. I can tackle them. If you give up a post ball or obviously a 9 ball, like that's a touchdown as a corner.
So this corner up here on top of the screen. When should he start bailing? Whenever that guy comes in, he knows the safety's picking him up.
Go back to the wide copy.
You don't see anything but the fucking quarterback.
There we go. Boom. Okay, so damn.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's fucking
But
bad.
yeah, as soon as he bends in, and this is pre-snap once again. So right here, boom. Now I'm going right now. My eyes should be on Devin Allen, but where he is on the field, it wouldn't make a difference, honestly. That's why I'm saying keep the post safety back there because where he's right, he's on the 40-yard line right now. Allen's on the 39 or 41. Yeah. Allen's going to run by him anyway. Even if he did haul ass right there, he's going to run by him. So you literally – I'll send you one for tomorrow or another day where I'll show you a cornerback that does it, the right way.
All right. Hey, look at us going to school here.
There you go.
Everybody wants to bury 35. He doesn't even have a photo on the Cleveland Browns website right now. And obviously everybody's going, who's 35, who's 35? Well, it seems like it's not just him. Also maybe play call. A little bit difficult with Devin Allen on the field. And the other corner should have been bailing out sooner. So we shouldn't just kill 35. I like the fact that we're able to break that down. Thank you for that, D-Butt.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. This NFL film shit is dope.
Hey, it's not bad. We appreciate NFL films immensely for it. Devin Allen, he's going to be a guy.
Yeah, burners.
He's going to be a guy.
He could be a guy.
Sirianni
you can't
knows.
coach speed.
Hey, A.J. Brown is over there, right?
Yeah.
He's going to eat up a lot of attention, right? So if you got a gas.
Devontae Smith, too. Yeah. Heisman.
Oh, here we go, Sirianni. They should have a team. What do you think about the Eagles? You think they're going to have a squad this year, D-Butt?
I'm high on the Eagles, man. I picked them to win that division a few weeks, maybe months back. But obviously, it's a lot on Jalen Hurts' plate. He got to step up his play. I think you got to also kind of expand that passing game with him as well. You kind of got to trust him, and you have the weapons outside to do that. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got Goddard. You got Miles Sanders, who's explosive in the backfield. And you got a really good offensive line. So the pieces are there. They did great things this offseason with the defense. I think they surprised everybody and surpassed expectations last year by even getting into the playoffs. So I expect them to take a huge step, and they, I think, more than close the gap with Dallas in that division.
Should we take anything from that rep there from Devin Allen, other than the fact that I think he's going to be a guy? Is that overreacting because it's fucking preseason third quarter?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
It was overreacting. But, I mean, it's good to see, though. It is good to see, especially a guy that's been focusing on track, playing football again. It's definitely good to see because, once again, you can't coach speed. So if he can find a way to maybe contribute on special teams, because all those guys I mentioned, it's going to be hard to crack that lineup as a receiver, really getting reps and get carried into every game. So he's got to find a way to impact the game somehow, some way.
I think him tracking the ball is a big deal too, don't you? Honestly, I think that's a big time deal. Not everybody, people can run fast. Okay, There's a lot of people that can run fast. Him not playing for multiple years, still being able to track that, make that catch, I think is a big deal. But once again, we shall see how the season goes. That was Gardner Minshew slinging that thing?
No,
that was Reed Sinnett, I believe, at that point.
Hey, I seen Minshew.
Oh, he was played well.
Oh, yeah.
He's balling.
Checking some, doing the whole thing. It was nice to see. All right, let's move on to some other topics around here. Lamar Jackson deal is supposedly not looking good, says Jay Glazer. Uphill battle on Fox NFL Sunday. Because he's dealing and negotiating by himself, sometimes that could be hard to get a deal done, is what Jay alluded to, because you don't want to hear things. They have offered him more money than Kyler Murray, but the Deshaun Watson precedent is obviously in there for Lamar, as it should be whenever it comes business-wise. Lamar Jackson is Baltimore, isn't he? I mean, last night he looked so cool. Yeah. The chain, the whole thing. But he is the Baltimore Ravens at this point. And it's not just on the field. It's off the field. They got to get a deal done. Don't you think, D-Butt? Don't you think he wants to get a deal done or no?
They got to get done, man. And for the Ravens, I mean, the price is only going up. And it just is what it is as far as what Deshaun Watson did to the quarterback market. Because if I'm Lamar Jackson, going into my first contract extension, I already got an MVP under my belt, I already have playoff experience, and I win more games than damn near anybody else. And a guy in my same division has gotten $230 fully guaranteed, who is going to miss 11 games this year, hasn't played in 2 years. I can't take anything less than fully guaranteed and obviously more than Kyler per year. So I've been saying it 4 years, $200 million. And I think the price only continues to go up. I don't think Lamar is necessarily like bothered by playing under this year too, with this 23 that he'll make this year. I think he'll bet on himself. That's just kind of who he's shown himself to be. I think he'll bet on himself and go back to the table next year.
Debo, were you able to watch any of Washington and Carson Wentz, what he's doing there? He caught some flack here early in the show for maybe holding on to the ball a little too long at times, possibly in field goal range.
Come on.
Do you think, is that something, though, like Carson's always trying to make a play? Like the play is never dead. Can you coach that? Can you coach a little bit of that out of quarterbacks?
Man, I don't know, man. That kind of makes them who they are in a sense. And we had a guy, obviously, well, in my opinion, was much better at the position, but Luck was like that. You know, Luck a lot of times, like it was plays, and he made his dumbest plays he made. It was usually like that. He just wouldn't give up on a play. He'll scramble. He'll do this. He'll throw a bad play, and then he'll make it even worse and go in and try to be the first guy to make the tackle. So, but that was just how he was wired, and obviously his career got cut short by injuries. But I think that's just who Carson is to his core, and he just obviously has to be better. I think he has good talent around him, but I try not to overreact to anything in the preseason. But that is something Carson has been. But he's also, you've seen him play really, really well at the same time.
I'm not saying anything. I just echoed the sentiments of the internet because I got a lot of tweets about that said situation because that is basically how I describe Carson every single time I talk about Carson. These great plays are great, but there's no like situational football. Seems like it's not there.
And that's important. Obviously, that's big.
I think so. Andrew had that, though, a little bit. That's why whenever you said my opinion, Andrew, much better player, I think he had a little bit of it. But he felt as if he was disrespecting the game, I think. Like, that's how Andrew, because they tried to coach it out. I'm like, hey, man, you already had a busted spleen. You already broke your ribs. Your shoulder was fucked before any incident potentially happened on a mountain. Like, you're going to have to save yourself. And Andrew just, like, I feel like he thought he was disrespecting football if he didn't go all out. Every single play, we need to do a touchdown. That's going to be hard to coach. I think Carson has a lot of same shit.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get it out of him. And at the same time, you know, do you want to get it all out like that? Once again, that's who he is as a player. So it would be like, you know, trying to change who Trevon Diggs is at cornerback. Like, do you want to say, oh, no, don't take this type of gamble or maybe not give up this? Like, you got to take those risks to be that type of player. And it's about obviously the bigger plays that you're making, you got to eliminate just the complete bonehead ones.
Go ahead, Tom.
But, I mean, that's who Carson is. That's who he is at this point. We know him.
Well, he is who we thought he was.
That's right.
But he might be better with Commanders. Honestly, I'm hoping he is because we got Matt Ryan, so I'm pretty happy about it. Go ahead, Tom.
But my question was actually about Trevon Diggs and the highlight last week where Herbert threw it to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was with great late hands or whatever. Trevon Diggs was face guarding him. Is that how you want to play? Because I saw a lot of experts on the internet, so I wanted to get your opinion.
Oh my gosh! If you think the injury experts, the DB experts are the absolute fucking worst. So in that play, it was a sprint out, and you know, when you almost have to guard him that way. Like you have to, or unless you're already inside leverage. But he was outside leverage with Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen did a great job of obviously knowing Trevon Diggs couldn't see the quarterback, so he's going to react off his body language. So Keenan kind of like just eased up, like the play was over almost. Because you know that's kind of one of those quick hitting plays when it's sprint. Because that backside is nobody blocking that backside. So the ball, Herbert threw an amazing ball and he just stopped and late hand as soon as he hit his chest. So it was nothing that Diggs. The only thing Diggs could have done is maybe close that gap a little quicker. But once again, he kind of eased up a little bit because Keenan did. But it was a great play by the offense. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, what's this idiot doing? He's not even looking at the quarterback. I've never seen it played that way. Almost every sprint out is played that way. If you're already outside level, you just kind of have to plaster him. You got to play his hands. You can't play the quarterback at that point.
But the reason why the internet went that way is because Diggs gave up like 14,000 yards last year while also having 11 picks, and it's always a gamble. Will he have the same amount of picks? Will he be able to cover anybody? He had to delete Twitter because of things that were coming out. Yeah. So whenever that play comes onto the internet, it just kind of stokes the flame that is already there. Do you think Diggs will be able to become like I don't think he has to be elite shutdown corner. He just has to maintain just being average shutdown corner, right? Doesn't he at some point?
Yeah, but that's not the type of player he is. Like he's a player that can be elite. He's a player that has like Hall of Fame potential. Like this dude has been playing a position for 4 years. He played there I think his junior year at Bama. He was a returner, he was a receiver, and then he came back as a senior. He was like first team All-American. And then first year was all right. Second year, he gets 11 picks. And, yeah, he gives up a ton of yards. I think Dallas was like top 3 or 4 in the amount of man-to-man coverage that they play. But he's challenging. He's playing wide receiver ones. And the thing at the quarterback position, like, yeah, I may beat that guy, but at the same time, he may make an amazing play. And it's not going to be a breakup. Like, if he makes a play on the ball, it's getting picked off, and it's probably going back to the crib because he has those return skills. So the amount of, I guess, rare type of skills that he has as far as ball skills, his confidence, being able to identify formations, probably being a receiver helps him, I'm sure. Obviously, once again, you have to eliminate just the bonehead plays, which he doesn't make a ton of. God just made plays on him. I think he can he's not going to get 11 picks every year, obviously, but he's a guy who I think can lead the league in picks for, at least 3 or 4 years during his career. So I would take Trevon Diggs over most cornerbacks in the league right now.
Okay, so this is the play from training camp. You're saying we should not just completely rule out. I mean, it just ended, I guess. Let's get to the. Here it is. Okay, so this is the exact play. You're saying we shouldn't just say Diggs stinks at football.
Yeah, nah.
Right in his face. Keenan Allen, sorry about it.
So if you just watch Keenan, it's kind of taking a minute, but if you just watch Keenan Allen the whole time, just his body language, like if you just imagine you're looking at him in a practice, like you think, boop, and it's right there. So he's in position. Once again, the only thing that I would coach him up to do better is like, hey, close
plaster.
that space.
You said it,
like
plaster.
right here. Close that space right now. Like get in between, kind of like basketball. A ball you, man, like the same thing. You want to be in between. And he threw it, like Herbert's going right, but he threw it back into this shoulder. As a DB, if I know the quarterback is sprinting this way, I'm trying to beat my guy going that way more times than not. Like, not many quarterbacks can put that ball right there on a run like that. So that was a special play, I think, from Herbert. And then from Allen at the end.
You've been so high on Herbert, too. That's like the perfect play for you to break down. Like, hey, this is a perfect play by this quarterback, which, to my point, Chargers are going to be a team. And there's nothing Diggs can do. To my point, you all need to shut the fuck up, basically. Guy had to delete his Twitter. I don't know if that's going to make him lock in more. Hope we don't see less of his kid, Aiden, because that kid was his absolute stud. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Debo, with all the stuff we've seen from Tua so far this preseason, and with them getting Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and McDaniel kind of revitalizing that offense, do you think you've seen enough where it's like, hey, we maybe sprinkle a little money on Tua to win MVP this year? Like, could he have that type of year or no?
I mean, that's a long shot, but yeah, he could. I mean, last year he had terrible blocking up front. I think the Dolphins were at the bottom of the league as far as like playing with 11 personnel, so playing with 3 receivers on the field. We saw who Tua was at Bama. Like, I know it's college, but he was a really, really dynamic quarterback. Was probably going to be the first overall pick if he doesn't get those injuries. So, yeah, he can definitely have that type of year. Tyreek Hill, he's one of those players that's, one of one. He's special. He's elite in certain categories. You got Jalen Waddle, who he always has a rapport with Tua, Gesicki as well. Cedric Wilson, they got the talent around him, and then we'll see who Mike McDaniel is as a play caller and as a head coach. So it's a lot of question marks. But the good thing about that as a defense, like, we don't really know what to expect. Like, coming into, the first couple games, like, once again, they were at the bottom of the league in 11 personnel. I'm sure they're going to be spreading out much more, and Tua can make quick reads. He's accurate with the football. So he can definitely catch the league by surprise, and obviously I'm hoping for it.
Mike McDaniel said, Tua's a righty, first of all. So just want to let everybody know.
What is that? What does that mean? I don't get that.
I guess he's naturally a right-handed person. His dad made him a lefty growing up. I don't know why or what for. Was it baseball?
Maybe
for
pitching.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was for, but yeah. So McDaniel was like, yeah, the guy's incredibly accurate. You see that, but he's throwing with his wrong fucking hand. Like, I wonder if McDaniel's ever like, do we just want to maybe take an off season and fucking just maybe throw the ball a little bit? But with how accurate he is, with the way those plays can be designed, I think we're all excited for the Dolphins. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, D-Butts, what are your thoughts on Tom Brady returning to practice, and what would you think would happen if, let's say, Aaron Rodgers left training camp for 11 days?
I mean, obviously they would absolutely crush Aaron. I couldn't imagine the storylines with that one. But this is one of those things where I guess you act how you can afford to act. You know, me and AB talked about it on the show last week when BA said, look, I'm going to treat everybody fair, but I'm not treating everybody the same. So Tom, I guess he had some previous commitment. He got 12 days off. As a teammate, would I feel some type of way? Yeah, probably. Once Tom come back, am I going to say something to him? Absolutely not. No. So let's get back to work. Let's go try to win the Super Bowl.
You pick him off in his first practice back. Oh,
A little rusty, huh?
oh, how was the beach?
Gotcha.
How was
Definitely talking shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tom knows that too. And when Tom throws a touchdown, by the way, he's probably going to remind some people, I was on a beach for 11 fucking days. Which we don't know if that's real or not. Hopefully we will find out the truth. D-But, we appreciate you joining us, man. Thanks for breaking down that play, making us smarter and better.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. Okay, so we had the Thibodeau play breakdown. We had the Devin Allen play breakdown by people that know what they're talking about. This show's getting smarter. Wait until we get to the Thunderdome. We have a chance to just I'll be able to just circle the players that people are talking about and be able to handle the replay slow-mo and everything from my desk. We're about to do some shit.
Here we go. Game changer.
We're about to do some shit this year, AJ.
I know. It's going to be sweet. Are you going to stand in front of the big 60-foot screen like Orshlovsky does on ESPN and show us what's going on?
I think maybe for the magical moments.
Yeah.
I think,
Why not?
There's going to be a segment, with the magical moments of the week or whatever, where I will be giving my top five, and then my top one. And there might be a celebration of sorts for that. Of
course.
But yeah, I believe there will be some standing and some doing and whatever. You're going to be live in studio. Your big fucking weird finger having ass is going to be in front of that as well.
Hell yeah. That'll be sweet. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait. That was a great breakdown by you with the Thibodeau shit.
I got a million questions for D-But on that, why they played that coverage like that. But it was corners, man. That's not an easy gig right there.
In preseason, too.
Yeah, I guess they want, I don't know. They want that. Having the safety jump that deep over is weird to me. It just puts those corners in a tough spot.
Well, and I wonder when the safety is to jump. Is it like as he gets past in between numbers and hash, or is it when he gets to the hash is when he's supposed to jump? Because if he's not supposed to jump until late, that's corner with Devin Allen. I guess that's just a coverage buster right there. That play is just a coverage buster.
Like D-But said though, it's pre-snap. You look at him and say, okay, they could possibly get full max protect here, which means they're going to take a shot down the field or to have the option to take a shot down the field. And then you see the condensed formation when everybody's inside the numbers and no one's even at the top or bottom of the numbers. They're all inside as you see. There's crossers coming, man. It's going to happen. Hey,
Max Pro means run inside or deep shot?
I mean, Max Pro means obviously we need to block everybody up. We're going to have as many guys – we're going to have a two-man route here, basically, and everybody else is going to block. Because if you bring 7 or 8, we want to have a chance.
All right, let's get to a break, and then we'll be back on the other side answering some phone calls. Look at us.
Here we go. How about it?
This is high-level football stuff.
Goddamn right.
Good work in the back, finding the Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Trevon Diggs play. I mean, that was another one where Diggs
People were killing Diggs for that.
Oh, murder, dude. This came after there was 2 other highlights against him on the internet as well. So it just kind of,
Yeah,
gasoline, man.
He's been getting dunked on,
Yeah, he's been getting killed.
D-But, you'll hear coaches say, I'm sure you've heard coaches say plastered. You get in the red zone on the goal line, plastered. D-But said that, the second, you can't have even an inch of separation between you and the receiver because quarterbacks are so good they can make that throw.
Especially Herbert. What a guess. All right, we're back in 4 with some phone calls on the 500 phone line. Wrapping up this Monday, August 22nd, 2022. Can't thank you enough. See you in 4. Hey, we're up to something big. Hey, we're announcing something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. It is a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. Whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back.
What's doing, Mark? It stinks here, huh?
What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we are currently in. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else.
And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is.
This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls in a holder, and I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season by the way, dude. I said if I ever get a chance, I'm gonna try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in Plum. I'm gonna give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm gonna give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm gonna give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm gonna give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're gonna have $2 million in this fund that'll just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from there. Sweet stuff for sports. Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about.
Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool.
All right, Narati, like the Indy. You're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go.
Here we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ay, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command line. Yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this Monday, August 22nd, 2022. AJ Hawk to my left, your right on screen here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Wrapping up hour 3 on this glorious Overreaction Monday. There is a preseason game on this evening between
Falcons and the Jets.
Of course. Can't wait to watch that, react to that, and give all of our incredible takes. Also wonder what Ezekiel is up to tonight on Raw. Hope he's okay. We'll get an update on him, and hopefully EJ's in town. Ernie Jr. is absolute stud, which is Ezekiel and Eliza Elrod's dad.
Hell yeah.
I need to show one clip from this weekend, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to go about using this footage rights from the NFL films and the NFL as a whole. But when a play like this happens, we got to run it. Look at number 83 down here on the bottom with a double team. By the way, double team on him. Can't run out of bounds, because if he runs out of bounds, he can't touch the ball. So he had to split, attack one, split the D, run full speed. You have no idea if you're going to have to make a play or not. Oh, you are. Levitate! Wow. Save the ball! Hey, good luck, Panthers, starting on the 4. The percentages of scoring from the 4-yard line where your drive starts versus the 20 or the 25 or the 30 or 35 are like, I don't know, 7x lower than what they would be anywhere else. Absolute ball player. In college, I'm not sure if it can break the plane or not. I don't know the rules, but in the NFL, as long as you don't touch the ground or the ball touches the ground in the end zone, it is live. This is a hell of a play for a squad that has Justin Bethel and Matthew Slater on them. Low Jordan Humphreys says, I'm okay with adding into the crew. Put Slater at PP, personal protector. He'll be a late gunner down the field. Have Justin Bethel and Low Jordan covering punts. You go to to bed and you have wet dreams every evening if you're Jake Bailey. What a play. What a beautiful thing to watch. And thank you, Lil Jordan, for understanding how important this fucking play in the fourth quarter of a preseason game is. I respect that so much. The world needs more Lil Jordans. And every special teams coach, to Will Compton's point in which he tweeted that, is running that play saying, who's our 83? Who's our 83? That is teach tape. What a fucking dog Lil Jordan is.
Well, if you're the other team, though, you're showing that and you're saying, how the hell did we let a guy split our double team right here and give us a ball on the 3 or 4 yard line?
Being a gunner is a nightmare. You got 4 hands on you most of the time. You have no clue where the ball is. You're running just straight to the returner, but then if it's a pooch, you got to wonder if he's actually going to catch it or if he's not going to catch it, if you got to make a play on the ball. Returner, since he didn't wave a fair catch, could have decleated him.
Yep.
If you wave a fair catch, you can't block if you're a returner. You don't wave a fair catch, you can get into the action. So that returner could have killed Lil Jordan, chose not to. Lil Jordan said, mistake! I'm saving this thing. What a play. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm very appreciative of NFL Films and his partnership because today we got to break down a lot of things. Thibodeau block, which was obviously hot on the streets of the internet for being dirty or not. A.J. Hawk broke that down. Devin Allen scoring his first touchdown. Was that a coverage blown? Coverage mistake? Was that corner number 35? It didn't even have a photo on the ClevelandBrowns.com website. Is it his fault? Seems like it's a little bit of everything. And now we get a chance to see Lil Jordan sell out for the fucking cause in the fourth quarter of a preseason game. What a beautiful Monday this has been. Chris Mad Dog Russo will be on the other side of this 6-minute break. Your thoughts on how much better his show will be than ours on SiriusXM, AJ Hawk?
His show will be great. I thought you were sending us off, but Mad Dog's the best.
See?
So much
No idea
activity
what time
today.
it is. Where are we?
All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in 21 hours. Good luck. God bless. Hammer. Dahn. What a sign off.
I had no idea. I thought you were 2 seconds.
Yeah, don't need to hear it.
Just shut up.
We'll come to you next time.
I will.
You guys know the seconds. I don't have the second hand. I need to pull one up.
All right, CFO Phil, will you please send a clock to AJ Hawk for his...
It's got to be something else I put on my screen now. I need to know the seconds because I assumed there was like 2 seconds left after that nice rant you had.
Well, I started the rant with a minute and a half. What's that?
Not going to need it for that much longer.
Why not?
Second hand.
Yeah, only 4 more of those.
What? They're getting rid of seconds?
No.
Who?
Time is relative anyways, but I mean, as long
I don't think I know what
to,
toxic thing you guys are referring to.
No, throwing to Mad Dog. You're only doing that for a little bit.
Oh,
that's right.
Thought they were getting rid of seconds.
That is something.
They could.
I was thinking of them a little bit, the radio listeners, as we were breaking down the film, like, sorry about it. Pull it out on your phone. I don't know what to tell you. What are we supposed to do? Show got better. Sorry about it.
Plus, they probably saw the play at some point, so they knew what play was being talked about.
Yeah, you think somebody driving through their truck knew exactly what the coverage was on the backside of that corner?
These guys talking about
Watching Browns Eagles fourth quarter.
No, but I'm assuming they saw that dude's touchdown, like all those clips that were shown.
I understand they saw the touchdown. You know what they saw? They saw a guy sprinting past people, catching it.
Yeah.
We're asking them what are driving down the street, listening to radio. Oh yeah, I do remember that corner on the backside having a crosser and having to bail early. Like that was a little bit.
It's like McVay.
That was a little bit, yeah, that was a little bit tough.
True.
I feel bad for them.
Well,
I don't.
Can't please everyone.
Can't hear us now either way.
Nick, I didn't even know what you were talking about. I thought we were getting rid of like just time as a whole.
That'd be awesome.
Not yet.
Hey, there's a new Twitter account that has kind of dropped into our sphere a little bit. Nick found it for me, sent it to me. What's it, Exos NASA or something like that?
NASA, I think it was exoplanets.
They said, we are your official go-to for, we are trying to find life in other galaxies and planets and stuff. Yeah. What, you think they're going to lie?
No, they already found it. I mean, what are we talking about?
They're the ones that put that sign out there, that painting picture?
Of the Dong guy?
Yeah, remember we put a picture up there in case any aliens see it, like, hey, come back here.
Oh, this one, the blue avatar guy that we sent out there. Yeah, I remember that. That was probably this people, yeah.
Where's Elon's guy in the car orbiting Earth? Where's he at right now?
There's a guy orbiting Earth right now in a Tesla?
Yeah, Elon sent one up with a dude in there.
In a Tesla?
Hopefully there's
yes, it's orbiting it forever.
Hopefully there's no little children walking around space.
What does that mean?
You could watch the live stream from it for a while. Probably still can.
Teslas don't stop for kids.
What?
What are you talking about?
Auto drive mode doesn't stop for children.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Really?
Don't be a kid in crosswalk if Tesla's coming.
So I'd assume a dog then too, right?
Yeah, probably.
Probably a dog.
What's this all about?
Or just be ready to hit the brake.
Well, I think people put on autopilot and say, I don't need drive-throughs, Plaza.
But autopilot, you have to check in every 10 seconds, don't you?
Yeah, it's such a waste. Mostly because the cars just run over kids, I guess. That's probably why. That's probably why you got to check in.
Well, if someone's bopping it in there when they're on auto drive.
Oh, yes. Not bopping it while auto drive. I'm happy we got to this. Enough with the cars automatically turning me if it seems like I'm going over a solid line. Let me tell you why. A, I like to make moves. B, there's so much construction. You're crossing over solid lines here all the time to get to the actual lanes that you have to drive in. I was driving my wife's car, and I was trying to get it. This thing almost ran me into another car. Like I had to overcorrect almost. I'm like, whoa. What is this? It's like, oh, it is guided help driving or something. Like, I fucking don't need it, okay? Let me drive where the fuck I want to drive. And if I need to go through a hard line, by the way, maybe I'm making a move, and maybe construction's terrible. You ever think about that car? Where's the fucking update? I mean, I almost got into a crash.
Does it vibrate your seat too? I hate it. Like if I have a rental car, sometimes it'll freak you out like you're doing something wrong and vibrate the hell out of your seat because you're 20 feet away from somebody.
Oh yeah, it'll start. It's like what?
Yeah.
And then red.
And it shuts off. You go to a stop sign or a stoplight and it shuts off.
Can't have it.
I hate that.
Can't have it. Why is it doing that? I was told growing up, and now granted, I think we all are kind of a part of a life right now where we're realizing that what we were taught as children might not have been accurate.
True.
I think there's, some of the stuff. I think
what.
Depends on the area.
I think there's a lot of shit in a lot of different genres of life we could kind of dive into, but I feel like what we're being retaught now as adults is vastly different than what we were learning as kids. One of them being, it wastes more gas to start the fucking car, doesn't it? What are we even doing?
I was always taught, right?
That's true. I was told sitting idle was better for the fucking gas thing than turning it off, turning it back on. Now there's cars just turning off every single time they stop and turning back on to save the planet. I thought that was worse. I thought that was much worse. And also, the cars sound like a bunch of bitch-made cats. Bunch of bitch-made cats. I pull up next to somebody, and they got a little bit of a hum in their engine, then that thing turns off at the red light, and then it's back on. I'm like, your car's telling you what to do. I hate to break it to you. You're going to be slow off the line. What a soft... Like, I don't like it, AJ. I don't like any of it.
Also, save the planet. I mean, the fucking ice caps are melting. My car turning off at a red light ain't fucking doing anything.
Well, the world's spinning faster now.
That too.
That's right.
Which... obviously is because of the car.
Right, but we also already figured out how to basically stop that.
Oh yeah, what did we say?
Junior. You get Junior fucking going one way.
With peeling tire.
Yeah, just peeling.
Darryl Waltrip.
Slowing the earth down.
Exactly. Carl Edwards on the other side, going the other way.
And they're just kind of jousting.
Yeah, balancing everything out.
With 800 ponies under the hood for both of them.
That's right.
And they're slowing down Earth because they're peeling tire. Going to have really grippy tires, though, because we want Earth to hang on a little bit.
You get yourself some Goodyear, some Bridgestone, you'll be just fine.
Put on the rain tires.
Yeah, make sure you put on that Michelin.
Not the slicks.
The Ultra X wiper
XD
blades.
wiper blades.
XD wiper blades, too, because it's going to get rainy out there.
That's right.
Here's the Google answer for why cars are turning off. Unless you drive a vintage carburetor-equipped vehicle, you'll save fuel and reduce carbon dioxide emissions by turning it off. Some drivers think that idling uses less fuel than restarting, but our research has found that drivers save fuel and reduce emissions by shutting down for stops as brief as 10 seconds, says Google, I guess.
ANI.gov.
Yeah, anal.gov. That's an L.
Oh, a lowercase L does look like an uppercase I.
Oh, my bad. Anal.gov.
When is it more?
Suck site?
So this is their
Ask
research?
a scientist.
How come everybody was wrong?
Can I ask
for
an engineer?
Why was everybody wrong for 40 years though? Like I'm watching.
Cars are different now, they're saying, right?
I don't know. I heard some purrs come from some cars that's shut down at a red light.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that thing's going to help.
That's the Argonne National Laboratory.
Who?
The Argonne National Laboratory.
Is that a government-related thing?
Nah, I don't know.
That's in Illinois.
Is it?
Argonne Laboratories?
Yeah. Argon oil is from argon nuts, which are in Morocco.
There it is.
I actually saw the guy that created them.
They used to come to my kindergarten class.
Who, the Argonne National Laboratorium?
Yeah, they used to freeze bouncy balls in the freezing liquid, and it would break in
liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, those are good times. Those science.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Sure.
What'd they do?
Like in the third one,
Yeah,
they did it to
D3.
the uniforms of the other team.
Yeah, JV fucking gets the
Very
varsity.
dangerous.
Is that when they went to the private prep school thing?
Yeah, Eden Hall Academy. Yeah.
With the ants.
We all saw how that was going to go.
We did.
We knew how that was going.
Yeah.
Cake eaters.
Close twice.
They
Yeah,
were.
big time cake
Goddamn
eater.
right.
Big Minnesota thing. See me in the off season. Hit me up in the off season.
Cake eaters.
All right, we're out. Oh, we got to answer calls. We didn't answer any calls.
Is a cake eater a mark?
Cake eater.
Cake eater's a
tell us,
bitch,
Mark.
I believe.
Cake eater's like a rich mark.
Yup. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a yup.
Okay.
Oh, he's eating cake.
Have your cake and eat it too, I believe.
Bingo.
I'm a cake eater.
Of course, if I'm having cake, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, but you also have options to do other things, and you're kind of bullying everybody for the cake, I think, is the...
Is that what that saying is about? I never understood that.
Yeah, it's like, we get it. Like, yeah, having your cake and eating it too is just having multiple...
Leave someone for the rest of us? Is that what they're saying?
Kind of, yeah.
Fat so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of taking advantage of a situation, I think.
Yeah.
Is another one way to describe it. I think. Because
Did you say 110%?
Well, I keep it 100 about it all.
You know, like that's like the high school coach's shirt that says, "Oh, 110%." Like, all right, well, we're going 111 then.
Well, keep it 1 of 3, but the I think they got 1% better for 110 days in the off season. So that's when their countdown started. So they were 110% at that point. There's a chance. There's a chance though that if that off season started 200 days before him, they would have been keeping it 200. You know what I mean? So it all depends on how many 1% days you stack, I think.
Okay. Never looked at it that way.
Well, that's what coaches are saying. There's scientific reasoning behind it. Is your high school football starting in Ohio this week?
Oh, yeah. Elks are 1-0.
Congrats, Elks.
Nice.
How's Plum doing? Are we playing?
First game's this Friday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, boys.
Good luck, Plum.
Let's go. Who we playing?
I think Fox Chapel.
Cake Eater. There's Cake Eater right
Tough
there.
team.
I could be wrong.
You guys probably think everybody's cake eaters, though, right?
Well, Fox Chapel certainly, but yeah, there's many others. Those Fox Chapel kids did not like me. I mean, they were not big fans of mine. I mean, Jesus Christ, they used to bully me out of games. I had to get escorted to the bus by the police.
My bad.
Just because you're such a little punk?
Kiski, then Fox Chapel.
Kind of, yeah.
Kiski's not cake eaters, though.
Yeah, Kiski, not Cake Eater. Kiski, mad respect for. Fox Chapel, I'm sure they're good people now that I'm an adult, but I had zero respect for them.
How about Penn Hills?
They're not Cake Eaters. Yeah, a lot of respect for Penn Hills people,
Woody
too.
High.
Too many
Not
Italians,
Cake
not
Eaters.
Cake Eaters.
But you, Con, what do you think? You're a plum Mustang.
You know, nameless, faceless opponents. They're all cake eaters in my mind.
I respect it. Penn Hills is not, though. They'd beat the fuck out of you. You, in specific.
Well,
They would beat the hell out of you.
not when I was at Plum.
Especially with your big Irish, bravada you got.
They couldn't do anything to me when I was wearing purple.
Imagine Aaron Donald just accidentally happening upon you, and then those boys that you saw in the video that he's boys with down the south side where they're about to kill some guy.
You'd never see me coming.
You were that guy.
Would not have been pretty.
It would not have been pretty. Franklin Regional, another pretty cake eater place. But I think they got some good blue-collar grit in there as well.
Yeah, mixed in, yeah.
A lot of Plum is seeped into that area, I see us taking over. I'm seeing a lot of Facebook. Hey, where do you live? Franklin Regional, Murraysville, Franklin. I'm like, oh.
That's where Coach moved.
Yeah, we're doing
Okay, exactly. There it is. Yeah, we have fully, good for Franklin Regional getting a little bit more Plum in there. Not cake eaters. We'll say it. Coach Diggs lives there. They're fucking working over
Hell
there.
yeah.
Fox Chapel there, definitely. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to, they hated me, AJ. I mean, just thinking back to it, I had a little kid, like 8 years old, tell me to go fuck myself from Fox. I almost had respect for it after the kid said it, but I was just walking by. He said, McAfee, fuck you, or whatever. I'm like, God damn, these kids are like learning as children to hate me. What is the deal? I had respect for it, but fuck them. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Casey in Ohio. Cake eater probably in Ohio. What's going on, Casey?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, did you see the signs? Did you see the signs at the Cleveland Browns game, Casey? Are you a Browns fan?
No, I'm just a Buckeye fan.
Oh, okay. Let's go by OH, Casey.
I-O!
That's what I'm talking about. OH!
I-O!
OH!
I motherfucker!
That's what I'm talking about. That's a real Ohio State Buckeye there.
Hell yeah.
Case, what do you want to talk about?
Hey, before I get to my question, how awesome is it to have the footage right for this year for football?
Pretty cool. We're just figuring it out now, by the way. Like today's
right.
And it's a
Your
live
show's
show.
going to have to go like 5-6 hours once the season starts, just so you can get all the highlights in.
Listen, this is becoming a thing now. Like, how do we get them in there? Because numerous other plays that we got, we still can stretch them in tomorrow. We have some surprises coming this season, though, with people in studio breaking down film. I mean, it's like, how do we balance it all? How do we get it all in there? And how does the process go in the morning of getting the film? That's a whole nother process.
Yeah, today works
very well.
Yeah, much
But anyway, my
Big
question:
files.
if the NFL held a Royal Rumble style match with all the NFL coaches, who wins?
Thank you for the question, Casey. I know you're not going to say Vrabel, but I will. Remember, he said Vrabel bitch ass.
Yeah, he did.
He said Luke Fickell beat the hell out of him.
Never would say that.
You did.
Well, in comparison, you said the Luke Fickell.
Yeah, not even comparison. I mean, it's like two tigers going at it. That's basically what it is. Two lions.
Vrabel wins the Royal Rumble of all the head coaches in the NFL. I guess MCDC has a claim.
Yeah.
I mean, it's down to those two for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, no offense to MCDC, and we are big fans. We can't wait for tomorrow night's Hard Knocks. Let's hope it's
a
little
bit
bit
more,
more.
get back to it.
Let's go.
Use your
more
ponies.
MCDC.
Okay, we got a golden boy here of entertainment. Let's go ahead and take advantage of it. And if not, let's go ahead and give us all the cutting room floor stuff.
At some point.
And we can just let that thing eat if we have to. We will sacrifice a week's worth of highlights next week just for some MCDC footage that we can put out there. He is a hoss. We saw him in real life. He is an absolute. Madden made him look bad.
Oh, terrible.
Madden made MCDC look bad this year in his sideline gear and his apparel. He's massive. But Vrabel just got that grit, I feel. Don't you? I mean, MCDC's got it as well, AJ?
Yeah, they both have it. I know Vrabel personally. I don't know MCDC, so obviously I'm taking Braves.
I mean, Big Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
We're talking about somebody being backed in a corner.
Those Pittsburgh roots.
Yeah.
Shout out him. He got his first preseason win.
Congrats to him. 2 touchdowns in the return game will help.
Baby Mike.
We know who's getting bounced early.
Here's the picture of MCDC on Madden. Like, I'm picking Vrabel over that guy. Okay, that one. That's Madden MCDC.
Yep.
Real life MCDC. He's fucking 260 probably.
Easily.
Yo, dude. Absolutely. You did 40 up downs with a broken wrist the other day as a 50-year-old man, 45-year-old man.
This is supposed to be MCDC?
Yeah, they mailed it in.
They've already said that, hey, listen, we have an update coming. We will have a better facial scan rendering of MCDC because the graphics in that are pretty good. But also, seeing how big of a chaw MCDC had in person was startling. Like, I haven't stopped thinking about it since we saw him at Lions Colts training camp.
Yeah, but Vrabel, let's not forget, Vrabel had 4-piece in
He
with
did.
a
Ripping
vape and empty
I
pack.
saw
of six.
Braves when Braves went out to check on a guy that was hurt. He saw the old tin in his back pocket. Like they don't. I know in baseball they made a rule you can't carry it in your pocket, right?
Yeah, and Vrabel said,
Unless you're
sorry about it.
grandfathered in.
Yeah, sorry about it. I'm going to need a 10 for every quarter, too. So that's going to be 4 tins a game. I need to go ahead and
I
get
think
past.
Vrabes has a very defined pocket. MCDC just had a baseball in the side. Like, Vrabes, he's definitely packing chaws, but he's got like a very defined. MCDC just is like, Jesus Christ, like you legit have a baseball in your mouth right now.
So that makes you lean MCDC in the Vrabes versus MCDC battle royal?
Well, I don't know if it's just those two because I was saying if Wade Phillips is still in the league,
He's not. Wade's no longer in there. We don't even have to think about Wade. We know the Cowboy Wade, old Bum Village heritage. He'd go in there and handle himself well. He's not a head coach. Sorry about it. Sean McVay, a little bit younger, a little spry.
Sirianni.
McDaniel, maybe?
Sirianni's going to get pissed off and end up getting
Running
into an
over.
actual physical altercation, and those two are going to eliminate each other.
What about Bob Sala?
Bob's up there.
Yeah, don't count him out.
He lost 25 pounds though last year.
Depends. Is he acting like DC Bob Sala or on the sidelines head coach Bob Sala?
Yeah.
You're talking about San Fran Sala versus I'm miserable. I'm New York Jets head coach
Like he was
Sala.
feisty in San Fran, then he was just figurehead.
You think he's figurehead? You're saying a lot of mean shit about Sala right now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, saying a lot. You're saying he's a puppet? You're saying Salah's a puppet?
No, I'm just saying he was emotionless last year.
It did seem like he had no energy and everything that everybody loved about him was gone. It seemed like happiness was sucked
Jets will
from
do that,
Salah's
too.
body.
Yeah.
But that's what
Yeah,
head
they
coach
will.
in the NFL can do. Any others that we're thinking about that we are?
Lovie Smith, maybe. He might be able to hold his own in there.
Lovie Smith made a.
Joe Gibbs, he's not in the league anymore.
No, just current head coach.
I can't think of.
I mean,
others.
Brandon
So we
Staley.
I got Vrabes winning. All right, and I'm gonna.
Me too.
I'm gonna bet on that forever, just because of the stories I have. You know, how, not that MCDC probably has pretty similar stories, but running gassers 20 minutes after getting done boozing and smoking cigs on the sideline before running gassers and then beating everybody in said gassers, like that's just a mental hurdle that I'm not sure a lot of people respect enough in those off-season conditioning. So until I hear said story about MCDC being able to accomplish the same thing, I will always be, and the Braves is going to beat the fuck out of every other coach boat. Matt Rule might be.
True, he's going to be hard to pick up over that top.
No, he's lost weight.
I think Ron Rivera wins the senior division.
Ooh.
Ron Rivera's never had.
Now, if Jack Del Rio became a head coach again, you got to enter him into the competition.
Sure.
Well,
especially if you tell someone that he voted for Biden.
It comes down to two men, Jack Del Rio and a Biden supporter.
Yeah.
We are betting that Del Rio
every time.
I don't know, Rule. You got to throw Rule in there, too. Look at him in this picture.
Since this, Rule has lost weight. McDaniel probably get high, he'll jump over the top rope, judge everybody. He's not getting into the mix.
I think Doug Peterson could surprise some people.
He's big.
I think we've all forgotten how good Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we could just rule out the Jacksonville Jaguars because they're the Jacksonville Jaguars and they're going through Jacksonville Jaguars stuff. Trevor Lawrence looks very comfortable, very confident, and whenever I see highlights of him, looks like he understands the manipulation of the pocket. Looks like he's breaking down where he's got to go. He makes every throw. He is a front man. You know what I mean? I mean, that guy, I forgot that since the beginning of time, he was supposed to be the fucking guy.
He was supposed to be the guy, and then with what the Bengals did now, the Jaguars should have hope just because, our first round, first overall pick is now in his second year. Are we going to go from 2-14 to the Super Bowl?
Duval went from dressing up like clowns to hoping that they got a shot this year, and they might. They might with Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson down.
Yeah, you never know. Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not, but you never know.
Or maybe.
But maybe.
I think Kevin O'Connell's like 6'5", too. Coach fight.
He's a big son of a bitch.
He is. That is a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Reich, too. I mean,
wow.
He's been through it.
Tomlin. I wouldn't count Tomlin out.
Tomlin, McDermott, maybe a William and Mary truce, and then they make it all the way to the end and then battle each other.
Maybe McDermott comes in with that fucking cap.
Should tag team it together.
He was like a state champion wrestler in high school, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's shooting for a single leg.
That's not going to work in a Royal Rumble, though. Ground and pound works in a cage, not in a Royal Rumble. They'll just get picked up.
Fireman's carry then.
Yeah, but Vrabel would just pick him up and say, excuse me, sorry about it. You know, Vrabel was a wrestler as well, or no?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, that's why you picked Fickle over him.
Yeah.
That is why you did.
You know those wrestlers have a special kind of crazy to them?
Which you're talking about with McDermott.
Bingo.
Forearm strength.
Psycho.
Bills are really good. Did you see Josh Allen this weekend?
It's a pretty good player.
Dude.
I'd say.
He's somehow
pretty good at getting out, eluding everyone in the pocket and then just throwing absolute strikes.
He's just getting better and better. In this preseason, we have to remember that we cannot overreact, but Josh Allen, from year one to year now, the amount of growth and development, every team. You're just talking about Jacksonville being pumped about Cincinnati going from 4 wins to the fucking Super Bowl. Every team that has a young quarterback that's kind of trash, they're all just going to be like, you remember what Josh Allen did? Josh Allen went from not being able to complete a single ball longer than 20 yards, jumping over guys, being electrifying, not being able to complete any passes, to the prototype of what everybody's looking at. This play from this preseason game against the Denver Broncos, and obviously he and Russell Wilson exchanged jerseys. Let's ride. Josh said, let's ride around the pocket. Do-si-do, how you doing? Back foot, 35-yard rocket for a touchdown.
So good.
This is all year, dude. This is every fucking game. It feels like he has this type of play. It's preseason. Let's not get excited. Sets everybody up. Throws a rocket. Josh Allen football, the prototype. Everybody's looking for him. And the Buffalo Bills are thanking the Lord every day that they have him. What a perfect quarterback for Buffalo, AJ.
I mean, it seems like everything about Buffalo and what they're doing, it almost makes me scared for them that it just seems too good. Like, okay, these guys have all the boxes checked. I feel like. No, I'm not saying I have nothing about that. You know, sometimes I do get a bit squirrely when things are looking too good, like they're too much of a lock. And I feel like that with the Bills right now, which is completely unfounded, I guess, but still, sometimes that worries me.
You do get a little squirrely, doesn't you?
Yeah, all the time.
You do get a little squirrely.
When everybody's picking somebody, you know, sometimes like, man, I don't know. A lot has to go right.
I know Connor was saying that about something last week whenever everybody seemed to be on the same page. And you know how that never works. And I had to remind Connor that the only time we see that everybody's on the same page and it doesn't work, it's the only time we see it. When everybody's on the same page and it works, no shit. But whenever like Sunday Night Football or College Game Day or anybody selects the same team, everybody's like, whoa, this means it's going the other way. It doesn't. But if it does, we will see it. If it does go the other way, we'll never see it again. So we have to remember that when everybody is on the Buffalo Bills side, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a lock for them to fuck up, but it certainly feels like the Bills should go on a goddamn run this year. But this season, vastly different than last season.
Yeah.
What you did last year does not mean you're going to be good this year. But it feels like the Buffalo Bills still the top of the top over there in the AFC East, and you guys know it and understand it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why there's no point of looking forward to, how good the Dolphins are going to be or, who we're playing week 4 or 5. It's like if Buffalo is rolling like everyone expects them to, then there's really only hope for the wild card at this point. And with Buffalo and granted,
For the Patriots, you're saying.
For the Patriots, yeah, excuse me. For the last 2 years, granted it wasn't like universal, but I feel like when Stafford went to the Rams, everyone was like, okay, now this team can go to the Super Bowl. The year before that with Tampa, everyone's like, okay, well now Tampa's probably going to the Super Bowl. Like sometimes it does.
Not everybody.
Not everybody, but
remember, there's a lot of people who say it's going to take a little bit. It's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, how's your Stafford? Not a good player. There's a lot of that. I'm fucking sick of people talking like that. By the way, we got to hold them accountable. AJ, we do.
Who are those people?
I don't know. I'm going to go back and look at all those motherfuckers that whenever I was saying, you bring Tom Brady in your building if you can. Really? No market for him. There's a lot of people saying that. It's like, oh, really? He got almost ownership of Miami.
Yeah.
We're finding out. Blew up the Raiders, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it is,
Is Gruden going to speak?
At court. It's coming up.
I was going to say not till this trial's over.
At court. Is it public?
I'm not sure.
What's going on in court with him? Does he have to take the stand, or how does that work?
It's he's suing the NFL, right?
Yes.
So
It is public.
At some point, he's probably going to take it. I think there was a trial to know if it was going to go to court.
Yeah, motion. Yeah, they filed a motion, the NFL did, to make it a private little thing.
And John Gruden was like, public.
Sorry.
I got a lot to say. You guys thought those emails were bad. Wait till I take this microphone.
Well, yeah.
Imagine he starts going. The NFL does not want that.
No, there's that one attorney that said before Goodell was going to lose his job after this. That was what he said.
Really?
Yeah.
What attorney? Was that the same attorney that told us they would indict a ham sandwich?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if that's Gruden's attorney just kind of gassing this whole entire thing up, or if this is like an outside person who has some info.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Kevin in Gainesville, Texas. Hook 'em. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, what's going on, man? I just wanted to call in and be like, I think we need an official moment of silence for Good Morning Football since they got rid of Nate Burleson and Kay Adams.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Good Lord.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Kevin waited on hold 33 minutes. Just
Whoa.
waiting. I'm
Just
going to
for
get
a
through.
moment.
I'd like to pay some respects to Good Morning Football and what it was, says Kevin in Texas. What do you guys... What's going on? A lot of
The
faces.
fuck's wrong with that guy? It's still the best show on TV.
Yeah. How the hell am I supposed to know what musical performer to compare to the Buffalo Bills this year?
True.
All right.
Jamie Erdahl hit fucking Kyle Brandt on an absolute seed little seam route right down the... You know what? The show hasn't changed. Okay, that guy can fucking take his opinion and he can shove it where the sun don't shine.
All right.
I saw Schrags on the Manti Te'o doc, right?
Yeah, he's working for Fox News.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Me neither. I learned a lot. I actually said in my breakdown of the Manti Te'o doc, saw Schrags on Fox News. Did not know that was the case.
No.
That was back in the day. He went from politics to sport.
Did he come from InfoWars or what?
All right, AJ.
You guys lying.
We are
So broke. Unless you guys buy 10, 20, $30 million worth of merch, InfoWars will be no more what you think it is.
Hey, sales.
We are so broke.
We are so broke.
Cool background.
My lawyer,
Great background.
My lawyer gave you all my text messages for the last 2 years, and I'm hiding something. Okay. That guy, he's a real human. He's a real human.
Well, some
maybe
people
not.
think.
Yeah, who knows?
What do you mean?
Good Morning Football has changed. I mean,
It has.
They're going through some chemistry building right
Where's
now.
Kay?
Well, I think there's.
Where is Kay?
I don't know. I don't know.
She's Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah.
She was on a commercial.
Yep.
There's a lot of rumors of what she was going to be doing. I don't know when.
Okay.
If anything's going to become a fish.
Be crushing no matter what. Know that.
Good Morning Football, though, is going to, they'll find their groove back again.
Wait till the season starts.
It's a new staff, new
Yeah.
crew. New crew. What are they talking about this morning? Fashion trends that need to come back from the
That's right.
mid-'90s.
Yeah.
It was a flavor saver conversation. Tom Pelissero used to be in a band I learned this morning on Good Morning Football, and he had a very small soul patch flavor saver. He had a guitar or a bass in his hand.
A la Michael Cole.
I love Michael Cole. He's still got that. Still got that thing holding strong on there. It's interesting. You know, it's an interesting new era for them over there.
They'll figure it out.
What's Pelissero doing on Good Morning Football?
Well, Schrags wasn't on.
Oh,
Pelissero was on. He was sitting in Schrags' seat, big seat.
They were talking about Jenny Gump, too, today.
Yeah. Well, Jenny Gump and Rose from Titanic, two massive whores. Let's go to the phones.
Is that what they said?
Well, that's what I said.
That's actually exactly what Pelissero said.
Is that what Erdahl said?
I don't know if Jamie, well, she knows. I mean, Jamie, everybody knows who watches that. Jenny Gump fucking ran. It gave Forrest a runaround.
Yeah.
So long.
His whole
life. Almost got him a couple times.
Yeah, almost gave him more than that.
Did she give him AIDS?
No.
Yeah.
She died from AIDS. She didn't give it to him.
She almost did.
We don't know.
We don't know. I think they practiced safe sex, hopefully, if they ever did. But
Forrest
then
would.
Rose obviously killed Jack and her ex-fiance, who was a terrible guy.
Didn't she have his kid?
Cal. Yeah, Cal stunk.
What's that, pal?
Did she have his kid in Forrest Gump?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what.
Haley,
So obviously-
Haley Joel Osment, friend of the show.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't say he saw dead people.
No, he would not.
I asked him 4 or 5 times. I actually don't do that anymore. I made a promise with myself. Oh, all right. 10 minutes later.
Say it.
Come on. You see anything that we don't see? I don't say that anymore. All right. So this new movie you got coming out is great.
Yep.
Is it going to be a classic like that one time when you
What'd you say?
you saw some stuff? That was a terrible interview by me. Honestly, he's just trying to get the I see dead people out just one time. He wouldn't do it to us. He made a promise, and that motherfucker keeps his promises.
That's right.
That's very nice of him. Your torch almost lit a fire earlier. You remember that? Today?
Today?
Yeah, your shit almost started a fire today earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I forget when it was. I was in the middle of something.
I believe it was right when D-Buck came on. He lit a fresh cigar.
I think I have everything under control.
No, you don't.
Dude, there's some times where it looks like you're going to burn that place down. And from the
I
sounds
should
of
probably get a little extinguisher around here.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd say.
Nah.
probably smart.
I do have it in the house somewhere.
Let's answer one more phone call. Let's go to Big E in Michigan. What's going on, Big E? Is this
Hello?
Is this Big E from New Day?
From Real World?
No, from Muskegon, Michigan. You know, that 231 life.
Oh, okay, Muskegon. We appreciate you. Big E from Muskegon. What do you want to talk about, dude?
I just want to talk about how this weekend, how Dan Campbell and them Lions broke every one of y'all's kneecaps and their own and still fought through and still beat y'all by one. So all this shows is that Dan Campbell's the one. If our third nobodies are still willing to follow him through battle, through everything.
All right. Thank you, Big E.
Okay.
I mean, the Lions did beat the Colts this weekend, and that was tough. David Blau threw a touchdown right in front of our face.
He did.
And he looked at us. David Blau looked at us because we said, you know, hey, Hard Knocks, David Blau, who gives a fuck? Like, no offense. We try to say no offense to David Blau, but I assume there was some offense taken if he was to hear what we were saying. But honestly, David Blau is like 2 years ago story, not this training camp story. So hopefully Hard Knocks listens to that for tomorrow night's episode. And we don't get, David Blau looked good.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, David Blau looked good on the field, slinging it. I mean, he looked like a real guy. Him and Bruce Brown got into a little stare down a couple of different times. Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, Bruce has an incredible way, by the way, of getting people. He went to a Pacers game, almost got kicked out.
TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell almost kicked him out.
Shout out.
This Colts game, if we weren't sitting in the most expensive seats in the building, which we were, he probably would have been asked to leave too. He had a couple bets that were live, and he was trying to get him and Blau made eye contact. Blau throws a touchdown. Blau almost gives a look back, fuck you guy in the corner. I mean, it was awesome where we're at. We're actually going to be in the games, I think, on Sundays coming up this season.
Got definitely a huge redemption episode, it feels like, for Blah. And
I hope.
Oh, yeah, because he dropped that snap, they lose.
Yep.
He comes in, they win.
Yeah.
I do want to see that story.
No, you don't.
They're going to have to.
And
though.
neither do I. Show
What?
us MCDC. That's great. I don't give a fuck, okay? This guy's going to be the third-string quarterback. We don't need to see any more of him on Hard Knocks.
Third
I want to see fucking MCDC walking into meeting rooms and just, what are you guys talking about, man? I already saw one clip. He basically said, hey, what running backs do you guys like, man?
We need that.
Yeah, I want more of that.
He's a once-in-a-generation human.
He is. And guess what? He might not be around that much longer.
What, Foxy?
He needs to be around as long
will
as he
be.
wants. 10 years, 0 wins, I don't care.
All right.
See, that's the problem.
There it
Detroit.
is.
Right there.
That's what we're saying. Stop showing David Blau. It doesn't matter about the players on the field. They win 0 games. Nobody cares.
That's the problem.
Give us the kneecap big Southern handsome son of a bitch MCDC.
Please.
I might be wrong. I think that was his first preseason win, though. So that's
David Blau?
No, MCDC.
Really?
They
give him the ball?
I might be wrong.
What does that carry them off? Man,
They should have.
did they carry him off? I left before the game ended.
Win is a win.
Deuce, get me up on your shoulders, man. Come on.
No, Deuce, like, this is my first preseason win, too.
That's true.
Jamal,
All the coaches.
they're all getting carried off.
Yeah.
Jared, come on. Get me up on your shoulders.
Man.
Him and Tim Boyle.
I saw Zaire and Jamal getting into it a little bit of practice. We didn't get to see that because I was on the other end from the practice field we were at. You love Jamal, huh?
Yeah, I do. I think he's a great teammate. I mean, that drill, I don't know if he got the best of him in that drill, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, Zaire, I think a lot of football players would say he did get the overwhelming win. And I do appreciate Zaire on the other side going, only in the league can you fucking lose 3 reps in scream like that. I enjoyed him because I think he's super quiet. Like Zaire's like a super quiet guy. This Colts team's got some dogs, AJ.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I like it. It's fun to watch. It really is.
I like this Colts team a lot. And this is the time of year where people get all jacked up about things that probably aren't going to happen. You know, Foxy just said if they get 0 wins, doesn't matter. That's vastly different than what he normally says. They're going to win 10 games, and they're going to go to a playoff game. Yeah. This is the time of year where everybody thinks that there's a chance. Even though some preseason games have looked terrible for some teams, there's still that hope that when the season comes, they're going to be able to turn it on. We're going to get lucky with health. Things are going to start clicking more than they ever have in the past. For some reason, I like this Colts team a lot. Strahan, number 17, Michael, wide receiver. Last 2 years, he's been a training camp superstar. He's gotten, like, unfortunately injured and bad timing. He had a touchdown this weekend. He's a guy. I mean, there's a chance the Colts can go, AJ. Honestly, there's a chance the Colts can go. And we're going to be literally on the field for most of the home games.
And Shaq Leonard's not even in the lineup right now, is he?
No, he looks good, though. He looked good.
Good.
I think they're working him out. I think he's working out on the field. I think he's...
Still have, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think he's still doing stuff.
From yesterday.
They wouldn't tell me shit, though. Like, I know...
Why would they?
Well, that's the thing. I try not to dive into information from people because I don't want to out anybody for having conversations with me. I never want to be like the media guy when I'm talking to people. So when I was at the Colts facility and I was maybe getting a little treatment on my knee, see what was wrong with my knee, and everybody in the medical, staff was basically came over to chat, I actually acknowledged that right now would be a good time for me to ask about Shaq Leonard and when the fuck he's coming back.
Yeah.
Because you guys have been real non-discreet about that. Conti, Colts PR guy, goes, don't need to ask about that, though. I'm like, Conti, talking points. What are the talking points? He's working out. He'll be back. We're not worried. This is healthy. This is good news. I'm like, all right. And I could have pressed right there, and I think I could have attacked a couple members of the medical staff, a couple trainers that I'm very tight with, and probably gotten an answer. I chose not to. Just for the sanctity of our...
Those are sources. You got to use your sources, right?
Yeah, exactly. Ian said you got to use your sources. I view these guys as my friends, so I don't want to put them in a spot. But it feels like there is a positive feel around Shaquille Leonard. Feels like that. Just
good.
But I didn't put their feet to the fire, which...
Could have.
Well, I also need my knee to get healed, so...
Sure.
Probably not. I got to balance these.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
By the way, a SummerSlam match, I think I had... no big deal. I'm not saying it. Probably could have got surgery before, during, after, and now on my left knee if I wanted to, due to the tweak that I got in the golfing on cement thing.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal. Got it checked out by NFL training staff. Boy, I'm gonna rehab it back. This thing's gonna be back better than ever. Oh yeah. We can save it. It's gonna be a couple months though. It's gonna be a couple months. They got me through a full rehab process. I got it written down at the house. I'm supposed to do.
Nice. You'll do all of that.
Well, I haven't started yet, of course. So I'm a week behind already, but they were very nice to go out of their way, so it would be disrespectful for me not to do it, AJ.
True.
You know what I mean?
Just like Zeet, his whole program. He's got a sweet program where he has everything laid out.
Hey, he was eating out of his meal prep food this morning when I saw him.
Oh, yeah.
I was so proud, Zeet. I'm very proud of you, buddy. You feeling better?
It's crazy. It's actually after training camp, we went to Portillo's, just a little celebratory, and usually I could take down 3 dogs in a combo. Only got through half the combo. It was fucking insane.
Atta baby.
Yeah,
You know what that is, by the way? That's your brain. Your brain, not your stomach. Your brain is checked into like, hey, we're getting healthy.
But
So
I felt stuffed though. That was like the funny part.
yeah, that's your brain telling you like, hey, we're actually hey, we're doing something.
On the
right
up and
now.
up.
We're doing something right now. That's like if I'm in the middle of my diet and I order, a quarter pounder with cheese and maybe a couple apple pies and some McNuggets.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming right out of my ass as soon as it goes in there because my body's like, hey, cuz, we're not living this fucking bullshit life anymore. We're going to go soft serve to your toilet until you realize that this is not a good move. I'm like, thank you, body. Zito, sounds like your body's doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're proud of you and your bodies.
Thank you so much.
What if Tom was transitioning for the last 11 days and he came back and said his pronouns are she, her? Everybody needs to call me that.
It's possible.
That would have been wild, wouldn't it?
Stranger
I haven't
things
heard that one out
possibility.
there.
What if he would have came back and said, I'm Tam?
Who says no?
Damn, yeah. Damn you, Brady.
You know?
That one took me by surprise.
Did it?
What if he
I
was?
guess nothing would surprise me though.
Well, we don't know. You know, what is the start date and end date? We don't know. We're just trying to throw things out there. It sounds like he did not.
Did Good Morning Football bring that up?
Yeah, they did.
Did.
I just thought of it though. What if he did come back and say, my name's Tam now, and you will call me she, her, and please don't misgender me. I'll be pissed off. It's like, God damn. All right, here we go. She is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a whole thing.
Yeah.
And won the Super Bowl.
Sounds like he just went on vacation.
Does sound like that, doesn't it?
Sounds like him and his family had a vacation, and they went on it.
Very weird there wouldn't be photos of that, though. But
If you have your own
You
island.
had a private island, yeah.
exactly. But plane there, you assume people were tracking planes from Tampa.
Probably hopped on a boat. I'd assume the
Submarine.
boat took him.
Yeah, maybe he boated down to the Caribbean.
But even then,
no, a little far from Tampa.
Well, Ty just said sub. You think he has a submarine?
Tom? I mean, who
on.
knows?
What are you
He
saying?
could rent one for the week.
Could have
From who?
rented one.
Whoever has
Fucking-
subs. Who has subs?
He could be on the next episode or next season of Below Deck, and they didn't want that to get out.
Oh, yeah, because they would keep that locked.
To keep a big
Yeah,
tip.
Bravo
Out of
keeps
the
it
yacht.
locked in.
So probably maybe Mass Singer or Below Deck. We don't know yet. He might have gone air, land, and sea to get to this island, and nobody knew about it.
He could have taken a hot air balloon too.
With AB.
AB did that. Landed
Exactly.
2 hours away from training camp. It was awesome. What did that quote say? Yeah, I did take a hot air balloon to camp late. I showed up late.
my biggest regrets
is not seeing Antonio Brown live.
Yep.
is not calling my GM a cracker.
Jeez.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's still doing it right now. He'll get signed by a team. Week 9, week 10. Somebody will need it. Ronald, Mr. Big Chest, will put out a video of him, bang, still got it. And somebody be like, let's put Antonio Brown on this team and make a fucking Super Bowl run.
That's why the Raiders with Brady was crazy, because that's the only team Antonio Brown probably couldn't go to.
Oh, yeah, Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah.
Hey, when he said throwing rocks at the UPS driver, wasn't it like little candy penises?
I think that was a different time.
No, yeah, it was different.
Those were gummy penises.
Oh.
My biggest regret in my career doesn't involve calling my GM a cracker or showing up to Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen feet or throwing rocks at that UPS driver. And it definitely doesn't involve taking my shirt off and doing a victory lap around Jet Stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch a game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks.
Red Rocks.
Antonio Brown on his biggest regret. And now, once again, as people that live on the internet, we're not 100% sure if Antonio Brown is the author of this quote or just took it as his own.
Right.
Nonetheless, either way, fucking awesome of Antonio Brown. And that's what Mr. Big Chest does.
Yeah, and I assume he's only going to, when week 1 rolls around and people are mixing in the put that shit on, put my shit on dance with AB, I bet he's got something cooked up to that.
Oh, a song.
A little remix, maybe probably put all those clips together for a music video because he hasn't come out with the music video, put that shit on yet either. So he's up to something.
He might
doing
be
another OnlyFans video.
Yeah.
Tiana Trump.
True.
Might be getting his summer sausage smooched on as we speak.
Is he doing OnlyFans?
Yeah, he's getting sucked off on there. You don't remember
by
that?
Tiana.
Dude,
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it.
I do
I
not.
thought he was performing at the Super Bowl halftime show and playing in the game.
No, actually, he's cutting a promo before the game like The Rock did. They'll just zoom in, and he'll have one glove on, and then he'll have those pants with the Yeezy shoes on, and he'll say, "Put that shit on."
Put that shit on.
How about The Rock cutting a promo before that game while both teams are on the field for the kickoff? How about that?
And it wasn't like it was super short. Like he took his time, man. It was great.
And both teams, everybody on the field, even watching, were like, "Yeah, this is what's supposed to happen." The Rock is supposed to cut a promo in purple pants and a purple shirt on the field.
Yep.
And
John Cena next year.
Joe.
Could be.
Just saying. They want those China numbers. I know what to do.
All right, we are done now. The show's now over. Hope everybody's happy.
How long till John Cena's teeing off on the Live Tour?
Can he golf? I assume he can golf.
Yeah, he can golf.
It's a
yeah.
quarter mile.
Look how jacked that guy is. He's so jacked. Can you imagine a club in his hand?
Well, that's what they said about you. It's amazing this guy can even get a golf club around his body. Isn't that what the
I'm
content
a
is?
human. Like John Cena's arms are
Intimidating
7 times
force.
bigger than mine.
You're wearing all black, backwards cap, sunglasses on. Look at this guy. What an intimidating force. It's amazing he can even get a club around his body.
It's true, too.
They're just kind of burying you. You are an incredible golfer.
I took that as a great compliment, and I put it on the green. So I was like, "Cool, here we go."
Did the Miz get it on the green?
No, you know what? I'm not sure if his first one went on the green, but he held his follow through for about 35 seconds, and I'm pretty sure I saw the ball about 20 yards ahead of him.
No, that couldn't have been Miz's ball. That had to be somebody else's
His
ball.
swing is beautiful. His swing is too good to not score well.
And does he?
From what I've seen, he hasn't played his best golf. Yes.
Those days are still ahead.
Definitely. His ceiling is very high.
There you go.
He only scored the max score. In the max negative score in Stableford score.
Greens were quick.
Bob
man.
Griffin did that.
Well, he did, but then the Miz was right there behind him, like, I'm gonna get a bogey on one of these holes. He is now in a Tiger Woods commercial, though.
Saw that.
The Miz is in a Tiger Woods. The Tiger Woods tweeted out a video with the fucking Miz in it today, and I obviously screenshot that, sent that to the Miz, and the Miz told me that I'm in Tiger Woods' leaderboard. Everybody's going to think I'm a good golfer now. I might never play again. That's what he said.
Yeah, interesting. He's the face of a 2K golf game.
Well, who?
Miz?
Tiger.
What are you talking about?
And all of the players in the PGA.
What are you talking about?
2K, as we know. Saudi money.
Oh, no. What are you saying?
I'm just saying, there's just some, look this way, don't look that way.
Oh, a little now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
A little now we're mad, now we're not.
And then there's another game coming out. That's an EA Sports video game. And that's the Road to the Masters. And Augusta's in it for the first time ever.
Really? That's good news for golf then. Let's play that
Great
one.
news.
And Jordan.
Ooh, Jordan, yeah, just came out. Jordan's going to be in fucking PGA 2K.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Who?
Michael.
B. Jordan?
No.
Just the great. There's the GOAT.
Doesn't he stink at golf, though?
No, he owns a course. A couple of them. There's a book out right now. There's just one problem. True Tales from the former one-time 7th most powerful person in WWE, Brian Gerwitz, who I believe works with The Rock now in $7 Production.
Okay.
At the beginning, there's a bunch of quotes from a bunch of old wrestlers about the entire book itself, which is like inside tales. I think there's even pictures and shit. I think there's a Michael Cole story or two in here about him getting all boozed up and doing something hilarious. He asked people for quotes, though, after reading it so they could put it on the front to market it. Like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says, Brian Gerwitz's "There's Just One Problem" is a fascinating and hilarious inside look into Brian's unlikely yet incredible rise to sports entertainment insider fame in what I would describe as a true WWE Hall of Fame career as a writer and, for years now, a tremendous success as our lead $7 executive. His long, storied, and unbelievable tenure in WWE is truly what legends are made of. Brian's one of my best friends, one of my most trusted partners, and a real unsung legend in the world of professional wrestling. Congratulations on your fantastic new book, Brian. Please don't tell all our crazy stories. Save some for the next time. The Miz said...
Oh, Miz?
Yep. Not nearly enough Miz. One sentence. That's it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. I fucking love it. Here's Dwayne Johnson's quote, that top one there, you see. And then this one is Becky Lynch, obviously WWE superstar. Kurt Angle gives a pretty good little thing. Mick Foley here. Booker T. Ken Jeong, who nobody knows why he's in it. And then here's Edge. And then obviously there's The Miz. Not nearly enough Miz. So,
amen.
I don't know if you want to buy it or not. There seems to be only a page or two about The Miz. Hopefully some more.
Did they print Cena's in Mandarin or did they transcribe it to English for?
All right.
Come on.
That's the show. Should have ended this thing 20 minutes ago. Try to give a plug in. Obviously, you had to take it the wrong way.
So many different dialects of that language. That's probably hard to do.
I bet you this is a good book.
Did it just come out?
Yeah. Ty, you reading
good
it?
things about it.
Sure. I mean, I'm seeing the Jack Carr books over there too, so I don't know.
Whoa! It's supposed to be a surprise for tomorrow.
Oh, it was.
Oh no.
Yeah, Ty, the fucking guy's coming on tomorrow. We're gonna drop him on the desk and say, "Boom, we got all your books."
Yeah, I'll read the book. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, sure.
No, you don't feel like it's pretty big. It's pretty big font. I think I could get through this one.
Here we go.
I won't. But
Just make a documentary.
I guess there's a lot of people with fire Brian Gerwitz signs. I'm
What?
sure that was a good moment in his life down here. People holding signs. Fire this guy.
Does it go through all of The Rock's matches, like a lot of famous matches he's had?
I don't know. I think it's a lot of behind the scenes stories.
The Rock's wrestled with everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And Cole, I guess, got real boozed up in front of this guy all the time.
Oh, nice.
So I think that's why I'm excited to read the book to learn about Michael Cole. But should be a blast. All right, congrats on the book, by the way, Brian Gerwitz.
There you go, Brian.
Congrats on all the success as well. Can't wait to dive into it. We'll be back tomorrow. Jack Carr will be joining us. I believe we'll have more footage from some games. I think we got a request in for Bakhtiari as well.
go.
Okay.
Hopefully he'll be able to join us to talk about him being all the way Bach. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hashtag PMS Monday. What was today? Monday. What did we talk about today, though?
I mean, we did the
PMS NFL Monday?
Tom's
yeah,
back.
we did the film. Tom's back.
PMS Dirty Hits.
Dirty, yeah, the Kayvon Thibodeau hits.
PMS What's Dirty? Oh, no, we don't want that.
That's pretty good.
That'll get grabbed by,
Look at my chat.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Come talk to me.
A lot of that chat
A
roulette
lot of
stuff.
Grundle picks.
Urban's back.
That's another one.
Grundle picks.
All right, we'll do a giveaway tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll give away 10 grand.
Holy shit.
Let's do it tomorrow. Let's do a big giveaway tomorrow. Let's think on it. Let's make a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's sleep on it.
I got to go one.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that, Corner.
Here we go.
I appreciate you. I appreciate Rappaport. I appreciate Butler. I appreciate AJ Hawk, NFL Films, all you guys, and everybody that watches and listens. You are the best. See you tomorrow. Hammer Dahn is in about 10 minutes at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Great show, AJ. Way to go, Paul.
Hey, way to go, guys.
All right. See you, AJ.